Yo,
Hey, what's up, everybody?
I'm Jason,
And I'm Bill.
and here we have the wonderful, talented, multifaceted, multidimensional? No, but faceted.
Multidimensional.
Yeah.
He's
Mr.
Do you want to introduce me?
Do you want me to introduce you? I'm already there.
yeah.
Mr. E.W.
Halfway there.
Gobbo is with us
My
today.
name's Eddie Gobbo.
Yeah, Eddie Gobbo. You've seen him. You know the face. You know the name. Come on, guys. Get with it.
I'm back, and you guys are probably going to have one of your more higher rated shows. Every time I'm on here,
I hope so, man.
I get blown up, not through like, these are through random text messages or people bumping into me saying like, man, that episode, I don't know, man.
Really?
Yeah. It's usually like pseudo negative or it's a lot of I don't know, man.
You do catch some
About
flack
you
at
or
every-
about our show?
No, it's usually about what I have to say in the context of the show.
Oh,
they
no
are
shit.
entertained by the show because they're pointing out various parts of it.
Oh, but they're not agreeing with the things you say
Yeah,
or something?
Well, Bill knows about how our mutual friend Nate the last time. Like I saw him.
which is great because he is the counterpoint to this show. So like we're doing the new metal one today, and then he's doing the death metal one the following.
Yeah.
So that's why we're gonna be doing this like bi-monthly.
Yeah.
But essentially every 4 episodes we'll be doing
An
a death
album,
metal, new
yeah.
metal. So this is like a whole new segment that we've been talking about.
Yeah, we got to name it, man. We got to find a name. I've been working on some, but I'm not confident about any of them yet.
New metal for no one.
No, it was going to be something that had to do with like albums because, you know. But then, yeah, it should be like.
Classic albums, basically.
Yeah, so.
We need Mikey to do
There's
a special
that.
theme song for this one. He has to do like a new metal theme song.
I'll ask him.
That'd be
if he's
awesome,
down.
and a death
Yeah.
metal one.
I'm sure he would be. Well, we have.
Fuck, why
the
did we
death
think
metal
about that when we were talking to him last week?
I don't know. I was so fucked up last week. That was
man.
not good.
That's
So,
okay.
dude, I was listening to the episode before that one where I was hanging out with Gabe the night before.
Mm-hmm.
I was like falling asleep on this show because I was so tired.
Yeah, you fall asleep on every episode.
Well, because that's not true. But I got home at like 4 a.m. that night, and then
whatever.
yeah, it's not good.
I went out with him last night. Look
It
at
was
me,
unprofessional.
right as
But
rain.
yeah, you're like different than
I'm an
me.
adult, a man.
Yeah, you do more hard ass shit than I do.
I
Anyway,
survived, but yeah. So let's not do the usual show here.
so here we
We're
are.
already getting into the usual.
Kind of
show.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, here we are. We
Nate
have.
was pissed about my political talk last time. I got roped into talking, and I said some
yeah.
anti-socialism things.
Uh-huh.
And then I just got hammered over a beer with Nate. And then also the funny thing is, recently at a something is waiting practice, I
Okay.
said something vague, a vague comment like, you know, there's a few problems with socialism.
Yeah.
And then Gabe, your guest last week or the week before,
Yeah.
however that was, he goes, "That's a real ignorant comment." And I go, you know what?
Let's not do this.
right there.
Let's not do this.
So,
Oh,
listen, there are things wrong with both socialism and capitalism,
yeah,
and that is what it is. Okay,
sure.
If there was a perfect system, then we'd be
doing that
we'd
right
be
now.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
So I'm glad we're not doing the regular show this week. And
Yeah,
we have
fuck
a
that.
format which seems to be more fun.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
We'll try to keep politics out
Yeah.
of it. We'll see what happens. No promises.
Okay. So
Music for me though is like politics. It's like that
Yeah,
fucking
definitely.
serious. You
Yeah.
know, music runs the world, my world more than politics does. To be honest with you.
yeah, I mean, I
agree
think
with
for a
that,
lot
yeah.
of us, for sure.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it goes now, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll be interesting to hear what everybody has to say. I'm actually was very looking forward to this episode
Oh,
more
nice.
than I thought I would
Yeah.
be because eventually like I listened to to give a little preamble.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we've mentioned it in the podcast before. Each one of us picked out a new metal record. We listened to it, and Bill, you kind of came up with some subcategories and questions.
Yeah, kind of.
But I don't remember all of them, so I'm gonna need,
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna
fine.
need you to run the gambit.
There
on
was
those.
one more I was gonna throw by you guys today that I
but,
forgot to text you. But go on.
Yeah, so everybody picked one. We picked them like a week in advance. Well, yeah, right. We
Also, it's important to reference that
Yeah, about a
not
week in
only
advance.
did we pick them a week in advance, but we picked them. We announced them simultaneously.
yes.
So it wasn't like, oh, you picked that one. Now I'll go back to buying drawing board.
Yeah.
And this was just like
Right. Just
the picks were
Surface
there.
value,
yeah.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
only way one would have been voided is if we, for some reason, vetoed it, or at the same time
True.
we picked the same record.
Yeah,
that would have
yeah,
sucked
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't. So that's
which
No.
like we came close with your pick 'cause
I'd almost
right
did
away
get
were like,
vetoed. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
you
I let it
almost got vetoed.
slide.
Yeah, I did almost
But
get vetoed.
what's funny is like
The fans did we announce what records we're doing, by the way?
Yeah, we did on the
so
last week's
previous
podcast.
episode,
all right,
yeah.
sounds good.
And hopefully, if all goes according to plan, I should have links to all at least the Spotify. I'll do.
Okay.
Cool.
So people can find them easier. But I don't know if I totally agree with Sworn In as a new metal band.
Are we jumping into this right now?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say before we jump right into it, let me give my preamble. Should everybody give a preamble why they picked their record?
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to like give your reasons.
we should probably
So
do
we'll
that.
start with everyone telling why they picked that record.
Yeah, set the groundwork for the record for a little
why
bit
you
of
picked
everybody.
it. What was your favorite song and least favorite song,
Yeah.
and why? Let's see if we agree with any of
Okay,
those
we'll go
choices.
there. But yeah, so anyway, we all picked them out. We announced them on the last episode, along with a song for everybody to check out if they did.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of this episode, we also had a guest pick of a release.
Yeah, somebody chimed in, which is awesome.
Yeah, so we will go and we'll go over that one too at the end. But yeah, so I'm going first, and my pick is not a new metal band. I'll even say that right off the bat. They're not really a new metal band. They're a metalcore band. They're a band from here, kind of.
Yeah,
called
bonus
Sworn
points
In.
for being an Illinois band, which is cool.
Yeah, they're called Sworn In. They were a really big deal, like around 2013 through like 2016. And they were kind of like one of these bands. There was a lot of bands that kind of came out of the Midwest here that did this weird hybrid of like, let's take some new metal influence and inject them into like metalcore.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was Sworn In, a band from Michigan called Gift Giver. Another band from here called Villains, who ended up changing their name to Youth Forever, and a few other bands. But yeah, I mean, I remember a lot of peers of mine were really big into Sworn In, not like close friends, but a lot of people within heavy music. And I guess I picked them partially because I wanted to hear what you guys thought about a band like that, because I feel like it really appealed to a younger audience at the time. And they kind of like, I mean, they're still.
When did this album come out?
This album came out in 2013,
Okay.
The Death Card. So
At this point, new metal is
long gone.
unfortunately dead. Like it's not nearly as big as it was.
At that point dead and then resurrected. Because once that 20-year span of being gone starts, coming near,
People
it's usually
want
around
it back,
15 or whatever, then everyone's on
Yeah.
that nostalgia kick on the back end.
Yeah.
You'll see that now, and I'm sure we'll talk about that with anything new metal related. My mic's off. Sorry.
There you go. You're good.
Anything new metal related is very in vogue again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember these guys were wearing like corn shirts and like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
they would do this whole, I don't know. They were all about like. Definitely more new metal. Like there was a Korn influence and a Slipknot influence for sure, which I think you could hear in some of the songs. And like
A little bit. Like it just reminded me of more watered down Tony Danza
really,
at times.
The
You know,
band
and like
is
that,
Tony
and
Danza.
stylistically like that, the more screech chord breakdowny stuff, which to me is not quite new metal.
Okay.
It reminds me more of like
interesting.
The Norma Jean-esque bands of that
Sure,
era.
I think there's definitely an influence of that.
who were like post, I guess, new metal, but they didn't sound like new metal, but it was like their own thing. And
Yeah.
I think this band sounds more like that.
Yeah,
from that
I don't
era.
know. I feel like their image at the time too kind of carried it because they would wear like all like their stage get up around that time was like all black hoodies
Okay.
and like black pants, and they'd paint their fingernails black, and they'd like
Yeah, see, I
they'd
didn't.
wear like makeup and shit and whatnot. So
Okay, that makes more sense than why you would pick that, because
It
I
gave
didn't.
off
I didn't
more of
look these
that.
guys up at all. I just listened to
listen to the record.
album.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
and I didn't look them up either, and I assumed they
So-
were one of those bands that had the cut off camos and the flip flops.
oh yeah, no,
Yeah. Okay.
nothing like that. I mean, even after this record, they went more of down like
description.
I don't know. I would describe them almost as, especially some of the album after this, it's like a hybrid of like a band like Amir,
Mhm.
like a metalcore band that has, I mean, they have a little bit of new metal influences going on there.
There is some stuff like vocally a little bit that kind of
Yeah.
has its moments, but
And I don't know, there's some of those guitar parts, I think, in both bands where it's like,
that's another thing I
The-
thought was interesting. Like you like chose it for that reason. You're like, oh yeah, it's like a new metalish thing, and I was like, all right, let's hear you.
New metal in my head is always like, I mean, I don't want to bring it up right away, but like on the Slipknot record, you hear like there's some fucking weird ass quirky lead going on by
Right.
guitar,
Yeah.
like that distincts it. And like I feel like On certain Amir tracks, there was that, and definitely on some of these Sworn In tracks, there was that. I don't really like this record, though. For the record,
that's fine.
For the record, for everybody, I don't like this album. I don't really like the band that much, but I just remembered thinking like, oh shit, this is like this little wave of band that is saying, you know, they were jockeying new metal bands at the time, and I was so not about it when it was happening. Yeah. Like, I wasn't really anti it. I was just like, oh, this is like what's going to happen for a little bit. And it did. I feel like that little like thing, that little wave of metalcore that was slightly influenced by other styles was like, it kind of came and went.
Definitely.
But yeah, that record, I would say probably the prime example. My favorite song, or at least the best song, would probably be that song Snake Eyes, which I think is the one I recommended.
That was also the one I ended up liking too.
Yeah. But it has like at the beginning of the song, like it does have the rhythmic shit going on and some of those leads that or like the Tony Danza-ish parts, but there's always there's that weird layer of like that guitar where it's just like playing some weird like high chord that's like dissonant that I'm like, oh, it sounds like some Slipknot shit or some Korn shit is what comes into my head when I first heard it.
Do you want to delve into it more, or do you just want to, is that your touch base with the record before? Are we going to do the round table with
favorite and least favorite?
No, why did we all pick our records?
Why do we pick our records?
Or do we go straight into what we're...
Well, I figured we would just do this one and then talking about cap off this one and then switch off to another. I don't know. We didn't really figure that out. Do we want to touch base on all the records and then dive into them? Yeah, maybe we should do that. That's kind of a good idea.
It's not a bad idea. So that way we're not just fixating on one, I guess.
Yeah. So that's my that's my
your 2 cents. So wait, what was your least favorite song on the album?
Well, should we wait now?
You want to wait?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's everybody give the groundwork then.
Okay.
So you want to?
Yeah, we'll do the groundwork and then revert back to like starting with you going into this. And I'm not trying to stop a tangent right now because I'm.
No, this is good because I'm running out of steam.
I did a thing where I picked the first Slipknot record. Where when I was assigned this project, my head initially went to probably picking the first Korn record. I look at, for the record, I do, no pun intended, and we'll say that a lot of times during this podcast, I'm sure. I look at, as far as new metal goes, the Alpha New Omega is the first Korn record and the first Slipknot record. That's the beginning and end of it. And then everything that comes after those records, don't hit the new metal mark. They're just trying to sort of recreate something and ride a wave that doesn't exist anymore, or they're way more evolved than that.
Yeah.
Second Slipknot record, for example, I don't consider it really a new metal record in a lot of ways, for a lot of reasons. The second System of a Down record, I think they're all above it. But it started with that first Korn record and it ends with the last Slipknot record, or the first Slipknot record. And I wanted to kind of describe in a lot of ways, and I'm sure we'll get to that, how I kind of fought for at least maybe the first 6 months of it being out. I fought this first Slipknot record like kicking and screaming. I didn't want to like it at all.
Really?
And how I kind of came out the other side of it. And when it comes down to it, when you fight something for around 6 months when you're a kid.
How old were you when that record came out?
I was 14.
Damn. Fuck, man.
So it's 20 years ago. And fought it kicking and screaming. And, when you fight something for 6 months when you're that age, it feels like an eternity. Because it's like every moment's a struggle with it.
Yeah.
But again, I came out the other side of it, meaning like not only did I stopped fighting it, but I ended up embracing it and becoming a huge fan.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's my little teaser or whatever. But that's why I wanted to address this one, because I'm sure if I do another one of these with this format, which is more conducive for me not getting into arguments, then it's like I will probably address the first Korn one, or there's so many. I don't need to reveal this to people who know me who are listening right now, but I am a big new metal fan, and I've never thrown it under the bus.
Sure.
I've always maybe I'll address that a little as I'm speaking, but when it comes down to it, it's always had not only a place in my heart, but a place in my car stereo. Okay. And if they're albums that resonate with me, I'm always going to do a thing where I bring them back in the mix, listen to them.
Okay.
Just like Bill's record, and I could throw the ball at him right now. I hadn't heard that record in probably 15 years.
Did you hear the record when it came out?
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw them live.
Oh shit.
Finger 11.
Back then.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah, totally. And I mean, I got a lot of thoughts about Bill's record too, but obviously, but again, I hadn't heard that record in 15 years.
Sure,
But then when you
long
hear
enough.
those first 4 tracks of that Finger 11 record, which was for like all intents and purposes, that was their breakthrough record.
Okay.
And it really put them on the map. And it was a little, at that time, I think it came out in 2000, Bill's record.
Okay.
It was a little, the whole concept of new metal was a little on its way out. And then it was splintering off into different things. And I think that Bill's band that he picked kind of went in his own direction, which I'm sure
I would
we'll
agree
speak about
for sure.
too. But yeah, it came flooding back. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
I totally remember these songs, you know? And I told that to Bill. We had a band practice or whatever, and he was like, we were talking about our records for like 2 seconds or whatever. And I'm like, dude, totally remember your record.
See, the difficult thing about this is that we all practice together. So when we mentioned the albums, it's like, can't talk about it. Like, gotta keep it down.
Yeah, I think we started talking
for
about
a second.
Sure.
we started talking about something for a second. I'm like, let's save it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did too. Like not too long ago, we were hanging out, and it was like, oh, we can't do this. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So I didn't know of Bill's. I mean, I knew who Finger 11 was, but I never thought of them as a new metal band because when I only knew the song One Thing, that single that they had.
Which is like not even close to new
Yeah,
metal.
I mean, yeah, I know it's definitely not. I even have a
It's
hard time
essentially a rock
griping that
ballad.
this record is a new metal record because it doesn't feel that way to me in a lot of areas. But I think I have a much different interpretation of new metal than you two do, especially
Absolutely.
after everything you just said.
Plus,
'Cause,
like we grew up in it. you
Yeah,
know,
I
like,
didn't.
that was
See, when
our
I was
era of
growing up,
music.
like, I was listening to Volume 3. That was the first Slipknot record I ever heard. Like, I mean, I got it at Circuit City, and that was like my introduction to that type of shit, was like that. So I never had like the feeling of the first Slipknot album did. And I knew of songs on Iowa because I remember like they had that single on like a Resident Evil soundtrack or something. And
Well, that was a good time for new metal as well. It's like they were doing soundtracks left and right with bands. Like, it
when
was
you
crazy.
had an aggressive movie come out in the late 90s, early 2000s,
you know, Freddy vs. Jason.
like they were just
Great
being like
soundtrack.
new metal bands. What do you got for
Like,
us?
just
They would
picking
take
them up.
like
yeah.
B-C
B-sides.
songs or whatever,
Really?
you know, from these records, be like, throw it on, and that's what it is.
interesting.
Or songs that literally didn't make records because they weren't good enough.
like B-sides.
Yeah, but they like, or they were already recorded records
Okay.
that didn't make records or digipack expansions or whatever.
Okay,
and just be like, give us this
Loved
track.
those. Yeah. Yeah. I miss those, man. The digipack expansions. Like,
hell
what
yeah.
a dead fucking era.
Yeah.
I mostly bought them for like metalcore bands like Killswitch Engage and shit, but still.
Fuck yeah.
That's interesting. So do you think, just like not to obviously veer off of things, do you think what do you think would be the reasoning behind them picking like C tracks on a record?
It was,
Probably for cost effectiveness.
I think, you didn't want. Here was basically the formula.
Okay.
All right. If you had a soundtrack that wanted to get fueled by new metal bands,
Sure.
First of all, it was pretty vat. Like, this is the best soundtrack that came out during the late-ish 90s, early 2000s that was aggressive, was probably the Spawn soundtrack.
Yeah, I remember it.
it's a damn good one.
It's
We had
the
it at
best
the Russell's
one.
jukebox when I worked
Nice.
there.
All right, now the formula was pretty simple, which was first of all, this one took it a step further. All right, which was they had collabs between what would be an aggressive band mixed with like pseudo techno bands, if you will. You had to have the lead track, which was essentially a fucking great song.
Yeah.
And that would carry the soundtrack for
Sure.
the most part. In this case, in that instance with that Spawn soundtrack, it was Marilyn Manson's song "Long Hard Road Out of Hell."
Okay.
He had a book come out like right around that time too with the same title.
Really? Okay.
There was a 90s sort of like post grunge band called Sneaker Pimps. It was him and Sneaker Pimps doing it.
Okay,
I mean
'cause
they had a modest role in it, but it was mainly Manson.
Weren't they all those songs like collaborations?
Yeah, and there was a couple that weren't, but they just got all the like good bands at that time.
Yeah, didn't Korn do a song with like Ice-T or some shit?
Probably.
Korn was on it, and then the funniest example. This is why it's my favorite soundtrack, or essentially my favorite soundtrack to come out around that time. Was I was a big Silverchair fan, and they have a song on it, and like you could tell that literally their labels like we got you on the Spawn soundtrack, and even though you're touring and doing a million fucking things, like we need you in the studio to like give us a track.
Oh shit.
They
okay.
called the track Spawn, and it's like the most half-ass song.
They're probably all hungover, half asleep.
Yeah.
Now the funny thing is this. That's not the end of it though.
Yeah.
This is why it's hilarious. Which is that song came out and it's such a half-ass Silverchair song, especially if you're a fan, you know that they could write way better.
Yeah.
They came out with their third record like a year and a half after that song was released on the soundtrack. They have a song on that record called Spawn Again.
Okay.
Which is basically the same song, but rewritten, so it's better.
Interesting.
Like they actually had time on it.
Took the time to
but
really
it's called
think about
Spawn Again.
Wow.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So that's like a...
That's awesome.
So that's one of my favorite soundtracks of that era. And
That's sweet.
the funny thing is the Slipknot had a lot of great presence on soundtracks too, because they did the lead song off the Resident Evil one, which was called My Plague, which was off Iowa.
I remember that song.
They did a second one, which they did, and they were in the movie for Rollerball. If anyone remembers
they were
that.
actually in it.
They
What
were
is
in the
Rollerball?
It was a remake of an old 70s film with Chris Klein, where
shit.
takes place in the future. And it's a sport game where it's kind of like
I've heard
roller
the name, I just can't
derby,
think of it.
lacrosse, and like
Damn.
it's weird. It's a terrible
Slipknot was in
film.
this game?
Yeah, no, they were in the movie.
My bad.
They were physically in it too.
Yeah, they were a band.
That's how big they were. They made it into a
Oh.
mainstream film.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It was during Iowa.
Okay. What did they play a song in the
Yeah,
movie?
the song
Yeah.
that was on the soundtrack called "I Am Hatred," which is on Iowa as well.
Okay, but that was an album track. It wasn't like a B-side or anything.
No, it was on the album, and I think that both My Plague that made it onto Resident Evil and I Am Hatred on Rollerball both have alternate versions of it on the soundtracks. They're mixed differently,
Yeah.
or like and you could tell the difference for whatever reason. But those are both songs that are on it. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But you're also realizing that if you listen to the Iowa record, and we're not going to talk about Iowa much at all, but there's like I think 16 songs on it. There's like they didn't throw away anything from the sessions really.
Okay.
Like it was just like everything kind of made the record.
Yeah. I knew it's a longer
it's a
record.
super long
yeah.
record. And I guess it's like one of those records where you digest the first part of it,
Sure.
and then later on you digest the second part, and then you wake up and you realize it's 4 years later.
Okay,
And then
yeah.
volume 3 comes out, you know?
Yeah. Damn. That's interesting. I mean, I remember the hits from that, Heretic Anthem and what was People Equals Shit was a big one. And yeah, I mean, I remember My Plague and some of those songs. I never got into it as much as Volume 3 though. I mean, I went back. I don't even think I ever bought it. I had Volume 3,
really?
like the CD. I had Volume 3. And then I don't know. It was weird, man. Like I was really into that album, and then that band just came and went for me. By the time the record after that came out, All Hope Is Gone, I like hated the band because I had to be all hard and about death metal. So I was like, nope, fuck that.
But that was probably like a gateway for you, right, into more of the heavier stuff.
It was just a gateway for me into heavier music. That was the first band I ever like. It was either them or an Under Oath record I bought at the time that had was the first record I had with screaming on it.
Oh, okay.
Was one of those for sure.
What convinced you to go with the Slipknot album? Like
Volume 3?
Yeah.
I was my parents.
You were young,
my parents
right?
just got upgraded. Our home family computer. We just got upgraded to high speed internet, which was cool.
Hell yeah.
And we had America Online, and they used to have their own music page, like AOL Online, and there was AOL Music. And I remember I saw the video
Slipknot was on there.
Yeah, they were front page when the
Crazy.
video for Duality dropped, and I just thought it was just the heaviest thing. I mean, the craziest thing I'd ever heard. At first I was it felt naughty. You know what I mean? It felt bad. I was like, whoa, these guys are screaming. They look insane.
Right, yeah,
there's dudes, it's like a giant house party. There's dudes smashing kegs with baseball bats. And I was like, what?
What
Is
the
that how
fuck
they
is
made that
going
sound? Whatever it happened to be, I was just enamored by it. I listened to it enough. And then I remember I'd listen to clips of the album on AOL Music because they used to have it was either 15-second or 30-second clips you could listen to. And I was like, fuck it. I
got to hear the rest of it.
I guess I'm just going to go down this path and do it. Because I mean, at the time, the heaviest band I probably listened to was The Offspring. So,
For sure. Hell yeah.
And I liked Green Day, alternative rock bands.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean that's my beginning of nu metal. So
Right,
if that my
There's a
perception of nu metal is
considerable
so
gap,
drastically
yeah.
different. Yeah, that
Absolutely,
was
yeah.
the first nu metal record I had heard, and then it was I knew these bands. That's actually not true. My first exposure to nu metal would probably be Limp Bizkit.
Okay. Yeah.
But
that's a good one.
That's another story for another time. So I don't want to keep distracting from everything. So
No, that's fine.
do you want to talk about your pick?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's funny. It's interesting that you guys mentioned like it's like it's not quite new metal. I mentioned it to you where I was like, it's kind of like there was like a little bit of divide in like the new metal thing. Like you had your more heavier, aggressive bands, and then like
a Slipknot,
and it'd be like heavy with the big choruses, like a Slipknot. You know? Whereas Finger 11 is more chorus with the heavy parts. You know, it was like that kind of thing, like a different balance of how they do that. And yeah, this band was just one of those ones that like I just enjoyed because of the big choruses and all that stuff and like the more melodic nature of it, but they still had their heavier moments that were really cool.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, you even hear like, like the music I listen to today is pretty close to this, more of this style of like that, you know, verse, chorus, bridge, melody like throughout. I kind of vibe with that more often than not. And, but yeah, the only bummer about this band is the fact that like, yeah, that fucking song that you heard, you were talking about the single,
the one you picked.
No, the ballady one.
Oh,
one thing is such a departure from what this band sounds like, at least on this album for sure.
See, I don't see it though. I don't think it. I don't feel like it's such a departure, but we'll get to that. Yeah,
I think it is for sure. But yeah, no, that's fine. But yeah, I just liked it because, and then like they did the same thing, like you said, like the weird guitar effects that are thrown in there to kind of turn it a little bit, make it a little more different. And like that to me is like a big inspiration of what I do musically.
Yeah. Do you remember when that record, like, did you get that record when it came out?
Yeah.
How did you hear the band?
MTV, man. That was like.
Okay. Did they have a music video
for that song too?
Okay.
And pretty weird video, but the song, I was like, this song's fucking awesome. I need to hear the rest of this album.
Yeah. See, I feel like they were very flying low level. Like they didn't, were they ever in any soundtracks or anything? Finger 11?
I wouldn't be surprised if they were because they were around that era of like people were picking up all the different.
It's so funny that you specifically say new metal bands were always on these soundtracks because the only other band I could think of that wasn't a new metal band was like Killswitch Engage had End of Heartache was on like one of the Resident or maybe one of the Underworld soundtracks. It was either Underworld or Resident Evil, but they edited it so they re-recorded the vocals, the screaming vocals, and they made them all singing. They made Howard sing the whole thing. Yeah, you could listen to it if you watch the music video for that song, which has clips of the movie.
Okay, so the movie specific. Like,
yeah, there's a version of the song that's just singing.
No shit.
So, yeah, it's very funny, but it's interesting you say this shit about soundtracks because Jamie Jassa on his podcast would always be like, man, we got to bring back the days of like metal soundtracks. And I want to be like, dude, do you realize that like a lot of the bands that were doing shit like that are not really doing shit like that anymore? And like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like.
Well, what's interesting is like when I was thinking about new metal, like if I feel like every generation had that heavy band that just, that heavy genre that stuck out, like hair metal was like this.
Sure.
Fighting against like all the other stuff out there,
popular genre,
and the guys all look totally different than what you normally would see. That's the status quo of people, and but it became huge.
Yeah,
you start seeing it everywhere, and you couldn't deny it. You're like, all right, and then they start putting that shit in commercials or movies and stuff like that. And then new metal was that for us, for our generation. It was like, holy shit! Like, can you believe like Slipknot on AOL? Like, how, like hearing that on like that format, that's fucking crazy. And like, I don't think you get that anymore. Like what's the big, like Gent is probably the next big heavy thing, but I'm not seeing that in commercials. I'm not seeing that in movies. I'm not getting that thrown down my throat from like mainstream, like outsourced like media sources and stuff like that. And so, yeah, that's what I like about this genre. It was like the last heavy,
I mean, it's
one that was like a big thing. It wasn't like, it wasn't like a group of people who were like, oh, I like my metal and like everybody else hates it, but like this like grew into like a huge thing. And
I would argue that there were maybe the one that was after it was metal. It would be metalcore.
Okay.
Which is basically like American metal bands like Lamb of God, Killswitch, Shadows Fall. Basically any band that had that sort of attack, you're going to get some type of record deal out of it.
Yeah.
You were going to get put on the tours. Every Time I Die got huge. Like all these bands got huge.
Yeah.
And they were all riding that way.
Still huge, man.
Yeah. I think that's how it works is this, man. Whenever there's a wave, like you described hair metal, we're talking about new metal, metalcore. I look at it like it's a funnel where it's like all these labels and tentacles are throwing it into all these elements, which are bands essentially, and looks and everything, sounds into this one beginning of the funnel. What we end up getting at the end of it, at the end of the day, is just this. So it's just like all those bands go away. Yeah. All the bands that were on the that couldn't make the cut, and then we're left with like 5 of them.
Sure.
You know, Every Time I Die is huge. Lamb of God is huge. They're still unbelievably influential. Shadows Fall doesn't exist anymore.
I know,
which is crazy to think about it, because they were getting pushed like any other band, like they were, or God Forbid doesn't exist anymore. These are big bands, and honestly, I don't even know if there's much of a market if they were to have like comeback tours. You know,
I don't know.
Maybe they'd have like a Reggie show, but it's not like when you it's crazy, man. Limp Bizkit went away for a long, long time. I know they've been mentioned already on the show today, but like when they decided to come back, they were booked in Chicago at Aragon Ballroom. And it's like, they were gone for 10 years, and it was like, we're ready to throw it on Aragon for them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a big deal.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So you can't, Shadows Fall can't book again, it would be like a Reggie show, maybe. Something like that.
Well, I mean, I feel like Limp Bizkit, as opposed to Shadows Fall, was like, they just had more success. I mean, I think that they had a lot more success. Like, they had songs. The first time I heard Limp Bizkit was on the Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack. Like,
fuck yeah.
It was Take a Look Around. I mean, I had heard them on the radio before, and I always liked them.
That's another soundtrack. That was like, the soundtrack eclipses the movie, because it was, if I'm not, and another thing too is, if I'm not mistaken, the first Mission Impossible had the Metallica song I Disappear, which was
the second one as well.
Too, yeah.
Okay,
those songs are back to back. Those are the first 2 songs.
That's a big fucking deal, man.
Oh, that's a huge.
I love I Disappear too.
That song is infamous, man, because that's the song that started the Napster Metallica rivalry. That song was stolen from Metallica and put on Napster.
Yeah,
that started it. You know, and like that's a notorious song.
There's a funny tidbit that,
and I love the song.
Oh yeah, it's so sick. me and Max and Alex will talk about it every once in a while. Like,
that song.
Well, they talk about, they were like, what if we talk about that song a lot. I love that song, dude. I Disappear.
No, I love it too.
Yeah, it's sick, dude.
It's solely on that soundtrack.
Yeah,
right?
nothing else.
See, that's what I'm talking about, which is like you had to have the one song that was like meant for that. In this case, they had the Limp Bizkit one as well.
Yeah, Take a Look Around.
And they started with 2 bangers, and then the rest is just junk shit.
Right.
But they're on it.
Wasn't Take a Look Around on Chocolate Starfish?
It was actually, yeah. And
but clearly that was written for the movie because it
has the riff.
And I think they just tagged it onto the album.
Yeah. Man, what if Metallica made a record during the I Disappear, Minus Human, No Leaf Clover era? Like that post Load and Reload, before, obviously before all the shit with Saint Anger. But
it's funny because No Leaf Clover and I Disappear are like, they're, as far as grades go, I'll give it a B+ or an A. Both those songs.
They're awesome songs, dude.
And like, that's how they were able to get to the next step.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we don't have a record coming out for a couple more years, but you on this for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, the song rules.
Well, me and Max was like, man, if they made a whole record, I even liked Minus Human on Symphony Metallica. It was on.
Yes.
Yeah. And I like that.
S&M.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it was, I don't know. I love those songs, and I always think it would have been a really sick record if they put out like a whole album with that vibe, because it wasn't like, I mean, like a Metallica conversation for another time, obviously, but like the vibe of Saint Anger and how it's like they're just wearing their hearts on their sleeves for that record, and it's so stripped down, and it's so like, oh, you could tell this band was going through so much fucked up shit. Not only that, you had the documentary out at the time. It was just like, whoa. It just felt so much more palpable, as opposed to, I Disappear. I just remember hearing that song for the first time and being like, this is so fucking shit. And the music video where they're all wearing sunglasses.
Mountain and like canyon or whatever.
And shit, diving up cliffs.
It was awesome.
Awesome.
So good.
So sick.
If you're listening to this podcast, stop it right now and look up the I Disappear video.
Watch it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Dude,
if you're not familiar with it.
I was a child. I was a legitimate kid when I was listening to that shit, man.
You would have been. Yeah.
I had the tape cassette, and then I got a CD player, a portable CD player. So then I got the CD.
That's awesome.
And I can barely remember any other bands on that soundtrack. I remember Butthole Surfers had a song. And somebody else did.
I thought about that band forever.
Yeah, it was some other bands that I don't remember. But anyway, so should we now
What's the next portion of this?
We should segue into talking about each record.
Okay.
Okay.
So the Death Card. Yeah, not a new metal record, first and foremost.
New metal influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to pick it just to hear what you guys would have to say about something like that and what you would think about something like that. Whether you get the new metal influence or not. But yeah, I would say the time the record came out, I was very much not about that music, kind of like I am now. But it seemed to be the natural progression of where like these bands like Emmure and whoever else like on that, like After the Burial and that type of stuff, like the newer bands that were coming out, you could tell they were kind of following suit with those types of bands, but like they added more of that spin to it. And like the Death Card, man, is when I listened to it front to back yesterday, and I was like, man, I really don't like this album because there's so much on. Yeah,
Didn't mind it.
Oh, I hate it.
That reminds me of another question that we could answer is, would you still listen to this album beyond this show?
A couple songs, yeah.
And then if it's what was it? And if it's a newer one, like this one in particular, do you think it would have done well back then?
I think, I don't know, man.
In the era of like the heart of like new metal, like the late 90s.
The key is this, which is if that record came out during it would have been a groundbreaking record.
Yeah, it would have been,
because that style,
nothing like that.
Like
right
honestly,
then,
I'll be straight with you, man. Like, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan of this band that I'm about to reference. What I heard from that band, all right, and I guarantee that band doesn't really give a fuck about this band, all right, but Emmure, if I'm saying that name properly, and all those bands, all right, the album that started that genre was Fear Factory Digimortal.
Oh, yeah.
I 100% agree with
you. Actually agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like, it's like it's weird because it's a very stripped down but heavy, rhythmically oriented like style of music. That's
man. Does Fear Factory
phenomenal.
count as new metal?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
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 I mean, like,
definitely.
But dude, like there are so many bands that flirted with new metal in that were like had legit cred. Sepultura.
Oh yeah,
honestly,
I almost picked them. I almost picked Roots.
Roots was.
God damn, I love that album.
No, it's the first new metal record, I believe.
I would agree.
And I talked with a lot of people about it, but it's for a lot of fucking reasons. And I'll explain what I mean, which is,
but don't people like hate that album? They're like Sepultura, like diehard fans, which I think is so funny. Like they kind of like they did the Machine Head thing, where it was like they were like a metal band, and then they're like, let's do the new metal thing, and like
it was. But the thing is but
I feel like Machine Head gets more flack for it.
Yeah, because it's based on time, which is, if I'm not mistaken, Roots came out in 90,
long time ago.
I want to say it's 95 or maybe end of 94.
Yeah,
94, and that was right before the first Korn record came out.
Yes,
and what people don't know is that the first Korn record was. No, it was almost like simultaneously they came out.
Yeah.
And they were both engineered by Ross Robinson.
Yep.
Who I'll talk about because he engineered my Slipknot record that I picked.
Yep.
Vast majority of like new metal.
Oh yeah. He's the godfather of new metal,
right,
essentially.
Yeah.
But John Davis from Korn is on the Sepultura Roots record. He's on the track.
Yeah.
There are a couple bands, and this is the main one, that are sort of the pre-godfathers of new metal, and one of them is Faith No More. Mike Patton is on also the Roots record.
Yeah.
So there's like that connection. There's the Ross Robinson connection.
Yep.
And the fact that it's just like that vibe that new metal has of just being sort of mid-tempo, basic riffs, pretty ignorant.
Yeah.
Like stripped down, raw, that whole thing. I mean, that was the blueprint for what like was to come for the next 3 years, basically. So the Roots record, I think, is the first one,
Yeah.
And then it's funny because right when that was Sepultura's last record as their traditional lineup with Max.
Yeah, with the Cavalier
And then
Brothers.
as soon as that broke off, Max did a legit new metal band called Soulfly.
Oh, yeah?
Which was like one of my favorite bands.
Dude, and that's where Soulfly falls into that category of Fear Factory and all these legit cred New metal
We're gonna have to
bands.
do a Soulfly album just because of that reaction.
I didn't know you liked Soulfly.
Yeah.
Why weren't you freaking out when we
man.
played with Mark Rizzo, dude? Why weren't you like, Mark?
Well, Mark Rizzo is like
Sign my
almost like
backpack.
post Soulfly.
He's like a
though.
post Soulfly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's not an OG Soulfly
no.
member?
No.
Oh, never mind.
It's funny because the OG Soulfly, the guitarist was there's two OG guys,
Yeah.
which was Logan, who was in not Fear Factory, Machine Head.
Okay.
He's now back with the
Logan
band.
Mader.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Logan's
Yeah.
doing the Burn My Eyes reunion tour or whatever. But
he's got a death metal band now too.
He's also an engineer.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's done some pivotal projects. I forget what they are.
A ton of stuff. Yeah.
He was the main dude, and then Mikey Dooling was the next guitarist, who was in the short-lived but definitely influential new metal band called Snot.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
They came up in like that wave with Limp Bizkit and stuff, and their singer died in a car wreck. Otherwise, yeah, his name was Lynn Straight, and
That's the guy that was in Limp Bizkit for a minute. You
No,
said?
No.
That was a guitar
No, the
player.
guitar player was.
My
in
bad.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not-
he was. Mike Smith was
Yeah.
the guitarist in Snot, who was in
Biscuit
Pizza
for
like
like
Orland's
An
place.
album. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
You know, so it's just like all those connections I just mentioned. Give bands like Fear Factory.
Oh yeah,
Soulfly,
definitely.
that new metal tip, but still they have a little more cred than that.
Yeah, definitely.
Tony Campos, who's in SAG.
yeah,
What it is or was in Soulfly.
I
Like,
was,
remember.
sure.
Yeah,
and it took so much willpower not to be like, tell me everything about
Soulfly.
Soulfly.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, man. So Sworn In. I just remember they became this like in the whatever like audience
Scene,
that they were
yeah.
appealing to. It was huge. It was huge around here.
Totally
Like,
went under like my radar.
I know.
When you
Yeah.
say here, like this area, we're in Westchester right now, so
Well,
it's around
like
here.
in
They
Chicago
were
or
not-
more of a
they were from
suburb?
They were from the
burbs.
burbs. They're from Grays Lake, Illinois.
Okay.
So they're from up north there. People that how I feel kind of this happened was kids that were kids at that time in 2013 were really gravitating towards that band. They would go to VFW shows to see this band. You know, this band
Okay.
ended up picking up a lot of steam. They started out as much more of just a straight hardcore band. That was kind of their like take on that. They had an EP before this called the Start and End EP, or Start/End.
Uh-huh.
It was circulated a lot around the suburban like hardcore community, and I had heard of it mentioned a lot because I was playing with Gateways at the time. I was filling in for them. So they told me about all this. It was like this whole other scene that I was so unaware of. I mean, I wasn't even really involved in Chicago that much at that point because I was like a couple years out of high school. And I mean, I remember hearing the Start End EP and I was like, oh, okay, it's just some hardcore shit that I don't care about. And then they rearranged some band members at the time in the lineup. Like their guitar player ended up being their singer, who was kind of like the iconic dude of that band. And their singer ended up being the guitar player for a few records. Now, Sworn In very currently has just made sort of a comeback. And now that guitar player who was initially the singer is the singer again.
It's so
and
weird that
they're back. They're now much straight towards much more of a hardcore style. But with that like Tony Danza influence, like
Yeah,
that
definitely.
weird like rhythmic shit. But yeah, I just remember they were they started getting on these bigger tours. They got signed to like Razor and Tie, I think was their label.
Okay.
They were touring with other hardcore bands like For the Fallen Dreams and stuff. But then they started to get so big that they were on like Warped Tour, and they were headlining bigger tours and playing support for bigger bands. They never made the cross to like actually interacting with any bands like Slipknot or anybody in the new metal community. But there was always this vibe, I think, that they had of that. But they were weird. They
close.
were like a product of like kids that liked some like Korn records and Slipknot records, kids that liked
were
My
they
Chemical
your age?
Romance. No, they're a couple years younger than me.
Oh, okay.
So their second record was like they started wearing those like black and white striped shirts, you know, like old prison style looking.
Okay.
They would wear like red eyeshadow. You know, they looked in like, you know, they looked more of like, I think a new metal thing is a big part of new metal was, you know, the getup and the style
absolutely.
of it,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I'm sure we could talk about that.
Dude,
We could probably
3
do a whole
hours.
episode
Yeah,
on just the
You know,
style.
and it's like that's kind of when it started
For those of
feeling
you
like
who are
that.
watching the video, you can't see it, but I'm wearing my Jankos.
That I mean, just that like image was kind of what kind of pushed it more that direction for me, where I was like, oh, okay, they're doing it. But on this record, the Death Card, like I would still listen to the song maybe the song's Hypocrisy and the song Snake Eyes. Like, I think those are good sentiments of what that band was.
Hypocrisy seems like not just it's the first, probably the second song on the record. Because like the first song starts out with the stereotypical, we're gonna hit the sound clip.
Yeah.
Lights are gonna go off.
And then we're gonna
walk out
or
on stage and then fucking go into the first song or whatever. Yeah. So
I like Hypocrisy. I think it's a cool song, and I think it's kind of like, it's interesting because it's like, it starts off, that first riff reminds me of Slipknot so much, minus the screechiness, but like the 4 on the floor with the kick, and just like, it's this like, it's some catchy vocal line, and it's just very simple, and then they go into a whole bunch of like, you know, okay, this is not Slipknot type shit anymore.
Right. Yeah, they put their own spin on it.
Yeah.
you know, that's a formula as old as time, which is you start off with the record with the sound clip. Into the form,
which I thought was like hysterical. That this album and the Slipknot album started the same way, with like the goofy little clip, and I was like, "This is great." No,
Slipknot
he's onto something.
Slipknot was the band that honestly invented that. I think I'm trying to think of a 4 on the floor.
I'm trying to think like I feel like that was a common
because obviously
right?
it starts off with the record that I'll talk about starts with inaudible sound clip into. Fucking 4 on the floor.
Yeah.
Right.
Sick is the first song on it.
Yeah, dude. And that song is so dope.
Sick.
It's sick.
Yeah. That song's very sick.
To this day, I still respond to people with the parentheses SIC.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That song was a revolution, man.
Yeah.
Because it's the word didn't exist in that context.
And now it does.
No one described anything cool as sick until that point. Like, I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, no, man, I was a kid. I remember that.
Back in the day, like, it was all like back in the day, 90s or whatever.
Back in the day,
something kicked ass or was badass or whatever.
It was
no
sick.
one knew.
No one
said that.
It was cool
until '99, man.
That's funny.
So that wasn't a word.
Yeah,
like it was like you could use negative words to flip it into positive. Like, dude, that's so fucking bad, or like that's badass.
Yeah,
but that's basically like, or that's the shit.
Yeah,
like that was cool.
Yeah,
but sick, never, man.
Damn.
Like, and then I know there's some kid listening who grew up on the West Coast or whatever because no skateboarders were using that terminology, and they likely were. I'm just telling you, as far as growing up in suburban Illinois, we didn't hear of sick until that, and then we started using it left and fucking right.
Fuck yeah. The one Sworn In track parts of the record I don't like is I just feel like Sworn In feels like a band that was like, it's like you're making cookies. You take a couple of different ingredients from different types. Like they have the metalcore singing parts, like in the following song, Mindless, which I hate. Like he does this really lame, clean vocal like chorus, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. I don't like it. And then you have your little bit of Tony Danza flavor in there. You got a little bit of your Slipknot flavor in there. You got a little bit of like the aesthetic, whatever it happens to be. And it's just like, that's why I really wouldn't call them a new metal band, obviously, but.
Yeah, but influence.
Yeah, there's a little bit of influence there. And I don't know. I just feel like the record as a whole, I'm like, this sounds kind of like a mess. What's really funny is, and I want to get him on here at some point.
After we tear their album, you asshole.
The bass player on that record, who apparently didn't play bass on the record. It was just like
a Pro Tool.
Yeah, it was MIDI'd. And he works with me at Zounds.
Oh no shit!
Yeah, and he's currently the tour manager for For the Fallen Dreams. He's the man. I mean, he'll talk shit about the band all he wants. But it's
interesting.
Just like, but I mean, he doesn't have anything.
Get him on the horn
him.
now.
It's just like, and they're all tight and
That's
stuff.
An
but
exclusive.
I got to ask him a lot of questions about this album beforehand. I was like, whoa, I had no clue he was in the band. And then I was like, wait a minute. And then he told me, he was like, yeah, I used to be in Sworn In. And I was like, what the fuck?
Man, what are the odds of that?
Yeah, and it was so funny. Like. And
Did he
he's
give
like
you some
the sickest
insider
dude.
information about it?
Yeah, I mean, he told me that he was like, yeah, I didn't play bass on it, but I was in the band playing bass on the record.
Oh, no
like,
shit. Okay.
He's credited on the record as
That's
being in the band. He left like maybe a few tours into that touring cycle, and he's a big tour manager now. And
cool. Good
he
for
does
him.
sound as well, like live sound.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a super sick dude. He did. Where did I see him do sound at? I saw him do sound at The Wire before. He did a couple shows there for a minute. But yeah, it was just interesting hearing that. And like the brother of their current bassist also works at Zound. So he's told me some shit. Anything like super insider.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like that band is like a shadow of what they once were on the rise. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't like recommend the record for anybody. Like, listen to a sick new metal record, go listen to the Death Car. Like, no way. But
dude, well, I mean, when it comes down to it, all the bands you're describing, again, the funnel, which is like they were thrown in. bands that came out that still exist from that time, whatever. A Day to Remember, they're monsters,
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
Fucking, what's the other heavy one that's huge? The one that recorded with Ross Robinson.
Suicide Silence. Yeah.
So it's like that
band was
vibe.
massive.
Oh
So
my
it's just
God,
like
that would be a good one to do.
Yeah,
that
so
one
interesting.
that he did.
Never listened to
Dude, the Suicide Silence, I don't like that band at all. I've given them a chance. And another thing too is that's a lost art. I know people are looking at me right now. Don't ever, dude, listen, don't ever make an opinion of a band without giving them a shot and listen to them.
Yeah.
You have the
That's
time.
fair. Yeah.
Everyone has the time to do it. So I gave Suicide Silence a shot, and I will give them props for this, which is they're the first kids that were, I think, raised on nu metal.
Yeah.
That went back to it and were like, we're going to basically give you our influences now.
Interesting.
And that was with that one record that got tore the fuck
I
apart, which
remember.
Ross Robinson did, which was kind of like lacked focus, probably from a lot of their fans would say. And then when it comes down to it, that's kind of how the nu metal records unfolded, which is it was like some of that shit's ridiculous, and it's just like it lacks focus. If you listen to the first Limp Bizkit record, there's some great songs in it, but it's like
which one is their first record?
$3
$3
Billy Y'all.
Is that a full length or an EP?
It's a full length.
Okay.
It should have probably been an EP.
Yeah.
But what
It's
happens
very
is
short.
you get the record deal, and kind of this is how it worked back in the day. And I've heard this from multiple sources. It was almost like you get the record deal, and you try to get in the studio as quick as possible before the person who signed you realize you're not kind of worthy to be signed. So it's like, we'll be in there next week, dude.
Yeah.
We'll write those.
We will pump
write
it out
5
now.
songs.
Yeah.
Dude, like it takes probably all our bands fucking weeks and weeks to write songs.
Right.
But they would write songs. They would turn out 5 songs in 5 days.
Yeah.
They'd have a producer and be like, give me a riff or whatever, and just build on it. And then that would be the filler. And then those other 5 songs you had from the inception of the band that got you to this point, those were pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you put in a couple interludes, and there's your first album. And then you go on the road, and then it doesn't matter from there. Once you're on the road and you have a physical copy of your record, you're on those fucking tours. You're opening for Korn or on an Ozfest or whatever. It's over.
Yeah.
You know, you're cemented in. Then you have probably 3 years to get all these riffs together for your next record.
Yeah.
And then you could hit a home run with it. You got a lot of money behind you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's like.
What was the next Limp Bizkit record? The Take Him to the Matthews Bridge one?
Nope.
It was.
What is that? What album is that on?
That's on the third one.
Yeah.
That's on Hot Dog Chocolate Surface?
Yep.
Really? What song is that?
I think that's My Generation.
Yep.
Oh, maybe you're right.
It is.
Yeah. Take him to the Matthews Bridge.
That's the
What was
shit,
the
dude.
meme you said? It was like a guy talking to his Uber driver. That's so good.
Some dude was like, or some dude was like, he's like, where are we going? And he looks at like the Uber map on his phone, and he's on the Matthews Bridge, and it
He
says
had, like,
he's like,
the red
what?
hat.
And then he looks up like out the window, and it's the album cover of Significant Other.
That's funny.
And it's
Significant Other was their second one.
Yeah.
Arguably their most focused, if you will.
Yeah.
But there's
Absolutely.
still like, there's great songs on it because obviously Nookie, Break Stuff, those are the 2 biggest songs ever. Break Stuff was a anthem.
Oh, I know a billion
yeah.
bands covered.
Awesome.
Like when I was, growing up, I would see bands cover like Break Stuff. I mean, there was a shit ton of metalcore bands that I would hear cover that
Oh,
song.
I'm sure. Recently, I saw a band. I'm not gonna bring up any names. I saw them cover it, and they managed to butcher that.
Do we know
song.
who it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was such a letdown. And even my buddy who wasn't a
Whoever
musician was
band
like,
that covered
they
Break
fucked it
Stuff,
up.
you sucked at it. You're listening probably. Sorry
Come on,
to hear
guys.
that. You're Bill's buddy.
It bummed me out so bad. And when I heard they were covering that, I was like, fuck
Oh, fuck, I
yeah.
gotta go.
Like, this is going to be
Yeah.
awesome. And then I was like, that riff is wrong. They didn't do that enough times. Holy shit, they missed the big,
Yeah.
big part of it. And I was like, all right,
Dude,
God
like,
damn it. I can't
honestly,
look him in
Break
the eye.
Stuff, Break Stuff for nu metal, you could quote me on this, was the Rain and Blood of that genre.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
like the song Raining Blood.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like, that was Raining Blood's not the best thrash song to come out of the Bay Area thrash movement. By far, there's all the Metallica songs crush it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it has its place because it's so
Oh,
ignorant
yeah,
and it's got that legendary riff, and that's Break Stuff for nu metal.
And it's funny. It's 2 fucking notes.
Dude.
And you hear that and you know that song.
I know. I remember hearing all these bands covered, and I was like, oh, God, another one? Like, for real?
Dude, it was a case where, you know what's funny is this, which is, I might have mentioned this on another podcast before. I definitely mentioned it to you. Fucking a year ago, man, I was hanging out at Cobra Lounge, and I'll name drop Stanford Parker right now.
Hell yeah.
He does a thing where he runs up to me and like a sweat. I'm like, what? He's like, you just missed him. You just missed him. I was looking for you.
Oh, yeah.
And I go, what? And he's like, dude, Wes Borland was here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know this?
I've heard about this. Yeah.
And I was
the
like,
infamous Wes Borland.
I was like, Jesus Christ. He goes, he just took off. Like, if you hurry, you could go, like, fucking see him or whatever. And then I ran outside and he wasn't anywhere to be found.
The story, my connection to that story was that at the time when I was starting out at Zounds, somebody that I sat next to, she was the guitar player for Wes Borland's girlfriend's band called Queen Kwong. That's her band. She still plays guitar. And I don't know if she still dates Wes Borland, but she was like, "Oh yeah, Queen and Wes came into town and we were all hanging out. Like we went to Cobra Lounge and I was like, no shit. Like, yeah, I've never heard the band. Like I don't know anything about him, but I know he was dating her at the time.
He also, I think, lives in Detroit now.
Yeah.
So
he does live in Detroit now because.
So does Mikey know?
No, but like this woman that I worked with that played in that band, she was from Detroit. Like she grew up in Detroit and lived there. So,
dude, good for Limp Bizkit because they are still loved mainly in Europe. They'll go over there and play huge shows, and they spot pick where they play in the United States.
Yeah,
do fests or whatever. Like I think they played a fest out in Louisville last summer. They haven't really played Chicago in a long time.
Yeah.
They are playing a one-off show at the Roxy like this coming week that they just announced.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like they just pick their spots with it and they do it. Because I think if they went on that full-fledged tour or they tried to write new music consistently, people would start hating them again.
Yeah, I'm definitely probably going to pick them for the next month, the next edition.
Please choose $3 bill, y'all.
No.
But I love that. That record I love.
You can pick it.
All right, fine.
Why
we
don't
all
you
just pick
it?
a Biscuit album.
Yeah, why don't you just tell? Yeah, you could pick whichever one you
That's
want,
fine.
man. But,
I had another one queued up that
anyway,
be
to
awesome
conclude
to
with the sworn in thing, I think that there was too much going on and like musically, which was my unappealing part of it.
I understand. Yeah, it is a little chaotic for sure.
It wasn't at the time I didn't like it. Now I look back at it and I'm like, yeah, it's okay, but I still don't really like gravitate towards it that much. But I don't know, Snake Eyes is kind of a cool song, parts of it.
I liked it.
Sometimes with that genre, as long as you got that cool song title, the song will write itself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Snake Eyes.
Wait, is that our trick? Is that what it is?
Yeah, right. Dude, it's like so fucking funny because like that era, mid 2000 or 2010 after, it's like you have to have that first hard titled song.
Oh, absolutely.
Like if you're fucking like whatever full blown chaos.
How
first song
else are people gonna know you mean business?
Haymaker, and it's like like it's just like you need to know you mean fucking business.
Right, exactly. Put your stamp.
Yeah,
on
I mean,
it.
I remember was People Equals Shit the first song in Iowa?
It was, but it was after the
intro, the
clip.
creepy intro. Yeah,
exactly.
I remember that. I don't remember what that one was
they
called.
need something to play when they're all 9 of them are walking on stage.
Yeah, man. Okay, we'll get to that in a second because I have lots to say about that. But what did you think about this record?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever go back to listening to it again. Like it's not going to stay
so
on my
you liked it
Spotify.
more than he liked it?
Probably.
Wait,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah. It's not, like I said, it's not going to be in like heavy rotation. It was for this and then that's it, I did like that song Snake Eyes just because like at the end, they had like this Blood Has Been Shed like swing rhythm to it. That was really cool. And I like that. There was really no song on there that was like, I hate it. Like I didn't like it. The only one I just didn't like was because like, what was it? A song for the Nameless? Because like there's a part where they hit the breakdown. And he just says, fuck. And I'm like, and it just takes me out of it a little bit. But other than that, it wasn't like, it didn't ruin the song or anything. Sure. But I was just like, that's cheesy and corny.
Like, if you're ever in a situation where any of us write a breakdown for a band ever again, all right? Here's the deal, which is if you do a thing where, if there's an act like go, that whole thing, blah, 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 you could do that crap live.
Yes.
And that'll be cool for the fan.
Yeah.
Just like Dead to Fall, when we played with them or whatever they do.
Oh, God, it's all action vocals.
Whatever that intro is. It's amazing. John, their vocalist, will usually yell, move!
Yeah.
And then they go into it.
Yeah.
When you listen to it on the album, the Victory album, it doesn't fucking do that.
No.
Because that would be lame as shit.
Yeah.
For live, it's cool as hell.
The only person that gets that pass on that is Jonathan Davis. Like he does it all the time on their album.
Well,
and you're like, it's fine.
It's funny because he started nu metal with the fucking intro of Blind.
Oh,
into
dude.
Are You Ready?
Yeah. Classic, iconic.
That's iconic.
And then another.
That is sick, dude.
That's 3 fucking notes, and like you hear that, and you know that fucking riff.
Well,
like, it's great.
There is a controversy with that riff, which is a lot of people are really here's the thing. Ross Robinson, quote unquote, discovered Korn, or however you want to say it. All right. Or he's the guy that championed him, whatever.
Right.
Ross Robinson was a dude who worked with Fear Factory and did their first. It was their first demo full length, whatever you call it before you get signed.
I gotta look up that guy's discography.
And it was called Concrete. It was one of their first. It was one of the first records he did. Definitely the first Fear Factory record. Okay. And
did he do any other records of theirs?
Fear Factory, no.
Okay.
And there's a reason for it, which was they did the record with him, and in the studio, they were fucking around on a song that didn't make the record, and it ended up making the first Fear Factory record that came out on Roadrunner called Soul of a New Machine.
Yeah.
And the song's called Scapegoat. And it's a pseudo legendary Fear Factory song. Like they basically kind of not legendary. They play it almost all the time in their set. But the riff is it's one of those things.
Like
just a little different, right?
Ross knew of the riff, and then according to what Dino from Fear Factory says, who invented breathing, obviously,
right? Yeah,
he kind of goes, "Hey, Korn, take this and run with it."
Yeah.
And then
hey, can you do this better?
They did because
they did.
Yeah, but Fear Factory. I'm not ripping on Scapegoat. This is a great song,
right?
But Dino has thrown Ross Robinson under the bus for
basically
stealing
that
riff,
funny.
and then they haven't worked together since.
A lot of people won't work with Dino.
A lot of people won't work with Ross Robinson either.
Really?
But like the bands that do, see, Ross has done a thing where he's, for the most part, blacklisted now with any band he's worked with because I think they. This is sounds so stupid, but I guess it's real, which is that the dudes will all say that mainly the vocalist, he treats them like shit.
Really?
To get emotions out of them.
Yeah.
So like John Davis from Korn says that he had to go to therapy because he worked with Ross Robinson.
Really?
And he goes, I don't want any part of that in my life anymore. Corey Taylor won't work with him anymore. Like it's shit like that.
Really?
But it's like he brings out that emotion. The rawness is there.
Yeah.
And you can't get to that point without him prodding at you.
Yeah.
But that's once you become a millionaire,
What
that's
does he
basically
do?
it.
Like,
I'll
say,
work
like-
with someone who's nice.
Yeah, and then that's it. I'm working with the
fucking
nice guys now. Yeah, we've done it.
shout out to Ross Robinson because that dude reinvented himself multiple times. He could have been a one and done-ish working with like on the Roots record.
Yeah.
And the first Korn record. He leapfrogged into doing the Limp Bizkit shit, which was only the first one. He did the first two Slipknot records.
Okay.
He then reinvented himself to do around the same time the fucking Glassjaw record.
Oh.
Which was their big one, whatever the fuck that was called. And then fucking the At the Drive-In record.
Okay.
Relationship of Command, which was a groundbreaking record. So like he kept it going. Now I think he's basically retired for the most part from working with like he did the Suicide Silence record, that's cool. But he doesn't need to do anything else. You know, like he was just, part of all that great shit. You know, he did the Machine Head's The Burning Red, which was a new metal style record, but
I'm a fan of The Burning Red, kind of.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I do like that album for
It's
sure.
kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's bad, but I like it.
Did Bill fucking tell you the text I sent him the other day, which is he was talking about on your podcast, and I'm on a Wednesday afternoon.
I misspoke.
Bill keeps saying that it's called The Red, and I go, it's The Burning Red.
Yeah.
It's a fast-paced podcast. I gotta,
Classic Bill though, kind of butchering the name, but he's just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like,
fuck you, I don't care.
Yeah, that's so funny. So, what did you listen to this one? Well, yeah,
I did. Yeah, absolutely.
What did you think of it?
Hated it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of when everything became. Here's the thing, man. When I first started liking music, I started. I would talk to anyone who would have any insight on living through certain eras. And people were like, dude, I lived through Metallica in the 80s. This is what it was like. I lived through any of the shit that popped in the early 90s.
Okay.
Pantera,
Sure.
like I saw their first tour, so on and so forth. And I said to myself, once I became a fan of music, heavy music, I wouldn't let anything slip under my radar. So I just listened to stuff. So I know backwards and forwards what Sworn In was trying to do because I saw all those bands live. Like, I mean, like it by hook or by crook, whether I go to a fucking like a show at Bottom Lounge and it would be like these bands would open up for a band I actually dug or whatever. if I went to a Warped Tour,
Yeah.
just listening to a couple like Victory samplers, whatever,
Okay.
I would hear all this shit. And then I found that there was becoming a formula and I think Sworn In on that record fell into all the cliches.
Oh yeah.
And that automatically sort of turned me off to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that Chicago in and of itself is, at the end of the day, like the new metal capital of the world. I'm not just saying it because Disturbed came from through here and maybe a couple other choice bands, but our city embraced it like no other. Really when it all comes down to it. Actually, Slipknot, who we'll talk about in a second, got signed from a show in Chicago. They packed up the whole band from Iowa and came up here to like essentially play like some Roadrunner executive was going to be in the crowd and they floored them or whatever, and that was it. It was over. But when you would go and you were growing up in the late 90s in Chicago, you would go to the Metro every weekend. No, I would go to a handful of them. But when it came down to it, every weekend it was new metal. Like, that's what it was. It was like a new metal local showcase.
Okay.
There was bands like the ones that had high hopes for, whether it be like a 5.0, if anyone remembers that.
Okay.
Or,
I don't, but
there was another big one from Zero.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there was bands that made good on it, whether it be Mudvayne. Mudvayne and Disturbed were the two big ones, because Mudvayne was from like Peoria, and then Disturbed was from fucking Chicago.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really. Those guys took the ball and ran with it. They both got monstrous, and Disturbed is beyond monstrous now.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you know,
jeez.
Biggest bands now.
Yeah,
Would you even call them new metal anymore?
No, because once you do a thing where you make consistently good records, you rise above a label.
Yeah.
Like, I can't call Metallica a thrash metal band anymore.
Oh no.
But they're still thrash out. You know, I've known it because I've seen them live and they still play that shit. But they're above it.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just like, and Slipknot's above a new metal band at this point.
I would completely 100% agree.
Same thing with System of a Down, but all those bands started in that genre.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. You know, so it's just like once you, and I think Korn, I saw them live over the summer or whenever it was. That was the last time I saw them live. But I've seen them over decades at this point. The first time I saw them was like 90, I don't even know, 97 or whatever the fuck it was. And it's just like, when it comes down to it, they each time like evolve their sound a little bit, but like they're above that label now at this point. You know, it just is what it is, you know? And the best bands are going to do that. If you look, I'm a huge 80s hair metal fan. It's like, I don't look at Motley Crue as a hair metal band. You know, I really don't. Or even Poison, like, I guess, but like, there's nothing bad about that. I mean, they have great fucking songs, you know?
Man, I will say.
So you're not going to listen to an album again?
No, I won't.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you're not missing.
It sounds like none of us are.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I probably won't either.
I'm glad I checked it out.
I'm glad I checked it out too, because like, it's a band. At first, I knew of them for sure, and I'd listened to them before.
Yeah.
I was hoping I misread it, and it actually said Sworn Enemy. I was like, hell yeah, we're gonna do a Sworn Enemy record. But I was like, that's not exactly new metal, but whatever. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, dude. I will say, as a tidbit to cap off the Sworn In talk, during the Death Card, their whole thing was they wore these hoodies that had the Roman numeral 13 on them.
Of course.
And on the back, there was the sunflower that was on the album cover. They never printed these as a merch item, but so many people fucking wanted them.
I'm sure. That's good marketing.
That is good marketing.
They finally did, after like a few years of that record being out. Like, I think before the follow-up was released, they released those hoodies. They were like, we're printing them. And then like they sold out immediately.
Yeah.
People, I believe one of the bandmates even sold theirs.
Oh, their personal
for like 300 or 400. It was like a massive amount of money for it's like, whoa, it was like a lot.
To like their aunt or something.
I don't know. Maybe. It was. I remember seeing there was one on eBay, and I don't even know if it was a band member that put it up or somebody else did, but somebody had one and they threw it up on eBay, and it was like, it sold for like an astronomical amount of money, where it was
actually
like, whoa.
worn by
members,
that's good.
That's it. But man, Slipknot,
good tip point.
I will say that I think they're just like I mean, to segue into your record.
Sure.
They're probably, I would consider in my mind, the best new metal band. I think that they are a metal band. First and foremost, they're a fucking metal band. I mean, it's aggressive music. It's super aggressive, but it's just like, they are, I mean, they had the outfits. They had the aesthetic. They had the sound. They had the bandmates. They had a lot of bandmates. I mean, it was just like, how could you stop such a giant machine like they were? And I mean, they just pumped out so much. I mean, I can't really comment on their new stuff because I haven't heard any of it other than the singles. But like, they were just like, to me, coming in on them when I did, I knew then and there, I was like, okay, this band is obviously something. Like, I wasn't watching a band rise. I was seeing a band at almost maybe their peak where I was just like, this is insane. And I was floored by it. And, but yeah, do you want to kick this one off?
They did a thing where I mentioned that, again, for lack of a better description, that Alpha is the first Korn record. Omega is the last.
Or the first Slipknot record. That's funny.
Because I will say this, which is a lot of those bands sensed right around the time that the first Slipknot record came out, that, and it's not coinciding with the fact that the world changed around 9/11 in 2001.
Yeah.
That right around 99 is when the expiration date, everyone started kind of looking at it like, when's this new metal bubble going to pop? Because the shit just got out of control.
Yeah.
And I think we'll only know when they all start writing autobiographies. When John Davis does and stuff, and all these guys.
But good. I
bet you they all kind of started around 99, kind of shaking their boots a little bit. Like, is this going to be able to carry on, or is this fad going to go away?
Yeah.
Korn had been doing their shit for 6 years at that point.
Yeah.
And they had just tasted massive success with Follow the Leader, which I'll get into in a second. Also, that came out in 99.
Okay. Was that with Got the Life on it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So, they were probably saying, like, what I'm getting at is this, which is once Slipknot came out, and not till they legitimized themselves with their second record, which is Iowa, which is my favorite record of theirs for a lot of reasons. People would have been copacetic with sort of new metal just kind of going away like a bad fart.
Sure.
And then these bands would be a fraction of as popular as they are right now.
Okay.
But certain bands came at the right time. There was mainly, I'd say, like 3 of them, which is, for better or worse, however you want to phrase it, Disturbed actually did a lot for new metal carrying on into the 2000s, whatever.
Yeah.
And then everyone looking back at it fondly.
Yeah.
System of a Down definitely was a huge part of that as well. Slipknot was the biggest part of it. And Slipknot's the only band in the world right now that could fuck with Metallica.
Yeah.
As far as popularity goes.
Oh yeah.
And it makes sense. Like that still makes records. Like we're coming up in March, Rage Against the Machine are going to be doing some dates.
Yep.
And they'll be able to fuck with Metallica attendance wise. But
you think so?
That is, oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's a once in a decade type deal.
Yeah.
And they're not making new music. And
No.
and the funny thing is, I'm wondering how many people are going to see Rage for the first time, like kids that grew up on it that never thought they had the opportunity to see it. I did. Saw them for the first time in 98.
Okay.
God, I wish it was there.
And it was a moment, man. It was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then I've seen Rage, like, I want to say 4 times or something.
Okay.
But nothing like the time in 98 when you didn't know that the band was going to break up and do that whole thing,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
When did they break up?
They broke up like in 2000, I want to say.
I think so.
Or
Yeah.
2000. It was right. It almost coincided with 9/11. And it's so weird because they wouldn't have been able to really get accepted
Yeah.
without some type of backlash right after that.
Yeah.
Because, dude, like, if you were like anyone that had balls around 9/11, you were a kid. All right. I'm 10 years
yeah.
older than you,
I
whatever.
was fucking, dude. I was.
We 8?
I think I was 10 when 9/11 happened.
If
yeah.
you were in America around that time and you had any type of piss and vinegar running through you,
Yeah.
like the last thing you wanted to hear is anything counter patriotic.
Yeah.
Because you were just so fucking pissed. You know what I'm saying? And all these bands, an example is Slipknot did a thing where they went on a huge tour right after that, which actually, it's ironic because it was named this beforehand, but it was called the Pledge of Allegiance Tour. I don't know if anyone
Really?
remembers that. Yeah,
No.
it was. And
Fuck yeah.
Who was on the tour?
the time I'm referring to was it was.
Oh, this was like an annual tour?
They did
a couple of them.
They did a couple of them, 2 or 3, maybe like a Europe run, but it was like Slipknot was the headliner off Iowa. System of a Down was direct support off Toxicity.
Okay.
Rammstein was before them.
Yep.
The band, ironically enough, that most reminded me nu metal wise of the band you recommended and Sworn In was a band called American Head Charge, was also on it. If you remember those dudes.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the name. I don't remember their music.
Chicago's band No One was on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gabe knows them. That's the band that had the biggest practice space in our room that he was referring
Oh,
to.
really?
So it was just like a hodgepodge tour that hit arenas. And the key was Slipknot and System were fucking huge. Like they were on huge records.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, that came through the Allstate Arena.
And I was there.
And it was fucking sold out.
Damn, did you go?
Yeah. Yeah. Because like I went to one where somebody dropped off. It might have been System or something like that. Like one of them, like somebody didn't play. But I remember seeing Rammstein and like Slipknot and even like that was what crazy about that show is even like I had shit seats, but it was still like the coolest fucking production. Like it was awesome to even see it like on that scale, you know? And usually I don't like that, but that was like probably one of the last like concerts I went to that big.
You know what's really cool. Funny is, man, I'll say this, which is we're going back to like heavy music existing almost exclusively in clubs.
Sure.
But there is a charm to something, and there's something that is indescribable when you go see an arena show. I'm not talking about what they call a shed show. A shed's like you going to Tinley Park and seeing a show.
Oh,
outdoor bullshit.
Yeah, the amphitheater.
Shed show.
I'm not talking about that. The shed shows, don't be fooled by them, because what happens is a lot of those bands don't deserve to play the sheds. They just, the people who own the sheds are like, we own this big space outright in the middle of fucking nowhere. We're just trying to get people in here to drink beer.
Right.
So they'll book bands that honestly are like House of Blues bands, but you put like a dual House of Blues band bill or whatever in a shed tour. It's nice weather out. You're going to go. An arena, you can't fake that shit. Like if either the concert could facilitate being in that arena or it's going to fucking suck.
Yeah.
And it's few and far between when I go to an arena show. It's like it reminds me of being a kid. It reminds me of so many things. It reminds me of my dad a lot. My dad's still alive and everything, but like he would like be one to like drop us off at the shows, and then someone else's dad would pick us up. You know, and it makes me want to buy a T-shirt while I'm there, which I never do at any concerts anymore.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, that's how you got the shirts. You went to the gig.
Oh yeah.
And it was almost your badge of honor when you went home with the shirt.
I remember.
Hey, person at school, I went. Here's the shirt.
Right. Here's the proof. Like,
yeah, I saw System of a Down at the Allstate and bought a shirt.
Dude, one of the greatest concerts I've been to in the second tier of my life was as follows, which is I saw one of my first concerts was Korn and Rob Zombie at not even Allstate Arena. It was called Rosemont Horizon.
Yeah.
Good old days.
Life changing.
Okay.
I then saw Slipknot at the Allstate Arena for the first time. I think it was called Allstate, and it would be on Pledge of Allegiance because that was the first arena tour they did. Besides that, they were just playing Congress Theater for the first record.
I saw my Congress, which was really
Do you
cool.
remember?
I did too.
Not to completely sidetrack this, but the one...
And then we'll get into talk about the record more distinctly, but this is a nice warm-up for it.
The annual tour, I remember, featuring mostly new metal bands was the Family Values tour that Korn would do.
Fuck yeah.
I was there several times.
Wasn't that a Sheds tour though?
Like
that was a tour.
Another arena, right?
That was it had to be an arena because it was a fall tour.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And it would always hit the fall, and I want to say I saw 3 of them, and they were all at Rosemont Horizon / Allstate Arena.
Cool.
And dude, one of the best ones I saw was there's one where the headliners were Limp Bizkit and a band called Filter.
Oh, I remember
Filter was blowing up.
Filter,
yeah, and those were the 2 bands that were the headliners. And
Filter is not a new metal band.
No, but Family Values was kind of cool with they had like Ice Cube on it.
Yeah, they had like fucking Incubus on
like
there.
Crystal Method, Incubus. Like it was
kind of
ahead of its time a little bit.
The Crystal Method was on there?
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Stained.
They
opened the year I'm talking about.
Okay.
And what happened was I go to this show, or no, I was weeks leading up to the show. Korn announced Korn was writing what became the Issues record. Their one after the one after fucking Follow the Leader, their big one. And Korn announced like we're doing
Issues is after Follow the Leader?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They said they're announcing or they're doing some of the dates on the Family Values tour. only, and then everyone's like, this is fucking awesome. This 60-day tour is announced.
Wasn't the tour supposed to be marketed as like a cheaper tour? Like it wasn't expensive to get in, or
it was cheap for back in the day because they were all about which is a lost art, man. They were all about like quantity of people.
Yeah.
So like if you were some dude who lived in fucking Romeoville and you had $15 your day, you'd get into the gig.
Hell yeah.
You'd be in the balcony or whatever, but you'd be in.
Yeah.
And then like if you had a little more money, you'd have $30 tickets, which are like 200 level, but you were in. And the key is you were out of the house.
Yeah.
Brushing shoulders with people that were like-minded, that were into music.
Yeah.
And your shirt was your badge of honor. You didn't have a fucking Facebook page. Maybe you'd meet a cool girl or dude or whatever, and you keep in touch with them.
Uh-huh.
You move on with your lives. Really fucking cool.
That is cool.
And
definitely a lost art for sure.
Dude, it was so fun. And I remember this tour distinctly. I'm like, how could I get so lucky? Korn announced they were doing a handful of the dates.
Uh-huh.
And coincidentally, one of them was Chicago. And I was like, fucking A, slam dunk. They just did a 6-song like teaser set.
Okay.
They were played before Limp Bizkit because
Really?
Limp Bizkit was super hot at the time because Significant Other had just come out and they were going to be the next big thing. And they played like 6 songs, whooped ass or whatever, right in the middle of the show. And it was super cool. And then again, Filter went on. And I think Filter, for the most part, I mean, I dig some of their stuff, but for the most part, I think that band sucks. And
Filter.
Yeah.
I like the single, the one song.
You like the one that I don't like, the On the Plane or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Right?
Song's amazing. But
hey man, nice shot for days, man. Like,
like the scene.
That song rules, but
the basketball scene in Cable Guy. That's the song in the background.
Yes.
Yeah. So fun.
That song's good too. I like that.
I do like that song, yeah. But Filter is like a fucking shell. They're still doing it, but it's a shell of its former
What
self.
I was getting at is
was that a Family Values tour though?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was.
I thought so. Korn was not headlining then.
No. It was Limp Bizkit because they did several Family Values tours where Korn, the next Family Values tour, I think the following year, STP headlined. Like Korn wasn't affiliate. Korn like probably owned part of. There was one Eminem did it. He was the headliner.
Oh wow.
Yeah, look back at those old things, and then eventually it went away.
Okay, yeah.
But Korn wasn't like an Ozfest for the longest time was always Ozzy or Black Sabbath headline.
See, this is all shit when I was like way too young to be going to shows. So.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're like the name itself is going to sell tickets.
Okay.
And it was really fucking cool. I loved it.
Yeah.
But getting back to it, I hadn't been to an arena show in a long time. I just was at one recently, which is I saw Kiss's last Chicago show at United Center.
Yeah,
it was
how was
fucking
that?
I saw 2 great shows at United Center in the same year, which was the Smashing Pumpkins reunion tour, which was outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
And then Kiss's last, what they deemed as their last tour.
Okay.
And I loved both. I absolutely loved both. But I
Deemed
loved
it as their last.
I loved
They'll be back.
I love the experience of going to an arena for a show. I just do. I just fucking do. And the show, if you will, that got me back into thinking that was a special kind of thing was, and I've always gone to arenas for like wrestling events, but nothing like a show though, because it's like a show is a kind of a different vibe. And I saw it was right when it would be Slipknot's 5th record called Volume, or it's called The Gray Chapter. It's the one after Paul Gray died.
Yeah.
So it was like essentially not a co-headline because Slipknot was headlining, but Korn opened up. It was like Allstate Arena on a Friday night.
Was that the one with King 810 when they played?
Yes.
That would be a good fucking
That was
thing
them.
to do.
Yeah.
Because they had a big ass new metal influence. I feel like they
Did
did.
they? I never checked
totally.
them out.
That would have been a big one. And I know I won't mention her name on this show, but we have a mutual friend, and her brother was in King 810 for a minute.
Oh, sick.
My friend Donna from Columbus.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay, did not know that.
So definitely they were new metal fans.
Uh-huh.
I arrived at the show, I get a beer, and I was like, Korn's probably starting now. And I swear to God, I said to myself, because they have the curtains at the big arena before you walk down. I'm like, I don't even know if anyone still even likes Korn. To be honest with you. I'm like, I still like them. I fucking get curtains opened up and I see an arena full of people. They were on their first song essentially, fucking slamming.
Really?
And it's just like they were lit for Korn. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And then when Slipknot went on later that night, they went into like their first 3 songs, and then Corey Taylor like gets his first chance to talk to the crowd, and his opening like line was like, holy shit. And then everyone's like, yeah. And he's like, this is the best show we've ever played in Chicago ever.
Wow.
And it was just like, it packed. Like, so the vibe was crazy. Friday night in Chicago was awesome. So that was a really cool thing. But that's why Slipknot will always be, Korn can't headline over Slipknot.
No way.
And Slipknot's in that.
Who could? Metallica?
That's it.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody else. Like,
I
mean, that band, to me, I view them as like untouchable pretty much, at least for what they do.
And you can't headline, you can't play after Slipknot because they have a bunch of gear on stage. You literally can't play after them. Like, it would take fucking 10 years to strike the stage. But, all right, so long story short is that's how I look at Slipknot. So if you want to segue into how I look at this record. All right, so basically, it came out in 1999. And there had been a plethora of new metal records that came out before that. The first Korn record came out in 94 or 5, I want to say. I want to say it was 94, actually. I had heard about Korn right as their second record came out, which was called Life is Peachy.
Okay, yeah.
And then I became a fan. So this is when I was in grade school. I won't get into this much because we might even have a Korn episode somewhere on the line. I don't fucking know. Don't want to blow my wad with that. But when it comes down to it, looking at a person who was probably my favorite band up until Korn, it wasn't probably, it was Nirvana.
Okay.
And I immediately got depressed after I really sunk into Nirvana not because the music was unbelievably depressing, ending with the singer killing himself.
Oh, yeah.
The ultimate depressed. Yeah.
I just got depressed at the fact that I loved this music so much, and I was never going to be able to see it live and be a part of it.
Yeah.
And the second thing was I was never going to be able to get new music from it.
Okay.
The band was over.
Mm-hmm.
Korn was my first, what I would deem as like my first band that I was going to be a part of it. And I quickly became a part of it with the shirts, and I saw them for the first time. Literally, I think it was like the first month I got into high school, which was that Korn and Rob Zombie tour. I immediately going to this high school I went to, which is an all boys high school, found like my little 8-dude tribe. We, for the most part, all went to the gig, and it was great. You did a thing where we all entered sort of high school as Korn fans.
Okay.
But we soon kind of did a thing where, I think we all kind of felt that like this band was going to be our band, but we ended up kind of, in a way, getting the rug pulled off from one of us in a nice way. I have nothing bad to say about Korn. But when their third record came out, Follow the Leader, it was mainstream time. And they would be, the doors blew open not only with Got the Life, but they did the video that Todd McFarlane did, Freak on a Leash.
Okay.
And what happened was they were then on the MTV show like Total Request Live. And
Todd McFarlane did that video?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
It was a big, because he was huge at the time. Spawn was monstrous. And Spawn had gotten a mainstream birth as well. Spawn started as an underground comic.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
That became like, you could buy any toy you wanted in Toys R Us. And it was just like, and Todd McFarlane was like the original like Instagram star before Instagram existed, because he had like this way about him where like he, quick segue, in 98, that was a big year for baseball with home run, like Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. McFarlane was a dude that would take like all this money he was making and buy like these home run balls.
Yeah.
So he like owns McGuire's like 61st home run, which is like a huge deal. And I'm sure that the value's gone up on it over the years, but he took $1 million of his own money to buy it back in the day, like that week, So
damn, man.
He was basically like what
Spawn was sick. I still like that movie very much.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not good,
cool.
but
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Not a good movie, but a cool movie.
Yeah. John Leguizamo, baby. Come on. Another role that he should have won an Oscar for sure, dude. He was a sick villain. Anyway, maybe not that sick, but I'm a fan. Anyway, not to...
Fair enough.
I'm sorry.
When you were into Korn, there was 2 bands you were into in grade school during my time that were the coolest things, which was like Korn. And the other one was Marilyn Manson.
Okay.
When you were if you were in that, and it's ironic because Korn and Manson toured together under Danzig. Danzig's 4th record came out, and Korn had just come out, and Marilyn Manson just came out, and they were opening for Danzig.
Do you want to know something funny?
Yeah.
The first full records I heard by Korn and Marilyn Manson were the greatest hits.
Yes, and I understand and respect that, because it's like you're way younger.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But dude, like,
I wonder what's on those.
And honestly, the songs that are on it probably aren't their greatest hits. It's just like their most.
It's all the
digestible.
The singles. Yeah. I mean, I had heard. I grew up listening to Q101 and 94.7 The Zone.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom would put that on in the car every time we were driving somewhere. The new metal bands that had a big impact me, and I should have fucking done this record, and I might do it next time, but was Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory.
Sure. That was another one that transcended. That's one of the bands like a Slipknot that helped new metal carry on, basically.
Exactly. And that was a big, that's a good one to talk about.
That's a great one to talk about.
I mean, I liked it and my friends liked it. Like, it was a big thing where it was like everybody kind of liked this record. And it was like, whoa, that was some big shit. Like, other times, like Korn and stuff, I got the Korn greatest hits when I was in like 7th grade, but I already knew who Korn was. Like, I remember hearing Got the Life on the radio when it came out and being like, this song is weird. What's going on with that bass? Is that a bass? I can't hear any of the notes. Like, what's going on? Yeah. Like, I didn't get it, but I just remember thinking like, well, this is different. And I remember,
very different.
What's the video where it looks like they're in the cheese grater? The Freak on a Leash video.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I remember seeing that and being like, whoa. And then hearing that whole part where he does the weird, like, scat singing. And I was like, oh, this is fucking nuts. But
that is nuts. But if you listen to the first 2 Korn records, that's apparent that he uses that on those first 2 records as well.
Yeah.
So like he didn't, like, people were like, oh my God, that part's awesome. It's like, yeah, he's been doing that shit for years, man.
Yeah. I mean, the only song I know from the first record, I think, is Blind. Like, that's the one I know.
Listen to the rest of it, man. Jesus Christ. Like, it's fury.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And like I said, the 2 bands, if you were into music at that time, in like 96 or whatever, they were pushing, like, it was just, you were all about Korn or Manson or both.
Okay.
And Manson had his first record came out in like 95, Portrait of American Family. It's phenomenal. It's my favorite Manson record. And then he came out with Antichrist Superstar, which was like a game changer.
Didn't he do that like trilogy of concept records that was really like...
Yeah, so it started off with Antichrist Superstar.
Yeah.
He then went into, and this is around the same time that Korn record came out, Mechanical Animals.
Yeah.
Which was that's the record, along with Follow the Leader, that MTV like jizzed all over.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing Manson on David Letterman and stuff like that. And I'm not talking...
Isn't that fucking crazy?
I'm not talking about as a musical guest. I'm talking about like as an interview.
Talk to him. Yeah.
And then you're left holding the bag as you started to get kind of like pseudo ashamed that you were. This is again when ego and rep is very important when you're in high school, when you're entering high school. Your reputation is everything, which is so fucking such an eye roll. But you're left holding the bag when you see Korn do something lame for MTV or Manson on Letterman getting interviewed where your mom's watching it. You're like, this isn't what I kind of wanted to sign up for.
Sure.
So, call it being forward thinking. One of the bands that I really started to get into, and I credit I've said on before my podcast, this podcast, my favorite band ever is Pantera.
Okay.
Because,
hell yeah.
Like, they're responsible for early on when I was a freshman in high school and all my friends, and we felt the rug getting pulled off one of us. We really went from a band we liked in Pantera to like being a part of their cult.
Oh,
and it was like, that was our Bible now. So we said, okay, Korn, before it gets a little too weird, we're gone, dude. And we're now part of this whole thing.
Pantera.
And it was, to put it in perspective, when you have a band like Korn, which has a lot of vulnerability that like Nirvana had, or like all the bands that Korn was into, like a band like John Davis was a fan of like Depeche Mode or My Bloody Valentine, which has a lot of vulnerability to it. That's how he got his thing over. Pantera had no vulnerability.
No.
And that's
hard ass shit, dude.
That's why, which is fucking crazy. That's why I talk to a lot of people that have mixed reviews of high school. Usually it's like, high school fucking sucked. And it's not usually, oh, I had to learn shit and go to class. It's more like, as a person who's into music, you get fucked with. I will say this, and I'll say this like with it, and anyone who's a friend that ran with me in high school could, I guess, back me up. No one really fucked with us in high school.
Yeah.
And we went to an all-boys high school that had a lot of jocks in it that were ready to fuck with people.
Yeah.
It's just that we got into Pantera right off the bat, and like we were walking around high school like our shit didn't stink.
Yeah.
That whole stronger than L mentality.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, bring it on, man. Like it is what it is. And then before you know it, like we and we did pick on people as well, which makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
But like it's just like it was us, you know, with that mentality. It was fucking great. My balls dropped listening to him, and I'm kind of the person I am because of that. So getting into Pantera and that becoming the band, you start picking and choosing what you listen to and if it contradicts kind of what this is about. And I saw that nu metal was going in a very strange direction, not only with the mainstream attention, but when it came down to it, they were doing a thing where like Limp Bizkit came out of the record and then fucking Pauly Shore's in the video. And I love Pauly Shore. Like
what video?
I believe it's Break Stuff.
No shit.
And Snoop Dogg's in it. And it's just like, they're all cool. I get it. But like, I don't want that with my music. You know, I just like, it's too mainstream and it's becoming too incestuous. And then I started seeing that the floodgates had fucking opened and every label had to put out a nu metal band. Yeah. And they were getting weaker and weaker, more watered down just to follow the trend. And they all had like a fucking gimmick with it. Like, and believe me, I backed the band Kitty a lot. But like when I heard it, I was just like, here we go, the all girl band. Like it's just like, what's going to be next?
They have to do that.
They have to fucking do it. Yeah. And like you're talking with a person right now who's a huge fan of L7, who is an all girl band, and like that's great. Or like fucking what the Go-Go's or the Donnas or whatever. But like Kitty, I was just like, we're doing this now.
Is clearly a
cash grab.
Yeah, an industrial move.
And what's left? You know,
they backed it up. Because they had some great songs, especially on the first record.
I enjoyed that first record.
I almost picked that one, believe it or not. For
really?
This topic. I just wanted to put like a little
I
more
own that. I own that album.
Staple, yeah. I gotta pee so bad, guys. I'll be right back. But carry on.
Do we pee in that cape now?
No, we can keep going. Just pee in that bottle, dude. Just go behind the camera. Pee in that plant. Right there in the corner. It's off camera. You're fine. We need a pee bucket so we don't have to let them.
Can I check my text messages now?
No, we're still going.
What's that energy drink you're drinking?
We can't say that on here because we're not sponsored, but you can see it. Yeah, it's funny, man. Like I Follow the Leader was the album that was the gateway for me because I did see it on MTV.
Yes, and also. I think you're 1 year younger than me.
I'm 35.
Okay. Maybe you're a grade younger than me or whatever, but like that might have made a difference. I know it sounds weird because like when it comes down to ages.
Oh, it definitely.
When you were a freshman, sophomore, it all meant something. It was super weird.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, now it's like you're at that point. We're hanging out with someone, Jason's 10 years younger than us.
Right.
And it's just like, dude, like that's like another fucking world when you're in high school.
Absolutely.
Which is like,
well, that's when you're trying to figure out who the fuck you are and what are you gonna put yourself into.
It was fucking crazy when you're a kid when you're hanging out with a kid who's 1 grade older than you in high school. It's like a big fucking deal, and then you don't let anyone into your circle that's a grade younger than you or 2 grades younger than you unless they're on the fucking level.
Right, for sure.
And then also there's still a hierarchy where it's like you can still fuck with them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we did, you know. It's just like, and I mentioned that fucking bullying thing, but it is sort of like in a way when we walked the way we did, we were able to become sort of the predators when we weren't supposed to. So I look back and I'm like, wow, we did treat a lot of people like shit, including each other.
Right.
You can treat your brothers like shit,
right?
But like honestly, it's kind of like I didn't meet like Gabe until after, like just as high school was ending, and. I think in his world, they kind of did the same thing. And that's why him and I kind of understand where each other are coming from a lot and do the whole butting heads thing when we need to. But yeah, getting back to it now that you're back. Yeah. Sorry. It was these records were coming out, these nu metal records. And what happened was I knew that it was getting watered down and I had to draw the line somewhere.
Okay.
Because what had happened was it was just getting too fucking outlandish.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be, again, caught holding the bag where I'm like, all right, I like this band and this is fucking ridiculous now. And I thought about it and I didn't get introduced to Slipknot until, and I remember distinctly how I did. I never heard a note they played. It was Slipknot was a part of the Ozfest in 1999.
Okay.
And that year was headlined by Black Sabbath. Rob Zombie played it. Primus played it. Fear Factory headlined the second stage. The second stage was always they'd have a great headliner on the second stage, and then it'd be a bunch of unknowns that were going to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
And the world was introduced to a band they weren't ready for in Slipknot.
Sure.
And they would open up the show most days, play second, and that started what would become the year of Slipknot, basically.
Yeah.
They would just go out and no one could fucking touch them.
Was their first record out at the time?
Their first record, they started the tour without their record being out.
Okay.
I believe it came out in late June. I want to say it came out the same week as another fucking big album. I want to say Significant Other by Limp Bizkit came out the same day.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But they were their record wasn't out when they started the tour.
Okay.
I did a thing where I did not go to Ozfest that summer. I think that was the first summer I may have seen Metallica, which is a monstrous deal. And back when you were a freshman in high school, I think you kind of like pick and choose the shows you go to.
Yeah.
And most importantly, when your parents are fucking with you every second, you don't want to get grounded for those shows. So you're trying to like arrange it where it's like, if I only have to go to 2 shows this summer, it's going to be these 2. I didn't go to the Ozfest that year. I was at the Ozfest the following year. But when it comes down to it, I had seen there was a show on MTV called The Week in Rock. Very basic show, which is basically a news show where they'd go to tours and they'd have like these fucking 4-minute segments checking in on what's going on the road or give you like insight and stuff because there was no internet back then. Or if it was very slow moving. It was mainly meant for emails and all that America Online bullshit. So they visited the Ozfest on an early date of the tour, 3 days in. And they're going around just checking in with bands, like the bigger bands, Rob Zombie and this. And there was like a fucking 20-second, you could still find it online because I saw it again like 3 years ago when I was just surfing around, of Slipknot's first appearance to anyone. And it was fucking, they walk up to a tour bus and there's 9 dudes standing outside it in masks, and the interviewer from MTV goes up to Slipknot just as a whole and goes like, so how many people are in your band? And he goes, Joey, the drummer, Joey Jordison steps up and goes, we have 9 people. We have 2 guitars, a bassist, vocalist, 3 drummers, a DJ, and a sampler. And I see them dressed as they're dressed. I forgot they had
a DJ and a sampler. You got to have both, man.
I see them dressed as they're dressed. I see Joey say that.
Are they wearing the red suits?
They were, I think, wearing navy blue ones at the time.
Oh.
They had
the old,
yeah, they had navy blue ones. And then they had the orange reddish ones, and they had white ones. But I saw that, and I saw the masks, and again, with me and my mentality at that point where I'm like, I need to draw the line somewhere, I literally laughed my ass off, and I'm like, this is where I'm drawing the line. I'm like, I'm not, whatever this band is, I want no part of it.
Because it was so fucking over the top.
I know.
It was crazy because there were other bands doing the get-ups in some fashion, but they just took it to the most extreme, you know?
And then when I heard
it was crazy.
3 drummers and 2 I heard sampler.
A DJ and a sampler?
Yeah, I heard that
something that can be done as one. It's like, what the
gross.
fuck? Yeah. Right, yeah.
I would have hated that too. I mean, I did for a long time, I think.
Also, go back to Corey Taylor's the exact opposite of it now. They were like they all had a way about them. Like Corey Taylor's way about him was he'd usually stand in the background and look at his shoes. Like he was like kind of the introverted guy. He's the furthest thing from it now.
Oh yeah, you saw him on fucking Larry King, dude.
So that turned me off. I was just like, and a guy in a clown mask. I'm like, I'm done. Like I'm out before it began. Fucking done, dude. So go the whole summer without hearing a note from Slipknot. Distinctly, when I come back as sophomore in high school, I had been asked to dance by a girl, and my friends were asked as well, and we're all sitting in the girls' living room. It's like a homecoming dance right at the beginning of the whatever. And my friend had rolled up, got dropped off by his parents or whatever, and he kind of looked like he saw a ghost. And I was like, what's up with this, dude? Like, how you doing or whatever? He's like, good. Just think about this band I heard. And I'm like, okay. And he's talking about how he was on the bus today. Like it was a Friday or whatever. He goes, there were some freshmen listening to some music on his fucking Discman. I go, what do you listen to? And I put it on. He goes, it was fucking insane. He's like, there's all these fucking drums all over the place. And then it triggered. Then he starts describing it more. And I'm just like, he's like, yeah, apparently there's like a bunch of people in this band. I go, stop right there. I know what band you're talking about. I'm like, they're all in get-ups and shit. Like, you don't want any part of this. And he goes, no, dude, like, he goes, I know. And he was describing it to me, and he was very flustered when he was talking, but the record sounds awesome. And I'm just like, it doesn't matter. Like, we're not about this anymore. Like, this is too over the fucking top. And he goes, yeah, but I think I'm going to buy the record and then see where it goes from there. I'm like, you do whatever you want, man. But, like, I'm out.
Here you are talking about it, man.
What's up?
You're not here. You are talking about the record.
I know. It's fucking crazy. He did a thing where he bought the record for sure. And then he kind of played a couple tracks for me here and there. I didn't even really pay attention to it.
Uh-huh.
And by that time, I was going so hard with bands that were in like that Pantera realm that I was just so
like
uninterested. Fear Factory became one of my favorite bands immediately. I loved Machine Head. I had a soft spot for bands that I had worshipped in the sort of 90s for I loved White Zombie before I loved Rob Zombie.
Okay.
And then I started really getting into bands that were about to start getting back on the map. Like, for example, Megadeth. Like, no one had heard of that band. Like, they kind of sat the whole nu metal, like, birth out.
Yeah.
And then they kind of did a record called Risk, which failed miserably.
Oh, I remember.
They were about to come back and start thrashing again. Same thing with Slayer. Slayer experimented like a while, and then they just missed the mark with like doing essentially nu metal records. Like
what was the one that
Diabolus and Musica?
Yeah.
And then they were about to come back with their comeback record, God Hates Us All.
Yeah.
Like a couple. So like
I
things were simmering for all these bands. And I was like, that's where I had like hitched myself.
Yeah.
So he really liked the record. I didn't give it much attention. And then the record started.
Do you still talk to this person today?
Yeah, I just saw him. I saw him at a wedding recently.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I did a thing where I'm going to actually maybe send this podcast we're doing to a couple of those kids.
Okay.
Because I want them to
have them chime in.
Cool.
Yeah, not chime in, but they'd be interested to hear what I'm saying.
Sure.
Did a thing where the band started kind of getting so big that even if I ran away from the water that was spilling, like it was still catching up with me. And eventually I'm just like, I need to listen to this shit.
Right.
And
did you buy the record? What was the deal?
I'll explain what happened, which was I remember distinctly right around what would be Christmas that year. I was on a train around Chicago and then I'm just like, that's it. Two kids were talking right ahead of me. We were ignoring each other. And then we passed on the train. We passed the Congress Theater. And he goes, there it is, man. That's where they're going to be playing. That place is going to be fucking insane. And I go, I know who they're talking about. It's that band.
Right.
And I'm just like, you know what? I got to see what all the hoopla is about, because if I'm a metal fan, I need to at least be versed in what's going on.
Right.
I did a thing where, and they were indeed talking about Slipknot. They, that Christmas, I was obsessed with buying CDs. Did a thing where for Santa Claus or whatever, I'd give a list to my mom of about like 15 CDs. I'd usually get about 6 of them.
Hell
the
yeah.
last one on the list, I put the Slipknot record. And then fucking what do I get? The Slipknot record.
Were you hoping you wouldn't get the Slipknot record?
I just wanted to do it. And if I got it, great. But as fate
Just
happens,
roll the dice on
roll
it.
the fucking dice and I got it.
What else did you get? Do you remember?
Yeah, I got like
Great Christmas gift, too. Those are killer. I love CDs.
This record I fucking hated, and people love it. I don't know why. Is Beastie Boys' "Hello Nasty"?
Okay.
I think I just got that record came out, and I loved this band. It had just come out, which was "Battle of Los Angeles" by Rage Against the Machine, because I saw it right around that time, like a month before that. And that record's phenomenal.
Yeah. Do you remember where your mom got the CDs?
Yeah, she went to Best Buy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Good source for it.
So got that Slipknot record, and I gave it a listen, and it became sort of a record that was my guilty pleasure for a long time, where it'd be like I'd listen to that last out of anything, but when it came down to it, I really started to like it. And they did a thing where they really started cementing themselves into pop culture. I never got a Slipknot shirt. I never backed them 100% because their fans immediately started creeping me out because they were doing what we did as Korn fans, but they were on steroids. It was like, an example was when we were Korn fans or whatever, we wore essentially a Korn shirt. We'd go to, whether it's Gadzooks, which no one remembers.
Is it a venue?
No, that was a store.
Gadzooks?
Yeah. You remember, Bill, do you remember?
Hell yeah. It was kind of like
it was like a Hot Topic.
Yeah, like pre-Hot Topic, a little bit of Spencer's.
They had all the Jankos. They had like kickwear, skater gear.
I kind of want to. Can I just look this up real quick?
Man, I haven't thought about Gadzooks in so long. I remember going to North Riverside. You walk up to the escalator, the stairs, and to the right was Gadzooks.
Wow,
that was the shit.
Yep. And they had all the bands that you were fed, like were supposed to, like if you want to get a Manson shirt or a fucking
so they had
shirt,
merch there.
They had merch. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the place to go.
Fuck yeah, that's so sick.
That's where you got it. And those Slipknot kids took their Gadzooks experience a step further. So as opposed to just wearing like kind of like that whole Korn culture and that look was based out of like California skater gear, basically baggy clothes, Vans,
total West Coast,
like just like we're chilling, that whole thing. Like Deftones had the same look, whatever. Blah, blah. Slipknot was like had almost like a pseudo bondage look to it, where it's like monstrous black jeans that like bell bottoms, like it was fucking ridiculous. Slipknot shirt,
tons of fabric,
choker. It's just I just didn't want any part of that. I was just like, I can't go further. Like, So
you thought that aesthetic was just like, whoa, that's fucking too much.
Yeah, it reminded me of those girls that you would meet when you were even a Korn fan or whatever that took it a little too far, but they were the crazy girls.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're hot and they're kind of crazy. What else is fucking new? I guess they're fun or whatever. But when it comes down to it, it's just too over the fucking top.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like the evil crowds you would see in like Batman movies from the 90s. Yeah. Wearing like black lipstick, like chokers, and like remember the scene in Batman and Robin? Horrible.
I know exactly what you're talking
about. But like where like they're in that rave or whatever.
Yep,
I'm like, oh yeah, these guys like Korn and shit. Like, and that's why I was always just like, I'm not that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I was a kid when that came out, so I was just like, what? I didn't even put two and two together. Mm-hmm. But then when I really look back, I guess at nu metal and like the whole idea of like, yeah, we're outcasts and
it was
this
the
is
counterculture
the music for us. Yeah, and it was just like. And then you see Marilyn Manson on fucking Letterman or whatever it happens to be. So it makes sense what you're saying to me. I'm connecting the dots.
It's a weird thing because it was like the counterculture, genre, but then it became the cult. Like
I'm learning a lot, and I like it. It's very cool.
Good. There was a thing too where it was.
I feel like anybody that's our age is probably having fucking flashbacks. And anybody your age is like, this is crazy. Like,
if you're
holy shit.
If you're our age and listening to this, you're having fucking Vietnam flashbacks.
Absolutely. Like, you're like sitting there.
If you went to a Gadzooks, man, oh my God.
Gadzooks was probably a trigger right now for a bunch of people. What?
We might. Our band's probably going to have a fucking Gadzooks shirt come out next week.
We should.
You should.
We probably will. But like,
I'll buy one.
It's fucking Gadzooks dude, no one remembers this one. God. I know who does remember it, which is. Do you listen to that band Microwaves from Pittsburgh?
I've heard them.
We just played some shows with them. Dude, they're the best dudes. John Roman in that band is like an OG. He's like 10 years older than I am. And he mentioned there was a store before Gadzooks called Merry Go Round.
Okay.
Yeah, before my
world.
I've heard the name of that store.
That was Roman's world.
That's awesome.
So what happened was Merry Go Round was like the first store to carry like Jankos. It was and believe it or not, for some reason, JCPenney did.
In Marshalls. That was another one.
Maybe Marshall. Okay.
That's where I got some of my pairs.
So like, fuck yeah. And there was no, I'm sure
Didn't they come back? Weren't they supposed to have come back or some shit?
The rumor was that they came back, but I never saw anybody with them.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah.
I want to get a pair of unused with the tag still on it.
Yeah.
Because the tag was the biggest thing when you bought Jinkos. Do you remember Jinkos at all?
I know what they look like.
They had the sickest tags.
I gotta have some reference here again.
Huge,
too.
Yeah, it was just like fuck, and the tag that you would rip off before you wore the pair, like it would. I think some of them would become stickers. Then you put them on. It was just the marketing was unreal. Great. It was so cool.
Yeah, and it was like enough denim for like a family of 5.
It was the first.
It was crazy.
It's so funny. It was like the first $50 pair of jeans. Like it was like 50, 60 all in.
Yeah,
and. Back in the day, it's like most Al jeans were like $20, but nowadays, like
fuck yeah,
dude,
goddamn.
Nowadays, it's so funny because
did you have them?
Yeah, but it was I would never wear those. You know those that are just monsters? Those are like
Yeah.
I had a few of those. They were awesome.
Yeah, so
Loved
like
it. Hell yeah.
there's a middle ground where you could be baggy but not insanely baggy, and that's what I usually existed in.
Yes, the middle ground. But then there's the ones that were just like
Huge.
Like these are big, but they're not like insanely baggy.
Those, yes.
Those are what I would call reasonable for those jeans. But then you had the other ones where, because like any
those are kickwear. Those are different.
Like anybody, you know, like
kickwear
anything,
was
there's always the extreme of it. And like it was like, yeah, that's.
Were they like the competition?
Yeah, they were the competition, but they were very popular. But that was like kickwear really marketed their shit towards ravers.
Really?
When you would go to a rave, dude.
Essentially, the people you saw.
I went to a couple
Batman.
raves back in the day, which is a story for a different time. You do a thing where this is what the look would be, man. Like, you remember that movie called Go? It was about rave culture in the late 90s. Watch it sometime. Katie Holmes is in it, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Chicks, this is what they wore, man. And they were usually the flatter the chest, the better, because they look great. Visor, belly shirt.
Yeah, the crop
top, super tight, necklaces, all this bullshit, stomach exposed. Hugest jeans you've ever seen.
Like they're parachuting.
And you could put all these.
How do you
drugs
walk
in
in that shit?
I don't know.
Swoosh around like a.
Yeah.
Like,
How did you do it when you had big ass jeans? You
walk.
must look so goofy, man.
I mean, I still look goofy, and that's
No,
what's sad
I mean,
about
I have
it.
to see. I would love to have seen you in those.
There's got to be pictures out there somewhere. I mean, it wasn't like crazy over the top. Like they were big for sure. I don't know. You just walk like you would normal jeans. They're very comfortable because they're just so like you're just hanging out. They're not like form fitting anyway.
Dude, they did a thing where like
it's the polar opposite of skinny jeans. You know,
JNCOs had really, really poor distribution. So like you would go to different malls, like you go to like a Brickyard or fucking wherever the fuck.
Yeah, when the Brickyard Mall was still a mall,
you would find different pairs of JNCOs.
Yeah,
and it'd be like
everywhere you go, different.
So dude, when I found that and it was like fucking my favorite pair I ever had was a black pair.
Yeah,
and I was like,
pair I fucking
fuck
love.
it, dude. You never see the black anywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I got that, I was like, they go so well with a metal shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was
like
a great ensemble. Hell yeah.
Dude, it was the shit. And I was like, you can't find, and you had to fucking right then there when you found it, it was like, we need to buy them.
Yeah,
because it's like
they will be gone. Somebody else just like you is gonna be there within an hour.
So
grabbing that fucking thing.
Like, so anytime I entered a mall over a 3-year span, it was like, where's the JNCO store? And again, it was like, I remember Chess King and Merry Go Round, which was the two that was the John Roman era that I spoke about. That was on the way out. And then fucking before PacSun existed, it was fucking Gadzooks. And they had one in like every mall. They blew the fuck up. You could buy a band shirt there. You could buy these jeans there.
You also buy all your accessories, the necklaces,
all
the
bullshit.
chains,
Did you have any?
everything. I had a wallet chain.
Sick.
Yeah, so
I had one too, but it was an Iron Maiden wallet with a chain.
Fuck yeah, mine was just black leather.
I don't even want to get back to talking about music because this is so fun.
I know, this is fun talking about
I love it. I love it. We still haven't even really touched on the Slipknot album. Though.
Yeah. So all right. So
should we do that?
So getting back to it, the Gadzooks, they would buy the more it would be their ensemble would be if you were a Slipknot fan, and, and their fans were fucking rabid off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Slipknot fans. So you left off. You were saying, and what really
them from a mile
picked my
away.
interest when you said you were sitting in the train. You heard two guys, random strangers, just saying that's where this band is playing at, and you were just like, you knew it was Slipknot. That's some big shit.
And then that's when
pretty cool.
That's when I said to myself that they need to be on my radar. I need to give them a shot, even if I hate them, because it's getting to the point where people are talking about them and they're not even referencing who they are, and I know who they're talking about.
Okay, so that's so funny because you were on your way out with new metal then, pretty much.
Oh yeah, totally. Like I'm not tooting my own horn, but what basically happened was I was ahead of the game with Jumping Ship.
Sure.
And because I knew it was going to go south, but in that there's a little.
See, I carried on. I love seeing more and more of it, even on TV and all that.
There's a little kink in the end of the story, if you want to talk about it that way, but let's get to that. Long story short is I got the record.
Okay.
And I remember another thing too distinctly was I remember seeing this is so good. I was in grade school, I was an ICP fan.
Okay.
Now anyone who knows me knows I'm still an ICP fan. All right. I saw them live fucking like 2 years ago. I mean, like I'm still seeing them live. They're great. I love them. And
ICP?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You actually like dig
yes.
them? Okay, that would be an interesting conversation to have with you for another time because I have some history with ICP. I never liked them, but I tried for a little bit.
So
interesting.
All right, so I liked
them.
I liked them, and that was becoming. Just so you know, I come from the fucking time where if you liked ICP, a lot of people didn't know what juggalos were.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even a phrase. I remember ICP before the word juggalo.
Yeah.
And then they came out with a song on their breakthrough record called Great Malenko. It's called What is a Juggalo? It's fucking awesome.
I'm familiar with the song.
And then those were juggalos.
Is that your favorite ICP record?
Yeah, not to mention, it is my favorite record, and I fucking saw them 2 years ago play that record start to finish.
Great Malenko?
Yeah.
Where did they play it at?
They played it at Portage Theater.
Damn.
It was insane. There were no rules.
Wasn't Slash on a song?
Yeah, he was on Piggy Pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a fucking riff in it.
Yeah. Boop, boop,
yeah.
Boop, boop, boop. I remember seeing that and I was so like, this is so dumb. Like, I saw the music video because he's in the video playing that part. And I was just like, this is fucking ridiculous. But I knew, I don't know. I had I don't want to even, I'll just say it because I'm going to be thinking about it and then I'll never bring it up again. But I had a good friend in middle school. His name was Jacob, and he loved ICP, and he tried getting me into them. And but the records that were out at the time was like, I think Shangri-La was the one that was out at the time.
The Wraith. Yeah, that was their last of the cards.
Yeah, it was the last of the initial Joker's cards. Yeah, because from my recent understanding, there's a new set of Joker's cards they're cycling through. But I remember. Have you
been to my house? Do you see the framed ICP Faygo bottles I have?
No, I'd like to.
That are signed?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, dude. My house is the shit.
Sick, dude. Yeah, I would love to see that. I've never been, but I remember
I just picture it being
and there's a Faygo bottle I have. I glued a Faygo bottle to my ceiling that I got at one of the ICP shows.
Yeah.
Like, it's on my ceiling. But then I have one that was signed by those dudes when I met them.
Okay. Which one? Violent J or Shaggy?
I met both. I have two Faygo bottles that are framed in the same frame with their respective signatures. Yeah.
That's insane. So don't they own Faygo now?
I don't know.
Somebody had told me that they owned Faygo recently.
Have they figured out magnets yet?
Yeah, I'm sure they fucking have. But dude, so he gave me the Shangri-La CD and he gave me the Jekyll Brothers.
Sure.
That one. And I tried. I really wanted to like it because he was friends with these tough ass dudes that like did fucked up shit, but I never wanted them to fuck with me. So part of me was like, and they kind of liked me already because I liked metal and like heavier music. So they were kind of like, there was some type of mutual respect there, but I just couldn't get into ICP. It was too much for me. It was just like, I didn't like hip hop at the time at all. Mm-hmm. So that I already didn't like. And then just like all this, like they would go from like serious topics to a lot of obvious joke topics to then just like shit that was so outlandish. And I was like, I just can't get into it. I tried. That's fair. I think I even had an ICP shirt at one time.
Send it my way. I got a bunch of ICP.
I don't have it anymore.
I have like 5.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I only like 4 or 5.
Mine, I don't even remember. I definitely don't have it anymore. But I did I might have even still been in middle school when this happened. It was like 8th grade, I think. 7th or 8th grade. 8th grade. But yeah, I decided it was too much for me. But I don't have any like hate towards that shit at all. I think it's cool.
One of the things that really I loved ICP in what would be grade school.
Yeah.
Ben did a thing where they had a little bit of, I wouldn't say this mainstream success, but I was a big Howard Stern fan, and they would do a thing where he would bring ICP on. Mainly because he didn't care about their music at all. It's just that they were.
Was this pre-satellite or post-satellite?
This is way pre-satellite.
My parents were huge Howard Stern fans. I wonder if my dad, who's listening to this, remembers.
I remember.
He had a show on the E Network, if anyone remembers that. I think it's still around.
I remember watching.
My parents used to watch it. Yeah.
So there's a legendary E show where, and this is right around the time that those guys on the train were fucking talking, was ICP was getting interviewed, and he goes, "Hey boys, we got some guys in the green room that like want to meet you guys, blah blah blah." And who do they fucking bring in the room? Slipknot.
Oh my God. Okay.
And then Violent J and Shaggy are sitting and they're like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And then they're walking in and they're like basically like just standing there, 9 dudes or whatever. And then ICP puts them over, and they're like, "Yeah, these guys, like their look is the shit. I don't know how their music is, but that's fucking crazy." Yeah. And I was like, all right, that's cool. Because one thing about ICP was So
you were already into ICP at the time?
I was. And that was one of those bands that was like an outer fringe band that I'm like, maybe my ego is going to get in the way of liking this band any further.
Yeah.
They really resonated with me because I liked hip hop to some degree. But what they were talking about was more my life. Because like they would reference like wrestling. And I was like the biggest wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And just like the little things, you know, and it's just like, and they were a crossover band. So you would go
They're the whole backyard wrestling thing too, right?
Yeah. And they had this video, which was like the best. It was right around like 98. It came out, or 97, called Stranglemania, which was they got these fucking videos of like these old hardcore wrestling matches, and they would just erase the commentary and they would commentate over them as characters.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
That's awesome.
Cool. And there was a documentary they had come out called Shockumentary, which was just them and their fans just going ballistic.
Okay.
And it's like their fans were passionate. So like they were cool. And then when you would go to a Pantera show or a Korn show or whatever, you would see people rock ICP shit.
Yeah.
And that was interesting to me because other than like a band like Rage Against the Machine or Beastie Boys, that was basically it. As far as no one would roll up wearing fucking Snoop Dogg shirts or whatever. Like it was like there was a line.
There's a clear divide. Yeah. So what record were they out at the time of that Howard Stern?
It was Jekyll Brothers had just come out.
Okay, all right.
In 99.
Yeah.
And then that's where Slipknot came in. Because like the record before that was like Malenko in 96, 97.
Yeah, okay.
And then Jekyll came out.
I gotcha. That makes sense.
So
interesting.
Got the record and listened to it. And again, it became like sort of my guilty pleasure. So I would listen to all these records, and that would be the one that would sneak its way in onto my Discman or whatever, blah, 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 whenever I get a chance to.
Okay.
And when you're wrestling with becoming a fan or being a fan of a band, it gets hard when you like it and you're like, I don't want to like this. That's the whole thing with me and Slipknot. I didn't really want to like it because it was just too far off the fucking shit with it. And also, I thought in the back of my head, and I think a lot of people thought that they were going to be like a one and done.
Slipknot?
Because it was like they had a million years to write. I think they were a band for like 8 years before that record got signed.
They have a record before this record.
With all with a lot of different members. Corey was not even on it.
Yeah. Do you know any of that or any of that history or the lineage of that?
Sure. It was called Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat, I think.
Yeah.
It was basically an EP.
Yeah.
I respect that because it was hard to record back then.
Yeah.
So immediately your head thinks EP, you guys don't have fucking songs. Right?
Yeah.
But like back in the day, it was expensive to fucking record.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think they said that they spent $30,000 on that record.
Oh my God.
And
which does not sound that great. Yeah.
No, it sounds like shit.
It is like horrendous sounding, but yeah.
No one had a studio.
Okay.
Right.
No one knew
especially
how to
in the middle of fuck nowhere, Iowa.
Yeah. So it was like they had to do a thing or whatever.
And they had different members. And were they a 9-piece?
No, I think they had 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it definitely wasn't Corey. There was a different guitar player. It was not Jim Root. Trying to think who else.
Clown was in it.
I'm gonna look this
What's
up.
that?
Clown was in it for sure.
Yeah.
And I think Sid, the DJ, or no, Craig, the sampler was in it.
Yeah. Probably a different bass player, I think, too.
No, I think Paul was in it.
Was Paul in it? Was Joey in it?
Let's see. This came out in 1996, October 31st, 1996.
That wasn't a coincidence. They planned that.
Anders Colsafini on vocals, percussions, and samples. Donnie Steele on guitars.
That's a great name.
Josh Brainerd on guitars. Paul Gray on bass.
I think Josh Brainerd is the guy Jim Root isn't on the cover of the first Slipknot record. They took the photo before the record was done, so he recorded on it.
Right, and that's his mask.
This Josh guy?
Thing.
I think Josh, is the dude.
Okay.
Even though Jim Root is
had it.
like a fucking driving force in that band now at this point. He's a great guitarist. And
yeah. Sean Crahan, percussion. Joey Jordison on drums.
Cool.
Mick Thompson on guitars. And Craig Jones on samples. He's the guy.
Yeah, he's the sampler,
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Interesting. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, and then the next record didn't come out, obviously, until 99.
So I'm thinking they had so much time to do that record, and it was Wildfire after it came out, but I'm like, there's no way they're going to be able to meet that mark. Not only did they meet it, they surpassed it, which is insane for me to think about with Iowa. But so I was like, I don't want to become a fan of this band and then them not even make it to a second record and or it sucks or it's just like a flash in the pan bullshit.
It did feel and look like such a gimmick.
Totally.
You know, and like more often than not, gimmicks, they just come and go because people are over it so quick. But for whatever fucking reason, Slipknot just took it, ran with it, and killed it, and is still killing it.
Totally.
You know, which is awesome, which is really cool to see. But yeah, back then I never would have guessed they would be as big as they are. Never would have called that.
When I got that record and I listened to it, again, my plate was full with listening to other records. But
so you got it for Christmas.
I got it for Christmas, and then I did a thing where distinctly I remember kind of wrestling with the idea of like, I would tell people like I dig this record, but I'm not really sort of a fan of them. But maybe I'm becoming a fan of them. I don't fucking know.
Okay.
Do I see the band live sometime soon? I don't know. Because again, like if I'm picking and choosing shows, that's when I started seeing bands like Pantera live and stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, I don't. And the funny thing was this, and I loved it. I even became a little less of a Slipknot fan when apparently I heard an interview where Slipknot was getting interviewed. Someone said like, why don't you guys go on tour with Pantera? And they said distinctly, yeah, one of the guys in that band doesn't like us. And I'm like,
Phil?
that's fucking Phil. And I love that because Phil was like Jesus to us. Like he was just like, back then it was just like, he was the coolest motherfucker.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, it's just like, of course he thinks this is poser bullshit.
Yeah.
And that was a big term that was going around in the late 90s. Yeah. That's it was fucking ridiculous.
Everywhere.
So it's just like, it was a witch hunt.
Hell yeah. That's so funny, man. Did you ever meet Phil?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have a poster, again, my house. I have a poster signed by, this is so funny. I've met him a couple times.
Okay.
But I have a silkscreen down poster signed by him, and it's above my toilet.
Hell yeah.
One of my favorite lines in Pantera is, he says, "You ain't got the balls, son." So I had him write, "Eddie, you ain't got the balls, son." Phil and someone above my toilet. It's funny.
That's dope. Fuck yeah, man. I was a big Pantera fan.
Oh yeah, and I lived through it, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember again going to one of those shows at Rosemont Horizon, where it was Pantera, where literally traffic stopped, and the people were hanging out of their cars, shaking their own cars, blaring Pantera on the way to the show. And it's like, this is a moment in time, man. Yeah. This is it. They were fucking phenomenal. They were just hard. Like it was the band.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man, me and Alex were talking the other day at work because we were watching, somebody put on like these old metalcore music videos, and we saw the video for just a little Pantera anecdote, but like there was a video, it was Trivium, it was on their Ascendancy record, and it's for the song "Dying in Your Arms," which was like the power ballad, and in the video there's a quick shot of them hanging out with like Dime's, post Dimebag's death, they were hanging out with like Dime's girlfriend at the time. Rita. Yeah, and like we were just like, it kind of had this like shock on us, and we were like, yeah, remember when like metalcore was going through that huge like respect Dime phase because he passed away, and like it was almost like a whole resurgence for Pantera. I felt like, because I mean, you had Dean Guitars then making all the Razorbacks. I mean, you guys have had to be in bands that somebody had to play a Dimebag guitar, right? I've never been in one. Really?
Yeah, I've never been in one.
No shit. Yeah. My one of my fucking first band
members that love
the dude had a Razorback, the Slime Bumblebee Razorback. And we thought it was like the sickest looking guitar at the time. We were like, yeah, this is the one you have to get. Fuck the one with the lightning. You got to get this one. Like, and I'm thinking about it now. I'm just like, that's like the ugliest guitar.
They're a little rough.
I could think
for sure.
Of. Yeah.
Like, it was so cool, man. Like I did a thing where I had a Pantera show a million years ago. I met Gabe, our drummer, when I was 16. And he was wearing like he had poofed up his hair. I went to go see his band, which became my band later on, Psycho Scapegoat. He had a huge fro. He like poofed it out, and I was like, he
still no sleeves.
I wish he was
wearing sleeves that time, but he just looked so fucking like ignorant, like purposely. Like I want to like make a like he always wears stuff that just like just to stick out a little bit. And I do as well. But I was just like, whatever. And then fucking I ran into him at a Pantera show like probably 6 months later. He's wearing like fucking like a cut off Metallica shirt, cut off like fucking cargo shorts. And I was like, that dude's starting to look hard. I like him a lot. And then I was in his band 6 months later. It was fucking great.
Fuck yeah.
He remembers that. But so getting back to it.
Yeah.
You draw the line and you say like, I'm not going to fly this band's flag.
Yeah.
I might like them, but there's someone else's fucking thing. And to... all due respect to Slipknot, there's always been bands that I hold closer to my heart than them. But I distinctly remember this. I used to walk around with fucking these huge binders of CDs.
Yeah.
That was it.
They were like, I had a backpack with those binders, and then my little pocket had my CD in it, and I would just pop in CDs and just walk around.
It was crazy.
It was like my life. It was awesome.
And I had two big boys. I want to say close to like, it was like 100 and change each. And what you do if you're the cool kid is you put the CD in, then you take the booklet out and you put the booklet inside the sleeve as well. Why, I have no idea, because the CD kind of says what it is. But long story short, you do it.
Yeah.
And if you want to be hardcore because you have a bunch of time on your hands, you put them in alphabetical order, which I did.
Yeah.
Did the same fucking thing.
Yeah, one starts with A, and then the second book that I had started around M, if you will. Whatever.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
And I had a lot of I was obsessed with, and to my credit, I still have all those fucking CDs in boxes in my...
Hell yeah, good for you.
Yeah, so
all mine
they're worthless, but at the same time, those were CDs that I played a million times over. So
yeah, I mean, I had CD books like that, like huge binders of them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I was big into buying music. I mean, granted, it wasn't like new metal, but it was a lot of other shit.
So I was on kind of a pseudo power trip, thinking that I was smarter than everyone in the heavy metal world or whatever.
Well, you probably were.
Entering my sophomore year of high school, I took a trip. This is so funny. I took a trip, and I just remembered what sort of iced me as a Slipknot fan over was my aunt was engaged. And she lives in Florida. Did a thing where we were going down to Florida to visit. My grandparents lived down there, her and her new fiance. And I got word like, you might like this guy. Like one of those things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't really like anyone, but whatever. And then it becomes, oh, he's into the same thing you're into. And I'm like, music? Cool. Because at that time, I've never had an older brother or older anyone that showed me music.
Okay.
It was all me. And that's kind of something that I love, because nothing worked in my favor to become a music fan. It was just me, my own journey. I liked the look of something and I liked the sound of it, and then I had to go digging.
Yeah.
So it was mine.
Sure.
Because what happens is you hear these stories, and I don't know how you guys got into it, of my older brother was into Nine Inch Nails and he let me borrow this record. It's like, that's fucking easy, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking worked for it. There was no one telling me what to do. And guess what? And anyone in my life that was close to me was a fucking obstacle.
Sure.
You know, my dad's cool. I have no problem with him, but he hated heavy metal. You know what I'm saying? And just so on and so forth down the fucking line. But go down, and one thing I do in this week-long vacation, I'm going to Florida.
Yeah.
Right as the new, which is going into my sophomore year, is I bring these fucking binders. And I'm an intimidated 15-year-old at that point, or maybe I'm still 14. And fucking at one point or another, this dude goes like, hey, I hear you're into some heavy metal or whatever. I'm like, hell yeah. And he's like, what are you into? I'm like, why don't I just fucking show you? And I fucking bring out my books.
Yeah.
And he literally starts leafing through all of them. And I get, right as we're in A's or B, right around the time we get to like Black Sabbath, had some Black Sabbath records, I realize he's kind of the real deal. Like, he saw all these bands live, and he starts going into little soliloquies about his experience with those bands. Oh yeah, I saw those guys live, like open up for whoever. And I'm just like, I'm like creaming myself.
Yeah.
And he's telling these stories, then he's moving on to the next one. Then he'll point to something and he'll be like, great record.
Yeah.
Great band. And I'm just like, oh, this is so fucking cool.
Feeling validated, you know?
Yeah. It was a much different time then, too. I mean, you didn't have the internet or anything to like go on a forum and hear
and talk to other people
the
about the records I love.
The number one thing that always stuck out, and it kind of ends a story in a way with him, but we got to D, and I had the first Down record. NOLA came out in 95. I had it. It was super hard for me to find. But I don't know, it was Phil from Pantera Design Project. I need to fucking find this shit. I went to CD store after CD store. Finally found one that was like a rotting copy that was still brand new.
Of which album?
Down NOLA.
Okay.
The first Down record. Yeah. And I played it for my friends like over that winter. I found it fucking right around Christmas at some random ass record store. And everyone was like, this is weird, like sludgy, almost Leonard Skinner shit. And I'm just like, this is the shit.
Okay.
And
was this post? I don't know much about Down's trajectory, at least their history.
Yeah.
Was this post Pantera?
No, it was made right around the time that the third Pantera record was made.
Far Beyond Driven?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, like that same year.
Was Kirk Winstein on the first one? Okay.
So I
Do you call him Winstein or Winstein?
I call him, I'll tell you why I call him Weinstein.
Okay,
Weinstein.
that's sick. Yeah.
Because I had a teacher at DePaul, and people know her or whatever. She's fucking a notorious teacher at DePaul that teaches a class called Sociology of Heavy Metal.
Oh.
And her name was Dina Weinstein.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She gave me, which made no fucking sense. I took it my last semester of my last year of college. She gave me a C minus.
Oh, fuck off.
Bitch.
I fucking taught the class. But I had already been like, I'm going to graduate. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm not learning anything you're trying to teach me. She tried to teach me like, what makes music music? And I'm like, no, all I know is I know what music fucking is. And I'm going to chime in when you start talking about Metallica and tell you what's up, or Soundgarden, you know, all that shit. So I was just kind of like being a brat. So I deserved a C- essentially. But she's a bitch to begin with.
Okay. Does she like heavy metal?
Yeah, she's a big heavy metal fan for sure. I don't even know if she's alive anymore. I'm assuming she is. She came to a show I did at DePaul, which I think you guys played because Jack was in my class with me.
Fuck yeah.
And Jack,
Tower of Rome there.
Well, Jack said, Dina, you should come out to our show. It's at DePaul.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, she was there. And I was running the door. So ask Jack about that one.
I'll have to, yeah.
But yeah, so sorry, I was talking about he's going through these binders, the Down record. He goes, great record. And then he says to me, and I was like, I was sold at this. He had me at this. He goes, I really wish they would come out with another record. Yeah. And I was like, you get it. Because like I had brought these all to my friends who are Pantera fans, and they're like, this is too much. It's too Southern rocky, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I was like so sold on this band.
Yeah. That's such a shitty feeling when you want your friends to be into it. And
I know.
Like, no.
Especially when you're discovering shit every day and you're like, you're on your own.
I still feel like that a lot with a lot of music I listen to now, especially.
I can't tell you how many people I wanted to make Down fans. Yeah. And no one wanted to be. These are Pantera fans. I looked for people who were Down fans. Couldn't find any. Yeah. And then he was the one Down fan I met. And it was just like, it was on. Did a thing where he's combing through the binder and he gets to that fucking Slipknot record. And I'm just like, I kind of not sure I want him to see this one. And he points it and goes, great band.
Oh, right.
Like, really? And then I kind of pour myself out to him because we're already by S now. So we've already
you've had a lot of
albums. Like I like the band. It's just that the aesthetic's fucking over the top, dude. Like, what is this nonsense? You need 3 drummers, DJs, and all this bullshit, and you need to dress like all this shit. And he goes, put it really close in perspective to me. He's like, dude, they fucking rock. They tear it up. He's like, their theatrics are nothing that bands like Kiss didn't do back in the 70s, which I lived through. Right, yeah. And I was becoming a huge Kiss fan at the time. And he's like, he put in perspective, dude, he's like, if you like something, don't fucking be apologetic for it. Just fucking like it.
Yeah, no guilty pleasures. Just fucking.
And dude, when you're hearing that at the age of 15 from like an OG who's been everywhere, saw Danzig on Danzig 1, saw all this shit. Okay. And it's like the list goes on. Like Faith No More back in the he saw everything and had stories for it. He had a fucking story where he was like, talks about he saw Metallica play a secret show under the name The Four Horsemen. Everyone's like, who's this band called The Four Horsemen? And they showed up as fucking Metallica playing a small club. Wow. Like, he has stories for days. And the cool thing was, he was saying, like, if you're into it, you're fucking into it, dude. Yeah. Don't fucking be apologetic of it. Not to mention, I was the dude who, throughout liking all this heavy metal shit, this Pantera, Megadeth, all this stuff, I would still get shit on from, they're my friends, granted, for still carrying the torch of the grunge scene. So they'd be like, dude, Gobbo was wearing the flannel again. Gobbo was talking about Soundgarden again, all this bullshit. And that was so passe at that point. Yeah. The one band I got shit on all the time for liking was Hole. Hole's the shit. Or like
Courtney Loves?
Yeah. Okay. And I was just like, it rocks. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And then in there, dude, like, I got my stamp of approval. And I was like, whatever I dig, I fucking dig. And I dig this Slipknot record. And he apparently digs it too. He's on the fucking level. Yeah. And when it comes down to it, no matter what I hear from now on, if it rocks, it rocks. Okay. I'm gonna have no guilty pleasure. And then the fucking floodgates opened. It was like an awakening. I got so far into 80s metal shit that I always kind of dug, but I was like, no, I want to embrace Motley Crue. I became the biggest Poison fan. I still am. And like, then I started bringing this shit back to high school, and everyone's like, Gobbo, you're fucking like way far out there now. And it's like, yes, but like all the bands we all like together, I could still fucking talk about backwards and forwards with you, and I'm an OG with it, and it's all good. And then before you know it, those bands are respected by your friends, and then they become fans of them. And then guess what? Years later, the world all caught up with itself, and this is the mentality that everyone fucking has right now. And it really pisses me off when people say like, oh, fucking My Chemical Romance is playing Riot Fest. 15-year-old me is stoked. And it's like, dude, How about you are stoked?
Yeah.
You're just using that as a fucking like crutch when people say, oh, you like Bush, really? And it's like, you still like Bush. It's just that you're saying 15-year-old me is stoked.
Okay.
You're the one who's fucking stoked. Just say you're stoked on it.
Yeah.
You know, like it is what it is. It's fucking awesome.
15-year me. No, it's like, no, you still listen to that band.
Yeah.
Why don't you just say you like it?
Or if you
I don't get that shit either, dude.
or if they purposely avoid it to not be embarrass themselves.
That's who gives a fuck, man.
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I started listening to like the 1975, who's like a huge pop band right now that I love. They're one of my favorite bands, like of all time. And like I listened to them and I started thinking, I was like, I found them through some rabbit hole of production I went on one day, and like a bunch of guys on the 7-string forums were like, oh, like Bulb was like, yeah, this is really good production. Heard it. I was like, oh, hate it. Never mind. And then like, as they like became more of a band, I would listen to them more. And then one day I was like, I actually fucking love this, but I never had anybody to be like, hey, check this out. Like, because nobody I know would really like them. And then finally, like, once my friends like Alex and shit started really like listening to other music, I was like, yo, listen to this. And he was like, whoa, this is fucking like sick. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's awesome. So, but yeah, I mean, I could relate to, in a sense, you know, obviously they're not a heavy band, but yeah, it's just like, I won't tell anybody I don't like that band. I love that band.
I know, but the thing is, people like me, you don't understand, like, I'm not patting myself on the back.
Sure.
We broke the doors down for people like you
to
be cool with it. Because
absolutely.
back then it was like you were on one side of the fucking other and there were lines getting drawn every day.
Yeah.
And it's like, it fucking sucked. And the worst thing would be like, I mean, this term went around in the 90s a lot, late 90s, gay. The kid's gay.
Yeah,
and it's
shit
like,
is gay.
Yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
I still know people that use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was a big avid user of shit being gay.
So when it comes down to it, you were, again, lines were getting drawn within itself. There was no heavy, I was like, if you're a heavy metal fan, no. Like, it was, what type of heavy metal fan are you? You know? But, and it's ironic because the band Slipknot, if you look at their sort of DNA and tree, they were all some of them are in extreme death metal bands.
Oh, yeah. You hear it, too, in the music,
you
dude.
hear it, exactly. So it's like, it doesn't get much more legit than where they came from. One of the drummer, I think Joey was an Anal Blast at one point.
Really?
Yeah, if you remember that band.
Yeah, I do.
That band's a nightmare, but like, that band's cred as fuck, you know?
Yeah, they are. Dude, I remember Sean Crahan. I read an interview. It was right around the time, like it was after Volume 3, was All Hope Is Gone came out. He did an interview with like, it was either Revolver Magazine or Metal Hammer. And there was like a piece where they were talking about like musicians' tattoos. And he has the creatures from the first Immolation album. I forget what it's called. Like, Dawn of Possession is what it's called. And I was just like, whoa. I was like, that makes sense. Like, I mean, you hear blast beats. On the first Slipknot record, there's blast beats. And I'm like, whoa.
It's metal as fuck.
You know, there's a lot of metal going on there.
Side note to that story, I just remember that dude who sort of gave me the green light to go like what I like. He was the first, and this is the sad part of it, he was the first dude that I ever met that was an alcoholic.
Really?
Yeah. And it was a matter of, I distinctly remember him paging through that shit with a beer in his hand. All right. Okay. And the dude was like my age or maybe a little younger. Like now.
Okay. Okay. No,
all right.
No.
So like that'll give you.
Is he still married to your aunt?
No. So check this out, which is did a thing where met him in Florida. They came up for, I think, was a wedding in Chicago. Stayed at my parents' house, which is then my house, for I want to say like a week. All right. Then I really broed down with him. Okay. Because I'm like, homeboy's at my house. I'm going to show him all my fucking shit, my shirts, blah, blah, blah. It was great. My parents, because they were entertaining guests, they went out for dinner with them a lot. We went out for dinner, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. When you're introduced to the concept of an alcoholic as a kid, it's usually in grade school, and they teach you about this guy who is can't go through his day without a beer. Yeah. Angry as piss, depressed. Yeah. Will fucking sell his soul for alcohol, will sell you down the river, all those things. What they don't teach you is that alcoholics come in all shapes and sizes. And and that person I just described is actually the minority of it. Okay. The more common one and the one that you're more likely to experience is the dude who's guy or gal that's at the party fucking a little too long. Oh, yeah. Meaning like, right, yeah. Here's an example of it, which is the most common one you're going to fucking see in our circles are you go out and you have drinks with friends. And it does suck when you're going out and having 2 drinks with someone and then they're like, yeah, that's about it for me. And it's like, we're 2 cocktails in, man. Like, grow a sack, have a third, have a fourth. But what's dangerous is it's a Tuesday night. We're 6 deep and you're looking on your phone for an after hours bar or you want to go back to a house. It's like, Now's the time to wrap it.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize is that alcoholic exists in a very happy state. We're raging, we're having fun. It's getting more and more fun until it's not, which is usually in the fourth quarter of their night, like that last 2 hours before bed.
Okay.
They don't drink to go. They don't try to go to sleep. They just end up passing out.
Yeah.
And that last 2 hours is where, like, the hell of inside them comes out. And they say like a nasty thing, or they get fucking pissy with someone they love. And it's usually the person that's close with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
You see it with significant others all the time. And the fucking, the crutch behind it all, which is one of the most frustrating fucking things on the planet.
Yeah.
And I know for a fucking fact, because I had a person who drank too much admit that it's a fucking lie. A lot of them will fucking wake up the next day and be like, "What's up?" And it's like, "What's up? We had a horrible ending of our fucking night." And then they go, "I don't fucking remember it. I blacked out."
Yeah.
So if you're gonna yell at me, I'm supposed to take responsibility for something I don't remember.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
dude,
total bullshit.
This dude I know would pull that shit. And he remembered fucking anything.
With your aunt?
No. Not this other dude.
Okay.
But I'm saying, like, this dude's night would get to the point where it was rough, which is basically like we would sit down for dinner at 5 p.m. and it would be beer every 30 minutes until sleep at 3 a.m. Now do the math on that. And it's just like, that's a lot of fucking drinking, and to the point where it would get nasty by the end of it. And it's so funny because he would go out with my parents, if not with us. And then fucking as soon as they left to go back to Florida. And Florida is the best place if you want to be an alcoholic, to be honest with you. Because what happens there is it's always 5 o'clock somewhere, you know, with that. And the beers are cheap. And like, I'm not being a dick to people who live in Florida. I fucking love it. But I'm saying, like, that's where he existed, and it was like fucking party time all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when it comes down to it, they went back. I remember saying to my parents, like, "Yeah, that dude's fucking awesome." Like, after they left, and they're like,
I don't know.
and then I'm like, "What?" And it was one of the first times I ended up calling out my parents as being essentially hypocrites, because I was like, "Why isn't he awesome?" And then they revealed he drinks too much. And then my genius at the age of fucking 14, 15 said to him, "Well, motherfuckers, you're the ones who are taking him out for drinks every night and drinking with him."
Yeah.
And then their rebuttal, which I now see at the age of 30, is, well, and this is fucking it, which is like, you could drink, you just can't drink too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Balance.
And then when it comes down to it, if you drink too much, you're the fucking asshole.
Yeah.
There's some validity in what they said. I'm kind of a firm believer in order to punish a person who's doing something too much is don't fucking
do it at all.
Don't do it at all. Or when you go out to fucking dinner with them or whatever, don't start the drink train with them.
No.
Just be like, if they order a beer, just be like, "No, I'm sitting this one out." And if they continue drinking the rest of the night, then they're the dick.
It's on them, yeah. But if you're enabling them or putting them in a situation, it's just like, okay, like.
So the answer's somewhere in the middle with that. But when it comes down to it, like I said, he was kind of in that boat. And then 6 months later, they're like, "Yeah, you know, your aunt," and I'm not even going to reveal his name, but that's not happening anymore. Meaning, like, the engagement's off because his alcohol intake became too out of fucking control.
Yeah.
And then the heartbreaking side to it is as follows, which is right around this time, probably 6 months after they broke up, Down announced that they were releasing their second record.
No!
And I was like,
Down 2.
He's got that going for him.
Yeah.
It came out, and then I did something kind of ballsy, which is I hit up my aunt and I said, "Could I have his phone number or whatever?" And she goes, "Well, he actually moved away. Like, he moved to another state." And I was just like, I just want to talk to him about this one record, you know, because this was our dream essentially.
Yeah,
which was
that is a ballsy move for sure.
And I was fucking, I think I was 16 years old. And she goes, "Yeah, like, fucking call him if you want to. Like, it is what it is." And there was no texting back then.
Yeah.
I had to fucking straight up call him. I get the answering machine. And I say something paraphrasing, like, kind of nervous, but I choke it back. I'm just like, just want to say, like, I don't know if you heard, I just want to talk about this new Down record just came out. And kind of our dream came true, dude. They came out with the second one. Want to know what you think of it? Want to check in with you? That's it.
Yeah.
I never got a call back.
Okay.
And I get wind from my aunt about a year later that, and this is the silver lining to it. She goes, "Yeah, I talked with him after that. He got your message. And he was just so, like, heartbroken how the whole thing ended that he didn't have like sort of the courage or whatever to call you back.
Sure.
The silver lining to it was he had hit rock bottom, with his drinking.
Yeah.
And he had moved and apparently was like sober a year.
Really?
So like, it was just like, to put it in perspective, he had to like start like clean slate with his life.
Yeah.
Difference. And obviously I was part of that old part of his life, whichever tie, which is my aunt.
Yeah.
And when it came down to it, I haven't spoke with him since. I don't know what he's doing. I hope he's sober. But like, that was the first taste of it. And then once you get that first one out of the fucking mix, you're able to spot him a lot easier. Dudes who are guys or gals who have like a little bit of alcohol or substance issues. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting, man. That's an interesting, because like I've definitely had my fair share of experience with alcoholics, but it took me a while to really learn about it. Until it didn't take me one person, it took me a couple to see the different shapes and sizes of alcoholics and just kind of put the pieces together and be like, oh, like I know what type of person this is, or I know what type of dude this is, even with a lot of substances, but definitely alcohol is like, the most common, I would think,
The one thing that kept me from essentially becoming an alcoholic was I said to myself, like, I rarely go to bars to drink.
Yeah.
I go to a show and have a beer because I'm there to see the bands.
Yeah.
I went to see Helmet on night before Thanksgiving.
Did you see Max there?
Max get kicked out?
Yeah, dude. See that shit?
Dude, I was outside. He got dragged right past me.
Yeah.
Fucking
or he didn't get dragged. He like ran past me. And I was like, that looks like Max. And he's like bitching someone up. It was a mistaken identity type.
Yeah.
They were like, there was two guys that were that height of the venue. Like Max is a tall dude, everyone out there. And he got mistaken for the other guy.
Yeah, he told us about it. He was just like, they thought I was smoking in the venue. I was like, what? And he told him, he was like, the only time I smoked a cigarette was with you, Jason, on our CD release party. Because we shared one together. Because we thought it would look cool.
I remember.
Like, this looks cool.
It did not look cool, but I remember.
It looks cool.
I go to a lot of shows and I go to a lot of sporting events. And with that, I love drinking. Yeah. But if you're doing a thing where you're habitually going to a bar just to go to one, that's where you need to kind of watch out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm there for the show. If the show isn't going down, I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Bottom Lounge to hang out.
No.
Right. I don't give a fuck about Bottom Lounge. But if Helmet's playing, I definitely give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a drink or two.
Hell yeah. How was it?
It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Helmet's one of those bands, they are like a pre-new metal, and we're almost wrapping up with the Slipknot record, but they were a pre-new metal band, like that Faith No More category.
Sure. Yeah, Max loves Helmet.
Dude, Korn was influenced by him, System of a Down for sure, like all those bands. And Helmet was their band because it just had that chunky groove riff.
Yeah.
And dude, they fucking destroyed the other night, and I was so pleased because I'm not ripping on any band or whatever, but like the other fucking show at Metro that night was Power Trip.
Oh yeah.
And then it's just like,
and High on Fire, right?
Everyone shits on me a lot, like for like being like the Helmet dude, like still suck. And I'm just like, they still whoop ass, and everyone's like, yeah, they had 2 good records, and I'm just like, no, they had many good records, and their riffs are fucking timeless. And then what do I walk into? A fucking packed Bottom Lounge, fucking everyone raging. I'm just like, this is the shit,
That's
man.
the shit.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically when it came down to it, I fought the Slipknot record Kicking and Screaming. I became a fan of it.
Sure. Are you a continued Slipknot fan?
Yeah. So basically every record I've seen them live.
You see them on the new one yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was no, because they've only come through, I want to say once, which was that fest.
Yeah.
That fucking
open air or whatever.
Oh no, wait, hold on a sec. The new one,
the newest one that just came out.
Okay, they haven't toured on that yet. They haven't hit Chicago yet. When they hit Chicago, I will be there.
Okay.
Maybe they did. No, they hit Tinley Park. They did.
Okay.
And I missed it.
Okay.
I might have been at another show that night. But
you like the new record?
It's my least favorite of the records.
Okay.
But some of them I love so much that it doesn't even fucking matter.
Sure.
They're on their victory lap, I see, as a band because they've put out so much quality. Dude, I fucking remember distinctly where I was. I was in a fucking car listening to Q101. Yeah. I heard that fucking the first single off.
On this new one?
No, Subliminal Versus the third one.
Oh, Duality? Was that the first single?
Yeah, it was. And I just said, as soon as I heard that song, I was like, it's over. Like, they've done it.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm like, this song is so good. Like, I mean, it's just like, and even if it's not something, it's less aggressive than Iowa.
Yeah, yes.
But like, I couldn't fathom in a million years that they would be able to write this good of a song.
Yeah.
And if you hear them play it live, it's always at a distinct basically probably the last song before they go off stage before an encore. And the crowd is like, it's an anthem. And like, there's a lot of songs on that third record that are in that vein where they're just like these big anthems. There's a little tidbit about Slipknot. There's no
what was that song? Before I Forget?
Yeah, that's another huge one.
And won a Grammy.
And won a Grammy. There's no swearing on Slipknot 3 at all.
Yeah.
There's not one swear word. Corey Taylor did that because the first 2 records were all fuck everything.
Yeah, fuck was every other word.
Yeah, and it was all piss and vinegar. That this was like focused in more about the song, and that was it. It was over for them.
They had that weird soft song "Circle" on that record.
Yep.
That was a cool song at the time. I mean, I haven't listened to it in so long, but yeah, man, I listened to the Slipknot record yesterday. I listened to it at work, and like, there's a lot of moments where I had a big ass like shit-eating grin on my face where I was like, yeah, this is like, the song's sick.
So the song "Sick" is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, that's iconic.
Yeah.
It's an iconic track.
"Sick" is
Great
good.
opener,
And then obviously, you know, when the music drops out and then the sampler does his job. Here comes the pain.
Yeah.
Like, that is, dude, have you seen them live?
No, never.
You have
Oh
seen
man,
them.
yeah.
All right, so when you see them now that all those kids are grown up, when they fucking drop out and they, you know, press "Here Comes the Pain," he plays it fucking full blast. You don't even hear it because the crowd fucking yells it. Like, that's how iconic that snippet from. It's Al Pacino from Carlito's Way.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen Carlito's Way. He's fucking in a bathroom and he's about to come out blazing and he yells, "Here comes the pain." And he fucking comes out. It's fucking so good.
Yeah, dude, that song's amazing. I still like them. I tried listening to some of the songs because when I was a Slipknot fan, I only had Volume 3. I never went back and bought Iowa. No, you know what? I had it on iTunes because it was big to buy digital albums at the time.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like an experiment for me where I was like, oh, I just got an iPod. Like, I'll go buy Iowa. And I did. I never owned the first record. I never even think I listened to it the whole way through until years after I was like really a Slipknot fan. But it's the one I'm familiar with the least out of the first 3.
Iowa?
Yeah. No,
the
Slipknot,
self-titled?
the self-titled. Yeah,
That's crazy. And that's what's interesting
about
about this because of the age gap. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I like about this.
Yeah,
That's
like-
crazy.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
So
to
there's
hear.
some songs where like I remember "Spit It Out" and I never
Yeah,
really.
Spit It Out's fucking awesome.
Oh, see, I hate that song.
Oh, man.
I never liked that song when I was
Really?
a kid. Yeah, so listen to my thought process yesterday. I was
Wait,
like,
what was your favorite and least favorite song on
Okay,
the album?
the song that I
you
recommended
picked
you
was
guys.
"Get This," which
Get
is
This.
not
Great
on the
song.
fucking record,
So
dude.
d-
It's a B-side.
I know, so that's the reason why, which is
I think it depends on which album you bought. Right?
I had to look for it because I was like, wait a minute, what the
Dude,
fuck? Like,
there's
this
a
is not
reason I picked the
Spotify.
song. Okay. Roadrunner put
Yeah.
out the Slipknot record. Roadrunner started doing these brilliant fucking things around that time. There were no MP3s yet, all that maybe Napster or whatever, blah, blah, blah. They would get you to buy the record twice because they would release the record, and then about a year later, they would release what's
The
called
deluxe edition.
Deluxe
or
edition.
or
Yep.
Digipack, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it. And
See,
they were usually about 5 songs on it that
Yeah.
didn't make the fucking cut. They did that for all their bands, and then you'd buy the record twice.
Oh, yeah.
Or, I mean, if you were like a real mark for it, where it was like,
Yeah.
if I'm a Slipknot fan, I'm buying it twice.
Yep,
And
I did.
Well,
for a
see,
lot of
like they
bands.
used to do it where like the deluxe was the first thing to come out. So if you bought it when it came out, you got that with all the crazy B-sides, and it was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that like growing up. But then
yes, that's right. Yeah,
remember?
some of
But
them,
then that's when they caught on of, oh, wait a minute, if we do that afterwards and everybody already bought the original album, they're gonna buy it again. And that's when it switched. And that's when I
Okay.
stopped buying albums day one. I was like, you know what? They're gonna do a deluxe. I'm just gonna wait when that comes out. I'll go grab
There
it.
you go.
And
Yeah.
dude, Roadrunner, great label.
They
Typo, Machine Head, Fear
they just
Factory.
slammed that into the ground, that concept of the
Oh man, then they had all the big metalcore bands. They had
But-
Kill Switch.
I know, but there was
Mm-hmm.
2 bands that brought them to another level, which were Slipknot.
Okay.
And then a little known band got signed and put out their first record through Roadrunner in the same year, known as Nickelback.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And those were the 2 bands. They were all those bands that were the Fear Factory was still doing it, but Typo was done.
Yeah.
Or they were like, or they were taking a extended hiatus, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Machine Head was, I think, about to jump ship to another label, whatever. But long story short is those 2 bands came out at the right time. And then fucking, what do you know? Like, they're huge.
Yeah.
Makes them a bunch of money. And they were 2 of the biggest bands in the world at that point. You know?
Okay.
The reason I picked Get This, though, was B-side or not, or Digipack exclusive, that whole thing, blah, 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 blah. Check out their set list. Now, like,
Now, like go
they
look at
still
one.
play Get This.
Really?
I saw them play it when they fucking played that Chicago show. The last time I saw him in Chicago, whatever. But I've seen him play it multiple times. And
Interesting.
they're the only band I know that I've ever seen out of all that Roadrunner shit that got re-released with the 5 extra tracks that actually fucking played a song off it.
Really?
That wasn't just like, oh, here's some extra bullshit.
Okay.
And they're still playing it to this day.
Yeah.
That's
song.
awesome.
Yeah. And there's also another one called Ior on the fucking...
Yeah.
And they play that live too. I've seen them play that.
Yeah. I've heard that. I remember there was a live Slipknot release that came out after Volume 3 and Ior was on it. And I was like, I can't find that song anywhere. Cause like even on Spotify, like I think Ior's on Slipknot, but Get This is not. Like I had to look it up on YouTube to listen to it because I was like, wait a minute, where is it? But
the song doesn't really fit into the record because it's more primitive than the other songs.
Yeah.
But it's a banger.
Yeah.
And he talks about hating other bands and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like it just doesn't fit in at all,
Yeah.
but it rules. And that's my favorite song on the record. And it's not even on the record.
That's awesome.
yeah, I remember I did that with Killswitch. I bought the record twice for both
Alive or Just Breathing, is that Killswitch?
yeah. They did that with that album. They did it. They
Is
did
that
it
a
with
Killswitch record?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Alive
I
or
just
Just
pulled
Breathing.
that out of my ass.
That's the last
good
one.
pull.
That's the last one with Jesse Leach before he rejoined. But all the Howard records, like the 2 Howard records, 3.
End of
I don't
Heartache.
count the last second one, but I should. But yeah, End of Heartache and As Daylight Dies, they did that for both of those. They put out regular editions, then deluxe editions, and then they had I don't know if you would count this as successful but they did play it at some shows. They played it when I saw them. They had that Holy Diver cover.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
That was on, but I mean, it's
But
not
that
an
was on
original
the-
song.
That was on, I think, a Roadrunner release as well. That was just like a Roadrunner comp.
It
maybe.
might have been, but it was. I remember it was featured on as well as the CM Punk theme song.
Yeah, This Fire Burns or
Yeah,
whatever.
it was featured on the deluxe edition of As Daylight Dies.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, good point.
So there's that. But yeah, man. So I was gonna say I tried listening to Spit It Out again because at the time I was like, I don't like this. It's like too much hip hop shit, and I think all his lyrics
Yeah.
are
For
corny
sure.
as fuck. And I was just like, I'm not about it. So then yesterday I was like, you know what? I listen to a lot more hip hop now. Like
maybe it'll
I'll
finally
like it now. And then
resonate.
I was like, oh, I hate. And then I looked up the lyrics and I was like, wow, like maybe at the time, but I was just like, yeah, I still don't like this song.
That's so funny.
Still love Eyeless. Fucking
Fuck yes.
what a
Such
banger
a
of a
jam.
song. Yeah. Marlon Brando, dude.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
that's
see
just a
California.
bad. I don't even know how badass that lyric is, man. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it means
Neither
still,
do I.
but it's
Yeah.
so badass.
Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, there's some, but I mean, the second half of that record is the part that I wasn't really familiar with. And I don't know if I liked it because it did feel very new metal-y. Like that's when I really started. I was like, okay, there we go. So songs like, I gotta look at the track
Liberate
listing.
is on it on the second.
Liberate, I did like, and there's so
Only
many
one.
like, dude. Yeah, Joey Jordison kills it on that record. There's so many sick like little blasts he does, and then all those grooves. It's just like
It's another
damn,
thing that I
man.
love about that record is the drums are real as fuck.
Oh yeah, they're very
Like
real.
it's impressive.
Yeah.
Considering the time and everything too.
According, this could be folklore or whatever that they recorded that whole record
Yeah,
at Ross Robinson's studio, and they went for it while they were recording. So you know, like, dude, when like any bands of us cars, it's like concentration. It's like looking every. No, they like were headbanging and going insane the whole
Right,
time.
just
And there's footage of
hitting it.
them recording, and again, it could be hyperbole. Where they're like, but all of them swear that they did it fucking the whole fucking time. And then the reason I really love that record is, and I get it, once Iowa came out and they were a headliner of arenas, the world opened up for them and money came.
Mhm.
But that first record, you have all these members telling stories about how hard it was for them to do tours, but they didn't
No, I
come off the
remember.
road for like 2 years. And when you're in a case where, whatever, Bill and I's band will play a show at Bottom Lounge. When we play with the Obsessed, we got like a fucking rack of PBRs, and we're like bringing home extras.
Even more so now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But when it comes, yeah, true. When it comes down to it, though, imagine that for maybe half that for Slipknot,
Yeah, for
and there's 9 members.
dudes.
Yeah.
And potentially crew.
And then, yeah, exactly. They're like, we like had nothing, and we just had to go out on the road for fucking ever. And it's funny because their reputation, it was like they couldn't get bad press because it was around that time they would do a thing where it's like, oh yeah, we throw shit at each other or we vomit in our masks. Like they would say real shit and everyone would be like, Jesus Christ, like who are these guys? They did a thing folklore would grow from like a grassroots area too, and I'll explain what I mean. We've all been to Rolling Stone Records.
Oh,
all right, so they used to do autograph signings, and one of the things that
I remember that, dude.
When I was still kind of dragging my feet through Slipknot, one of my stories was someone goes, "Oh my God, Slipknot just did a signing there." I'm like, "Yeah, so." Like I'll go to the Rob Zombie one. Funny Static X story, which was Static X showed up and they did a signing.
Yeah.
And then some guy comes up to me and he's like, "Dude, do you know this band Static X?" I go, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude, I apparently was at their signing yesterday." He goes, "No one was there." And he goes, "Some guy's walking around with fucking huge
massive hair."
So like, no one showed up for it. But like when I went to the Ozzy signing or the Rob Zombie one or the Fear Factory one, like, it was insane.
Fear Factory had a signing at Rolling Stones?
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yep. Soulfly.
Okay.
Slipknot rolls through. I
remember Disturbed had one.
They roll up in their van. There's a plaza with a bank in it across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And they fucking pull in the bank parking lot to get dressed.
Yeah.
Because they're all dressed in normal clothes. And they're like, we need to roll up to Rolling Stone dressed like our fucking Slipknot shit. They start putting on their jumpsuits and their mask. The bank fucking calls the cops. Thought they were going to fucking rob them.
Yeah.
Squad cars descend and with guns fucking out, like ready to fucking kill a motherfucker. And then apparently Slipknot rolls up like so pissed off. And then apparently I think it was Clown or the DJ or Sid, the DJ or whatever. And Rick Linus, who we all know or whatever, was working at Rolling Stone at the time. He was in the back like area of fucking Stones and just so pissed off and fucking punched a hole in the wall. And then he just like punched a hole in the wall.
Clown
And then,
did?
no, I think it was Sid.
Okay.
And then someone wrote, who worked at Rolling, they never got it repaired. Someone wrote Slipknot did this and put an arrow pointing down. It's still there apparently.
That's sick.
Yeah,
I have a buddy
so
that works
cool.
there now. I'll have to ask him.
Ask him about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again,
get a photo.
That was an example of trying to avoid that band and then it just coming to you. Like, you'll never guess what happened to Slipknot when they came through Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Couldn't
I'm
get
like,
away from it,
Fucking,
man.
of course, something happened to them.
That's so funny.
And they just got more and more popular every time, you know?
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, my friend Mike, who plays in Sea of Shit with all the old dudes that were in Tower of Rome.
Gotcha.
He's like a general manager at Rolling Stones now.
Ask him to get a
Oh,
photo.
yeah. Yeah, Mike.
Get
Yeah.
a picture
Yeah,
of it.
you
He's
know
in
him?
that band?
Yeah. Cool. Mike, I don't know his last name, but yeah. Glasses, taller guy. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's awesome.
He is awesome. I didn't know you knew him.
Yeah, because I dated a girl from Rolling Stones for, some part of my 20s.
Okay.
So I knew, and then it was fucking so funny, which was
Does she still work there?
what's up?
Does she still work
She
there?
does not work there. No, he still works there.
I know,
and he
yeah.
just worked there back. And there was a girl who was a manager I met, and I remember there was a show called Get a Life.
Yeah.
If anyone remembers that, and they came out with a box set. And I was like looking for it everywhere. And I kept rolling up to Rolling Stones like every week. Like, do you guys have it? And I got to the point where every time I'd roll up, she would say, we don't have it.
Oh,
like, yeah, it was awesome. And then finally I found it. They got it in. But
Hell yeah.
but yes, that Slipknot record, man. That was cool.
That was the one.
It was a moment in time. And the funny thing is this, which is my friend Ronnie, who's Donna, who was the aforementioned Donna, she was mentioned earlier in the show. He was like a year younger than me in high school. We grew up in different cities. He grew up in Ohio. But he said that, which I thought was really fucking cool. He said that when he was in high school, he might be 2 years younger than me. Every Friday was Slipknot Friday. So if you were a Slipknot fan, like it was an unwritten rule. You wore your Slipknot shirt every Friday to school.
That's awesome.
And that's rad as fuck.
Yeah.
Like that was like their fans, like it brought something out of them. That maybe Pantera for me or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like, that's very hard to do. Which is like anyone who was in on it thought that they were a part of something that was bigger than themselves, bigger than the band. And anytime the band talked about Slipknot, they almost acted like they weren't in control of the band. Like it was something that that was the universe was in control of. And they had to do it even if they didn't want to. And I thought that was so fucking
That's
cool.
crazy, yeah. I just Slipknot shirt. My mom got it for me at Beyond the Limit, right next door to fucking Rolling Stones, which is still there.
Within the Limit. That's what we used to call
Within
it.
the Limit. That's funny.
Fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
And then the one track that is the staple of that record is the song they end every show with, which is your new national fucking anthem called... I'm forgetting the name right now. Surfacing.
Yeah, that song's sick.
Fuck it all. Fuck this world.
That's the one I picked.
Fuck
as my
everything
favorite.
that you stand for.
Yeah.
Like that is just
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Do you have any
so
least favorite
aggressive.
songs on that record?
Yeah, it'd probably be the fact that there's the last song on the record's called Scissors.
Yeah.
That one, because it's so aimless. And I get it. Like there was a big trend that occurred, which is like bangers on the front of the record. The last song you end with the artsy track, where it's just like nonsensical jam. And actually, Slipknot kind of did that. Korn did it on their first record, kind of their second one. Slipknot really did it on their second record, Iowa. The last song is called Iowa, and it's like a 15-minute song. It's a jam, basically. And I always was like, damn it. Like, I know you have to end with something big, but like, that always lost.
You didn't like that song?
Yeah, Scissors is the one that I would throw away. But besides that, like, when it comes down to it, the rest of the record's fucking great. So
You see, I didn't like the one song Tattered and Torn.
yeah, that's another one.
Because it's a weird song that it has this build up that just doesn't really quite build up, but the end to it is fucking awesome. Like it gets real fucking heavy. It takes too long to get to the end. That's how I felt.
For the rest of the way that record flows, I did think that was kind of weird.
It really,
I liked
it takes a weird turn. Yeah, I don't hate it, but it's just that would be my least favorite.
The best thing though is that Slipknot will say that they really looked at the first Korn record and the first Limp Bizkit record on who to record their first record with, and then they went to Ross because they're like he creates this for live feel and this fury. That, to be honest with you, I would argue that Slipknot, he works best with bands that are young, because once you become good at your instrument, you don't want your music to come off that way. You're like, I want to showcase myself. I want to hear every one of my notes. You know what I'm saying? But when you are young and you don't know what you're doing in the studio, you'd rather have someone just new jacket and fucking just have it sound like heavy as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
So just so it sounds like you're just creating something chaotic. Yeah. And that's why Ross Robinson's great for young bands.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because going in the studio and becoming a major label band right off the bat, it's got to be intimidating.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, shit, look at that. The first single Slipknot dropped for the newest record. I forget what it's called. I hated it when I first heard it. I probably still don't like it because I just think it's like this cheesy ass chorus. And but it makes
it's called Unsainted.
Yeah. Was not a fan of it. And it's just so like very different, obviously, from what they were doing then. But you could like, I think like Volume 3 is a good example of like, okay, they're like at peak songwriting status because they were writing songs, but it still kept a lot of the aggressive shit. I mean, there's songs on that record with like a ton of blast beats and shit, you know, like really weird, heavy shit. But there's also like the super catchy choruses, like
produced by Rick Rubin.
Okay, he did that record.
Volume 3, yeah.
Okay, did? So Ross did Iowa.
Yes, and the first one.
Okay, yeah.
And then they graduated to using this guy, and I forget his name, Nick something. I think his name is Nick, who worked with like Evanescence.
Okay.
Afterwards, like they started then being like, we're just looking to not get anything weird out of us. We're just looking to write great songs and have it sound good.
Yeah,
and
which
the
makes
dude
sense.
and their best sounding record, arguably, is the fourth one, All Hope Is Gone. Because like Rubin has a very distinct way of sounding where it sounds kind of like shit.
Yeah.
Ross Robinson's the same way. You listen to the fourth Slipknot record and you're like, I could hear everything. The songs aren't as good, but at the same
what was
time,
the big hit on Psychosocial?
which is
a big
jam. Like I love that song, but like
the breakdown at the end, man, I remember that.
Yeah, that's like a Meshuggah-esque thing.
I know. I remember thinking, I was like, man, I wonder if since breakdowns were on the rise, some dudes in Slipknot were like, this was cool, and then they try to do it, but I doubt it. I don't know.
It might have been on their radar.
Yeah.
Couldn't get away.
I'm
from
always
that either.
curious about. I used to be curious about it. I don't think I've never listened to that record front to back.
Yeah, there's some jams on it,
Yeah.
for sure. But it's obviously that's their worst one up into that point because the first three are just fucking
So good.
insane.
Yeah.
But it sounds the best.
Did you like the Grey Chapter?
I did, yeah, because it was as a Slipknot fan, I hate to say it, like I felt so fucking sorry for those dudes, but they were heartbroken losing one of their members, and I look at anything that's triumphant, that's something I care about or cared about. I'm always looking for someone to come out of it. Like, good for them, man. And they came out and that record rules. I did a thing where I have a friend out in DC, Roger. I came out and he came to stay with me, and I was like, you got to listen to this fucking record. And I like fucking shoved it on his throat. I'm like, listen to it. And he's like, yeah, it's all right. And then he hit me up like 6 months later. He's like, dude, I can't stop listening to that fucking record. And creeped his way in. So I was very sold on it. And that was the tour I saw with them and Korn.
Yeah.
And I was just like, they've done it, you know? And I think that they started replacing members because they replaced Joey on that record as well.
Yeah. How'd you feel about that?
It sucked, but Jay Weinberg, the reason I love it is that you guys probably know this. this kind of sums it up. Max Weinberg from Bruce Springsteen's bands is his dad.
Yeah.
In this early Slipknot video, I think it was the Iowa video.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if you guys already know this, but we'll mention it again.
Yeah.
For someone who have already started the story, do a thing where it shows them backstage like Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
You know, and it's Max Weinberg talking with, I want to say it was Mick, the guitarist.
Yeah.
Or Jay, or Jim Root. Might have been Jim Root. And then I think it is Jim Root, actually. And then there's this little kid in the background wearing a makeshift homemade Slipknot costume.
Uh-huh.
And that was Jay Weinberg.
Yeah.
So I have to, as a fan of anything that's holy in this world, put my stamp of approval on this guy being the drummer. Because for you to join your favorite band ever, it's impossible.
It's gotta be the coolest fucking thing ever.
And then even if you join it, I've heard that from like, yeah, dude, I grew up on like the Doobie Brothers. Now I'm in the band. It's like, you're not in the band, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're like the backup keyboardist that like touring with them.
Yeah.
Cool. This guy's in the band.
Yeah.
And yes, he did have a little bit of an inside track being his dad's fucking famous.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That doesn't fucking hurt.
Yeah.
But at the same time, his chops are the shit.
Yeah.
And he's living the dream, man. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's true. He was just voted. I posted. I don't know if you saw it. He's in some magazine, Rhythm magazine.
What was his competition?
I don't know. I didn't look. I just looked
Best
at the headline. I was like, yeah, okay.
But I mean, I wonder who else is like in the running.
I don't know, but I mean, I get it because they're still. I mean, if anything, that proves that Slipknot is still a massive band, and I'm like, okay, I can't deny that. I also haven't even heard the Grey Chapter or the new album in its entirety, which I might do. I might just listen to all of them front to back after this conversation because now I'm getting hyped on it. But
dude, you'll never. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I was gonna say, think of being a fan that's a newer fan of Slipknot.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't
like
Jay
now?
Like Jay is like your touchstone. Like he's like my age. Like he's younger than me.
He's younger, yeah.
Yeah, but he's like if you're looking at it, you're like, I'm a 20-something getting into Slipknot. This dude is my guy.
Yeah.
You know, because
Joey Jordison's the old guy.
Once you become an old fuck, like everyone like is like, I don't relate to Kerry King at all or whatever, like at all. I mean, but like the only people who do are like dudes his age. I don't even fucking know.
Right.
Once Slipknot dudes are in their 50s now. So it's just like when you're a 20-year-old, it's like I don't really want to support dudes.
Is Corey Taylor in his 50s?
I think Clown is definitely in his 50s.
Yeah, that guy's
definitely
old as
the
shit.
oldest.
And I think that Corey Taylor's got to be like close to 50.
Mick too. I imagine he's up there.
Yeah.
But
did you see that interview he did with Larry King? It was
it was awesome.
Yeah, it was on. I think the Grey Chapter was just coming out.
Yep.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I'd be like, this dude's my guy. Like he's the youngin' that's like made his dreams come true. And then, you know,
he's 45, Corey Taylor.
Dude, and you want to hear something funny, which is like Slipknot could be one of those bands. It really can't because you can't write new music properly. But Corey Taylor's son is like a beast on vocals.
Yeah.
And he sounds just like him.
Oh,
so
cool.
if you're in a case where like that band could, in theory, continue on for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Now, I would be bummed with it because I'd be like, those are my, where's Corey Taylor? Where's Clown? Like, these are my guys.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, if I were to, like, if someone has a kid or I have a kid one day, blah, 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 and they're into it, then you get re-energized. You know, it's just like, I like wrestling a lot and I miss my guys. I miss Hogan being a presence and all these dudes that are dead. But like, I get stoked on the newer fans liking it. And I'm like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like they're into this. And that's what would fuel me liking the band to their next thing. I don't think they're going to continue on. I don't think there's a band that I think Guar is trying to do. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but when it comes down to it, like you can't continue on bands without members, basically.
Oh yeah.
Like Kiss is retiring.
It's very difficult.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to have the original sort of thing.
Yeah. I hear you.
So yeah, we need to start wrapping up. So let's talk about that band pick, if we can, real quick.
Well, what about your fucking record?
We don't have time.
What do you mean we don't have time?
We're at 3 hours.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
talk about your record.
We could also edit this down. Maybe.
I don't want to work that hard.
That's okay.
Right?
Just talk about your record.
What's this we edit shit? I gotta edit it.
Yeah,
Fuck
he would have
that.
to edit it down.
Yeah, we went off on Slipknot too much.
No, that's all right because I mean that's a great band to talk about for this, just because they are one of those iconic new metal.
You know, and that's what sucks too.
It's like, impossible not to talk a lot.
In
about
picking
them.
that record, I knew was going to be kind of a baby Huey because
No,
it's like
fine.
you can't talk about that record without talking about it being such a game
in
changer.
the history of it too. You know, like
it's crazy.
I mean, a band like Sworn In or even Finger 11 don't even come close to that.
Oh yeah.
You know, And I knew that going in for sure. You know, that album for me, it was just a great album that I liked. That was a stepping stone into the stuff I still listen to. And it's funny when you were mentioning like how, you know, people gave you shit about the music, and then they were like, I'm too cool for this now. You're like, it's like, I never liked new metal. And it's like, well, no, I was there with you at the show. Like, you liked new metal. Why are you denouncing it? You know, and it's funny.
Denouncing's the best way to put it.
You know, and like, I love that you never really like did that. You were always like, no, I like this. This is what I like. Fuck off. You know, like, and that's what I do. And like, for me, like, I never had a lot of friends that were like big new metal and like kept with it. They all jumped ship. They all were like, we're too cool for this.
Like
we're
who?
above this. My friends Brian and Rosie are good like that. Like, they will talk shit about new metal until
but they
they're
used
fucking
to fuck
dead.
with Finger 11?
But they used to love all these new metal bands and stuff. You know, they're the same age as me and stuff. But they always make fun of it and they never listen to it. You know, if they do, it's more out of jest. You know, it's not because they like it. They want to make fun of it. But, and it like kind of like bums me out because I'm like, fuck, I do like this. I do like this genre. I grew up with it. It's the reason why I'm in bands. It's the reason why I still love music and stuff like that. It's because of this genre. It's because of bands like this. But it bummed me out because, I had to kind of like at a point kind of hide that. Like, you know, everybody like I was in bands with were like, dude, new metal fucking sucks. Like, why the hell would you ever want to like listen to that stuff? And it's like, yeah, I guess it does suck. I guess it is dumb. Whatever. Yeah, it was a flash in the pan for you. But, you know, it's like, yeah, I'll listen to your fucking metal now and we'll do that. But yeah, like, to me, it's always been there, but I just never like got to talk about it a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, which is a bummer, but now I get to do it on my show. So fuck you guys.
There you go, man. So, like, Finger 11, this record, when did you get the record? When it came out? You said you saw it on MTV?
I think so. Yeah, because MTV was like a huge source of music for me. Because I'm an only child. I didn't have an older brother to be like, check this shit out. You know, like I had a handful of friends that were all kind of like getting into music, like similar. But I also had a ton of friends that weren't like remotely into metal. Okay. Which was funny. And it was just like, yeah, I'm not into that. Like,
I'm pulling up the record on my phone just so I can make context sense
for the time of it. Yeah, I don't know.
2000.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's got to be 2000 something. I was in high school.
Yeah, it was. This wasn't their first record either.
No,
Greyest
this was their
Blue
second.
Skies.
The first album, great.
Tip from 1998.
Yeah, that album fucking rules.
Yeah, just that album cover, the Greyest of Blue Skies, and it's like a broken puppet. It looks like some weird Tim Burton shit. Very new metal aesthetic.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, they had the aesthetic of like new metal. They didn't quite have the sound.
Do they look like that though? Do they look like dudes that like wore Jinko jeans? And
Watch the video for first time. That guitar player has the biggest pair of fucking jeans you'll ever see.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it, man.
Funny.
I should have done that too. Keep going. What were you saying?
I don't know. What were you gonna say?
Favorites? The song you picked.
Oh, for me, it was the song "Bones and Joints," which is like more of their ballad.
That's a good song. I like
that
song.
But it is a phenomenal song. Like I love it front to back.
That is a good song.
It's got a great hook to it, you know, great melody and everything, and just good flow, which is why I like it. Which I feel like the whole album is like that. Yeah. The only miss for me was the song "My Carousel."
I love that.
Yeah, me too. That was my.
You love that song?
That's my least favorite song.
But that was my least favorite.
Yeah.
I don't hate it in any way. I do like it, but there was something about that song that just didn't like the chorus. Just always irked me.
No, it reminds me of a band like even though I ripped on them earlier, like a Filter.
That's funny. That's the one you liked.
Yeah.
They sound more like that. And I mean, that whole most of the record to me. I tried listening. I was like, all right, Finger 11. I associate them with that song, the big one, whatever it's called.
One Thing. I don't know why.
First Time is the song that I associated with.
Okay.
To be honest with you, because I remember hearing it, and then it has always reminded me of. There's a song. Who's the fucking band? It feels like the first time.
I forget.
That's all. I always respected Finger 11 song, but it always reminded me of the same fucking chorus, basically.
That's great.
Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, I just like, I had my only gripe with this record was that, I mean, there was Bones and Joints was the one is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That was the one song next to First Time. I thought First Time was the best song because I was like, okay.
That's when you do that thing where you lead off your record with your best song.
Yeah, where I was just like, no shit. And then like the rest of the record just kind of fell flat for me until Bones and the second half of the record, like the first half I liked first time, then the record just went like down for me until we hit like Bones and Joints, and then it kind of picked up a little bit for the rest, and I was like, all right, these last few songs I don't mind. My only thing was that it never at one point felt like a metal record at all remotely. I mean, the first riff in like that first, like the big riff in First Time, like it's got kind of the creepy vibe to it. I'm like, okay, like I see some of that in there, but like My Carousel, best example. I'm like, dude, this sounds like some weird like Collective Soul is a bad example. But Filter was a great example.
Filter is
like,
a good example.
It's got more of this like rock and roll feel, to, like just this like alternative rock feel to it.
For sure.
The best thing I could describe is like when around this time, nu metal began to splinter off. You had bands that went really hard with it. Slipknot, which is like Korn on steroids with the aggression.
Yeah,
crazy. And then you had bands that went lighter with it. That became sort of like all their riffs. This is the only thing I didn't like about this Finger 11 record and kind of them as a band, which is the riffs are, for like all intents and purposes, bad. It's a lot of that stereotypical bam bam ba 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 bam bam ba ba.
Yeah.
There were a slew of bands that just did that. The ones that come to mind are them, Cold.
Okay.
Who are the fucking other ones? Like Chevelle.
Another one of my favorite bands.
All right, so okay, I'm not ripping on these bands, but that was their style.
No, you're right. You're right. I hear it.
Yeah,
for sure.
the simple riffs and the big choruses, man. That's what I liked about it.
Or the biggest one out of Chevelle got pretty big is Seether. They were kind of a band that did that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, there was two things when I listened to this record, even though I had heard it for the first time a million years ago when it came out, and I saw them live. I'm almost certain it was opening up for Seven Dust at House of Blues.
Oh
Fuck
shit!
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Seven Dust is a great band, and Seven Dust is a band that they're great. They have a great vocalist like Finger 11, but their riffs are fucking great, and their drums are fucking great. And because of that, that's why Seven Dust is where they are, and Finger 11 is where they are.
Yeah.
Seven Dust are like pseudo legends at this point.
Oh,
because
yeah?
they fucking crush.
Yeah.
And like they're great, even though they do like that, bam, bam, like kind of their own version of it. You could tell they're great musicians.
Oh yeah, and there's hooks all over the place, and like I mean, on a lot of those songs, there is a little bit of more aggression than I would say, at least in the Finger 11 record, because you got guys. I mean, I didn't hear any screaming on this record at all. Like
it was very filtery. You could tell maybe they were fans of STP. I don't know.
Yeah. It felt very like alternative rock derived, which is cool, and I think in one way it made me appreciate the record more, because I was like, oh, it's a little easier and less ridiculous for me that I'm not trying to shit on nu metal as a genre, but most of the time, I mean, I grew up outside of it, you know what I mean? Like I was on the outskirts of that shit. Like when I started listening to it, bands were like either moving on, like you said, evolving from what it really used to be, or it was just kind of like a dying breed at that point.
There is like when you hear this sound, I immediately was like, I obviously didn't take the time back in 2000s, but I was like, I could tell a couple things about this band, and I was right, which was one, I knew they were from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Now, Canada has a loyal following out there. Like their fans are pretty loyal, and for some reason, like they're not as like split as far as like genres. Like they just look at rock as rock, for example.
Yeah.
You could tell, and I knew it by hearing it, that the dude who engineered it is the same dude that engineered a bunch of Canada bands. One of them being Our Lady Peace, if anyone remembers that band.
Oh yeah.
I remember the name.
He did a bunch, and I looked it up. The guy did a bunch of their records, and I'm just like, that makes perfect fucking sense.
Okay.
And also that band, you could tell Finger 11 were fans of Our Lady Peace because you hear that influence in them. Probably they were friends.
Were they
with
a
them.
nu metal band, Our Lady Peace?
No, they were like a later. They came out around like the time Silverchair came out. And they were like a second wave of alternative.
Yeah, that like post grunge alternative rock. Yeah.
So I could tell that, and also I knew that the label that put out, and I remembered it, but that put out this record was Wind Up. No longer exists.
That's the band or the label?
Yeah, it was a label called Wind Up.
Okay.
And Wind Up was the label that went hard, and God bless them for doing it, because someone bought it with the nu metal light and ended up making these fucking gold records. Finger 11 was an example of a band that was successful but kind of missed the mark. Wind Up put out the first Evanescence record, which was monstrous. and put out the fucking first Creed record. And I think the second one too.
Man.
Now I think Creed got bought out, and it was one of those things where Wind Up was like the second label on like Universal or whatever. So it was Universal / Wind Up. You know, you see that shit. But that's where they were going. And if you hear, and
when was the last time you saw that on any CD?
Yeah, the double records,
Yeah.
like Death Row, Interscope, that type of
I
shit.
think the last time I saw it was Mastodon. Might have been
Relapse, Universal, whatever.
Relapse and like Warner Brothers or some shit.
Now it's just like when it comes down to it, they just buy them out of their contracts, their indie labels, and it's like we don't want you to be affiliated with it.
Yeah.
But Evanescence, not really a fan. Creed, not a fan. But like that's the difference between them and this band, which is they actually do have kind of riffs. Like where
definitely.
Like
There's
everyone
more
worships that
guitar-based
guitarist Montremani from Creed.
Yeah.
Guy
And
can shred.
he's a fucking great guitarist. Like, I mean, when it comes down to it. And people embraced him and the rest of the band, as well as Scott Stapp. Then you have what became a huge band.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think Finger 11 was missing just in general, which is like their riffs were lacking. Their vocalist is great.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It seemed like the vocals were always on the record, and I guess I can't like fault it because it is the year 2000, but I feel like a lot of those songs would have benefited from a bigger production, but I get it because it's like, well, bands weren't really doing huge productions back in 2000, and like there's a balance of the guitar and singing, but like, yeah, as a musician, it was hard for me to listen to it and be like attracted towards any musical standpoint of it, as opposed to just like good songs. Like I'm like, oh, the songs are cool, but
meanwhile, we think of the band Seven Dust, who I saw this band open up for, and I just remember that like I fucking DJ'd at some bullshit. I think it was Livewire or something once, and I fucking played Seven Dust Black, and then you guys fucking on different ends of the room lit up like
it's
phenomenal. That fucking riff and that drum beat, and like that's where it should be. Like, you know, not really this Figure 11, God bless them, but like when Seven Dust put them next to it, you're just like, they got it.
You put on a song like Enemy, it's like, okay, like, come on, man. It's a smash hit, dude.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I mean, I could sing that song.
Angel's Son was a big, that was a tribute.
Lane one, yeah.
That was a tribute to Lynn Straight.
So was the first, like, Finger 11 album more new metal-y?
No,
or was it in the same vein?
Yeah.
Because obviously the only thing I'd heard by them was one thing, and I was just like, yeah. But the thing is, I feel like that record, I could see the progression there because it's basically almost there, except they just, you know, I feel like they hone in on more of like the songwriting approach, and they're kind of like, let's nix whatever riff oriented shit we have, which I felt is kind of lacking there in general, just as on the record. But but I mean, like on the song, like the song First Time, it's like, all right, that's like the chorus is killer. The riff is catchy and it's weird and new metal-y, like, and it's like a good song. And like that, I mean, to me, I would assume that's that band's like swan song, you know?
They would end with that maybe.
Yeah.
I love the song. My favorite song on the record is Sick of It All. And
that's a real good one too.
And it reminds you of the band Sick of It All because the
hardcore
title. But that's basically it.
I was gonna say.
and my Carousel. Those are my two jams, and I think they're back to back on the record. There's one lyric that I fucking forget the name of the song where he says like it's hard to defend or to ward off a wave when you're with an ocean, something along those lines. I'm like, that's pretty fucking awesome. That's in the middle of the record. I forget what track it was.
It could have been. Isn't there a song called For the Ocean or something?
Yeah,
like
that's
For the Ocean. Yeah,
that's the song.
The other one I really like is Drag You Down, and that was also a single off that album.
Yes, it was. That was the second single.
And it's like heavy as fuck for them, I guess.
Yeah.
I like that's the riff I play at practice every once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's funny because one of my talking points was to say like you will not hear someone play like a Finger 11 riff warming up because the riffs aren't as good, but apparently you are.
I do. Yeah. Me and TJ used to jam it all the time on that European run.
Yeah, that song.
Drag You Down. Yeah.
Do you think so? In comparison,
I think they definitely got pushed under compared to all the other bigger bands for sure. I mean, this is definitely like just outside that realm.
And the Canada thing didn't help them.
Not at all. Yeah.
Yeah, because like one thing about new metal, think of a non-American band that really fucking put a stamp on it. You can't find one. And that's really fucking scary. So it's like, that was an American genre. That was maybe the first American genre.
What about Rammstein?
If you want to consider them that,
Do
man.
you think that they are new metal?
I think they fall into that category, but I would throw them more into like the industrial.
Industrial.
Yeah.
You know, which they're, I mean, that was a lot. That was a genre too that I really enjoyed.
I feel like there's some traded
I mean, if it
elements there.
it's kind of like
Between
like an
both.
industrial new metal thing where like the
Yeah.
guitars are playing the most simplistic riffs. Like and
it's
that's,
like not
you
the
know,
focal point at all.
Yeah. It's more the song than
Dude,
anything.
don't you guys think it's weird? Here's the weird thing, which is like
Which I loved a lot of like the old Rammstein.
The old-
the
old
They're
Ram-
great, man.
and Rammstein was the first band to come out of like Germany that like there was a lot of like David Hasselhoff was fucking there and all that shit.
Yeah.
But
Brought down the wall, bro.
dude, here's the funny thing, which is if I'm not mistaken, and this is the way it was. When new metal was breaking, late 90s or whatever, you go to like over to the UK, all those places that you think would be like doing the new metal thing or whatever. They were actually into bands like their bands were like Prodigy. They were really into that type of music, which is basically just like a aggressive, more thought out house music.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like there are 4-minute songs
The
or whatever.
Prodigy, yeah.
Or like they were monstrous, and they were big in the US too, but not like over there. Oasis fans. So like they really didn't embrace new metal like we embraced it.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
And it's because I think
now they are.
Exactly.
Which is kind of funny.
Fuck
yeah. Now they're like.
But when it comes down to it, America really started new metal, and we didn't start. It's questionable whether we started thrash metal. We definitely like did a thing where we made a mold, but like Motorhead was doing that shit.
There's a lot of German thrash bands too. There's a
exactly.
huge thrash
So like
scene in Germany.
just that America just refined it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, commercially at least, I think the most successful bands are from here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You know, Slayer. The big four here. Anthrax. I still question them being in the big four as far as like popularity
like a Hard
wise.
Times article about that where it was like Anthrax still unsure why they're part of like the big four.
But you know what? I will say I'm the most unfamiliar with them out of the big four. So I don't feel like I have and I'm not a thrash guy either.
Yeah, neither am I.
This is the only thing I could say about Anthrax, which is they are the worst out of all those bands. All right.
Yeah.
But they did a thing where they lacked certain ego that the other three did. And because of that, they took out the raddest bands on tour.
Yeah.
They did tours with like anyone, like hardcore bands, like they'll have like do a run with like Sick of It All.
Yeah.
Or fucking White Zombie or whatever.
Oh,
like the
cool.
list. The
Yeah,
list
they were
went
the
on.
more like punk of the four.
And then
yeah.
also they were one of the bands that started new metal as well with the song "Bring the Noise" with Public Enemy.
Yeah.
That hybrid. Yeah.
System of a Down's covered that song with Wu-Tang Clan.
No.
That's awesome.
Listen
They
to it
did
in
it for
my
some
car on the way home.
for some
That
compilation.
sounds
but
awesome, actually.
So yeah, talk about new metal refinement. But one last thing I did want to ask you about the Finger 11 thing was one of the bands I could think of.
Also,
and
terrible name for a band. I hate that name.
It reminds me of
I think it's so
the
stupid.
word
I don't
finger
know
was
what
going
the story
around
is.
a lot during new metal times because it was always like, "Would you finger her?" Like it was just like,
yeah.
I haven't heard the term finger in a long time.
Yeah, it's kind of a gross
Yeah, we're
term
adults.
in my mind. Yeah.
But even so, I don't even know. Like, I guess, but their fingering was a big deal, obviously.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It was fucking amazing. But when it comes down to it,
It was fucking amazing.
I'm being sarcastic about that.
Not to go on a tangent on this band at all, but we've talked about it before how Mudvayne was a new metal band that took the transition from going from the really weird aggro shit to a much more of a
country rock.
And then this whole that is me.
That's an LD50 is an album we have to talk about. On
Yeah, which we will.
I'm
But
stoked that we popped the cherry on this vibe, and then we'll do it in a month or whatever you guys want to do it. Next new metal shit.
Yeah, the toughest thing is like trying to pick albums.
Yeah,
now it's like
I have
we've
some
popped the
ideas.
cork on
I'm gonna go more obscure with my next time. Yeah, because like when it comes down to it, it's just fucking hard to like do a thing where we talk about one of these fucking Baby Huey records and not spiral out of control.
I don't mind it. I like it. I mean, it's gonna happen, which is fine.
Like Finger 11 never had a story of rolling up to Rolling Stones and having
no,
never.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely not. Yeah,
but that'd be cool if they did. You know?
Yeah, and at the same time, I don't have any recollection of Finger 11. I had one friend. I remember seeing the music video for one thing. I had one friend that bought the CD that was on, and he said that was the only good song on it. And I didn't even like the song at the time. So
I like that album. That's my least favorite song.
Oh, okay.
I do. It has a special place in my heart, only because of a friend of mine. A good friend of mine loves that song. So I like it for that. But other than that,
we were in like fifth grade when the CD came out. So
which was recorded at Johnny K's in Chicago.
Yep.
Okay.
I knew that.
Did he do it?
What, Johnny K?
He did that record?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one with the
one with one
okay,
thing on
the
it.
one with
Yeah,
one thing, not the
one we're talking about.
Sky.
Not the one we're talking
Okay.
about.
So
because Johnny K does a better job than the guy does in the record we're talking about.
The production on that third album is phenomenal.
Yes.
And musically,
okay.
I think it's great. I think it's really good.
what's it?
The miss on that is, to me, one thing, but not the worst thing in the world, you know?
So what do you think that Mudvayne had any influence from bands like that in going further into that direction?
To go that more alternative? I think so, because like bands like that had like a good success with it because like it was digestible, you know? Like there's still people out there that were still like, oh, the guy's yelling and I can't understand it. And it's like, really, in the grand scheme of things, it's like a Slipknot. You could be like, that's too aggressive. And it's like, no, I can understand almost every single word that fucking guy says.
You know what Finger 11 reminded me of? It reminded me of this band I used to like, which was labeled as post-grunge, Fuel. Did you ever listen to them?
Oh, yeah, Shimmer
they're
for
huge.
days.
Dude, whatever the second record was, with Hemorrhage on it.
Yeah.
In my hands again.
Those were monstrous hits.
Dude,
Those were
I
great
loved that
on
record,
201.
and my mom loved that record. My mom bought the
I
CD
believe
for
it,
me,
yeah.
but she was just kind of
She's
like,
like,
yeah, I
"Put
kind of
that
really
on,"
like
yeah.
it. Yeah, she loved that record. So it was really weird because I was just, like that's what this Finger 11 reminded me more of, like that type of style. But which is cool because it's like, yeah, like if you played me that Five Finger album and never mentioned the word new metal, I never would have made the connection there. Like when you told me Finger
11, yeah.
fuck, I'm sorry, I
You did
keep
it.
saying
Yeah,
that.
it's all right.
Five Finger 11.
Five Finger
Every
11
time
punch.
I hear,
Do you remember the term 5 finger discount?
yeah,
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
you steal something. Yeah.
Oh, he knows about it.
Yeah, I do know about it. We're not talking about it here, but I know about it.
Dude, you want to hear something funny, which was the really getting quick to the fucking Gadzooks shit. That was the thing, which is you could steal a bunch of shit if you walked into it like wearing a pair of fucking Jinkos.
Yeah,
there was no way they
You could
see
stuff
it.
a goddamn microwave in those things.
It was
man.
fucking awesome,
That's
dude.
killer. Man, I wish they were
Dude,
more common.
shoplifting in the late 90s was rampant.
I'm sure it was.
It was insane. No, I was like, I have
You didn't
so
have your
many-
HD cameras.
I have so many friends who will tell you shoplifting stories for fucking days, and they all have the same idea, which is I'm going to steal a bunch of shit, then return it, then get the money.
Dude, I know a lot of people who not still do it, but did it in more
it's a little
recent
bit
years where I'm
harder
like,
now,
whoa,
yeah.
that's some ballsy shit. But there's ways you could do it. Imagine if they had self-checkout at Gadzooks.
Oh
That
no,
place
you
would
could.
be-
It's cool to steal stuff and like take it home,
Yeah.
but when it comes down to it, like the ballsy thing is stealing something and then fucking returning it. To get
Yeah,
cash.
I know. That's
so
insane,
ballsy,
dude.
If you've done that, if you did that, like I know a couple people who did that, like
It's a hell of a
habitually,
maneuver.
Where
Yeah.
it's like once a week, go to a store, steal a bunch, and then
I got an off podcast story
Get their
for you about
fucking
that.
money.
good.
But, not with me. It's
Dude,
not
I
me.
love
No,
that
for
shit.
sure.
But let's talk
yeah,
about.
of course it's on you. Yeah.
Did you have any what other questions should we apply to this record? So we did favorite song. And what was your least favorite song on the record?
My Carousel.
Okay, My Carousel.
Still like
Yeah.
it. I still like it.
Oh, I don't like it.
But it's the weakest one to me.
Yeah.
One thing I was so stoked to see is Finger 11 is still out there doing it. There's
Yep,
tour
they're
dates
still
on
going.
their
that's
fucking
cool.
site.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking awesome. And I believe that any band that's doing that right now, if you're listening to this, if you had any type of a hit, jump on it. There are so many venues out in these random burbs that will
People
make you mayor.
flock to, yeah.
If it's like, if you play the burb venue in Nebraska and Finger 11's coming through, everyone's going and they're going to fucking buy all your merch and anoint you. You have to put up with some shit because it's like, I'm in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska, but you're doing it.
Yeah. Are they touring the States?
Yeah, they're in
I
States.
think
I think
so.
they're in States
Yeah.
right now, yeah.
Good for them.
And that's fucking great.
One awesome thing for me as a fan of this band that was really cool, and being a gamer, so on Xbox, for whatever reason, I don't know how they did it. They were the only band that seen like had done it. They just had like a full concert on Xbox Live,
Really?
and you could download it. And I had it, and it was the greatest thing in the
that's
world.
awesome.
And it had interviews with the band. and, like,
Original Xbox?
yeah,
Damn.
Xbox One,
Okay.
right?
Oh.
Or 360. 360. I'm
360.
sorry. Yeah. And I was like, what the? I had no idea that was going to be a thing. It
Yeah.
just popped up one day. It was like,
You never saw any other bands do that?
no, I've never seen any other
Interesting.
band on Xbox do that. And I was
Wow.
like, this is the coolest fucking thing. And I downloaded it and I was able to watch it.
Yo,
I
maybe
cannot
Bill Gates
re-download
fucking
it.
jocks Finger
Maybe
11.
he's a fan.
Dude.
Who knows?
But-
Somebody on that team likes him.
I bet you they've been nominated, not won, but you know the equivalent of a fucking
the Canadian
Grammy Juno Awards.
Sure. Juno. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I'm sure they've had to.
There's 10 bands in Canada, and there's
I know Arcspire got nominated for
Yeah,
a
it's
Juno,
like,
dude.
There's 10 bands in
No, I mean,
Canada.
like,
You're right.
dude, we know Ken Mode. We
Yeah.
played with them. Like, it's just like they were nominated for, and like they deserved it because they're fucking great.
Yeah.
They deserve
That's
to be nominated for
awesome.
best metal in Canada
Yeah.
because there's only 5 bands. So they lost to Anvil. And it's
Yeah, I know.
Motherfucker,
That was
really?
that was the same year
Those
Arcspire
sad
was nominated.
bastards.
And it was
God
like,
damn
dude,
it.
there's no way, all due respect to Anvil, there's no way they beat the Ken Mode record.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best.
God
like,
damn.
There's
Yeah,
so
that's
much
so
more thought
funny.
that gets put
Yeah.
in the Ken Mode record
Than
than
an
the
Anvil
fucking
record, yeah. Arcspire
So
was
fuck
nominated
you,
that
Anvil.
same year
No
for Relentless
shit.
Mutation.
So they
Yeah,
lost
yeah.
to Anvil as well?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
so-
Good for
Yeah, go
Anvil.
figure. But yeah, man. So
Lifetime Achievement Award.
this fucking what is this band called? Tallah?
I believe it's called Tallah. Yeah. Like I said, I ended up because I no idea who they were.
Yeah.
Not until this. Like it got on my radar, and so I had to go down a bit of a rabbit hole to just kind of figure out who the fuck these kids are.
Yeah.
and the
Where are they,
kids.
where
you know,
are they
like
from, by the way? That's
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So the drummer is the son of Mike Portnoy from Dream
Yeah,
Theater.
Max
Extreme
Portner.
Oh.
Which I will
Mike-
say this:
yeah,
I
Max
watched a
Portnoy.
video and I was like, he is much more enjoyable to watch than his father.
You know what, dude? I
Far
listened to
more
this
entertaining.
record and it's all over the place.
It's more
Like,
new
all
metal
over the place,
than
I
the
think.
Sworn In one.
Yeah.
I disagree. There's way.
Whoa,
I
really?
think there's way more genre mashing on this album than on Sworn In.
I
on
think
the EP.
I think it touches more on new metal than they did.
Yeah,
though.
maybe so. Maybe
Yeah.
directly so. But like the end of one of the songs, there's like a slam riff where it's like, and the guy's going like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's really
what
weird.
the fuck am I listening to? Like I was like,
It is very. They cast a wide net.
they
with
do,
their
but I
shot.
noticed this
Yeah.
formula where it's like
Casting that wide, my son.
they sandwich these like regular ass songs between, so it's like it'll start
Mm-hmm.
off weird, then it goes into like it's like a verse chorus, like okay, this is a song, and then the ending is always just like
Breakdown,
oh I
like
didn't
heavy,
or
yeah.
some weird like out of time part, and
It's-
I'm like, what are you guys fucking
It sounds
trying to
very
do?
immature. You know, like it's
kind
not.
of,
It's
yeah.
not honed in. You know, like
They do it well, like it
they
sounds
do those
good,
parts well.
and like
I'd be curious to see where they go from here. Just see
Yeah,
if they can
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
rein
I
it
did,
in a little bit. You know.
This is their first record.
yeah, their first E EP.
Yeah.
All right, so it just sucks that because your fucking homeboy's son, like
Yeah,
you
you're
go-
already under that shit,
Yeah.
which is a
thrown on
bummer.
the fucking list, and your
Yep.
record, your first EP sounds this good.
And
It's one
apparently-
of the best sonically,
Yeah, it
it's one of the best records.
sounds
sounds good.
awesome. Yeah.
It's like,
Apparently-
no, seriously, it's
Yeah.
like everything is separate and huge.
Yeah.
Oh
and
yeah, the production's top notch for sure, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
It's almost scary to think how good it sounds.
Yeah.
right for just the you know. I mean, yes, they do have the Portnoy connection, and then I guess the
Portnoy
vocalist.
got a production credit on there
Yeah,
somewhere.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, the vocalist, I guess, is a huge YouTube star.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I've never heard of him until now, but that was like one of the reasons why
Okay.
him and Max got together.
There's not going to be.
Um,
There's going to be no fucking
so that-
legs with this band.
It's
because
interesting because like
they
that's
they didn't form in a fucking garage, dude.
Right.
That's the way it is. So you
they're
gotta be
internet
fucking-
band, you
Yeah,
know,
they're
and
internet
that's like
band.
a total generational thing. That's crazy to think about.
It
like,
is. Yeah.
you know, and I mean, we've seen that with other guys that are YouTube sensations that have gone on to do the band. Like that
Yeah.
dude, was it Big Chocolate or whatever? That dude was a YouTube like sensation,
yeah.
and then went on to like, you know, do
Bigger
the band
Chocolate.
thing and had that
Bigger
like
chocolate. Yeah, he went on.
even bigger chocolate, and it was a stepping stone for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other thing it was funny that really cracked me up was when I was watching one of the videos for what they had, and in my head right away I was like, these kids look like assholes. And then I'm like, you know what?
I didn't see anything. I just listened to it on Spotify.
Yeah, and then I'm like, you know what? People probably said the same thing when they saw Slipknot. They said the same thing when they saw Korn.
Me.
You know, like,
When I
yeah,
first saw 'em, I was
exactly.
like,
You're like,
this-
these guys look like assholes. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't do that. I cannot judge.
With all due
them,
respect
you know,
to Korn,
like-
when I saw them the first time, I'm like, this is the most badass band on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
And they looked fucking
They came out of
awesome.
nowhere, yeah,
They
yeah. All
and
the
they had
dreads,
their
all the
own
hair,
look,
yeah.
and it was just like Adidas shit. We didn't even talk about that, but like,
tracksuits for days.
yeah,
so.
like they would sell Adidas shit at Gadzooks too.
Really? Okay.
oh hell yeah.
All day I dream about
I wish
sex.
we could go back in time and I could take you to a fucking
I would
Gadzooks,
love to
dude.
go, yeah.
There's got to be one still
There's
on this
probably
fucking
one still
planet.
fighting. Yeah,
Like it's
There
like
has to be.
Blockbuster.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were
yeah.
only in malls. They were only
Okay.
in malls.
Gadzooks was only
No
in malls.
standalones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That
no
makes sense.
bullshit. And it was fucking the shit, dude.
Yeah.
Really good shit.
That's funny.
I don't even know if they had they didn't have an online presence like ever.
No, it's
like nothing. It was just straight the
pre-online.
fuck up. And whatever your Gadzooks had, you got
Yeah.
it.
That. Yeah. In this case, the black Jinko jeans.
When I found them.
Yeah.
Might be even easier to find now. Let's bring them back.
I gotta find a pair of unused Jinkos with the tags still on and everything. I'm gonna fucking frame them at my house. I gotta go online and find that. Everyone's gonna fucking worship them.
Yeah.
The other thing that cracked me up about this band was I watched an interview that they did. The same guy that does the Wikipedia fact or fiction videos.
Yeah, Graham or Graham.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He was talking to the vocalist and the drummer.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, he asked immediately, he's like, your influences have to be like Jonathan Davis, and like started naming all these things. And honestly, the kid should have been like, hell yeah, like it's so fucking obvious, right? Does not go that route. He goes, no, actually, it's like, you'd be surprised. It's not that. I actually take influence from the villains from all the Disney films. And I was like, we're done.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, just like curled up inside, like, oh, like I almost threw up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
That's funny.
Like,
dude. And you know what?
So stupid. But once again, I'm sure all the bands we like probably did the same thing. It said some dumb shit like that, and it's like, yeah.
No, because one thing I will say is this, which is I don't think they had an opportunity to, and I'll explain what I mean. If it is the kiss of fucking death.
Yeah.
If you are a band where someone says, you guys got to be fans of this band.
Yeah.
Because that means you're fucking literally not taking, you have like a low educated musical fucking outlook, because it's like, 3 bands.
Yeah. You're
like,
jocking something so clearly.
You're jocking. Yeah. Dude, it wouldn't, like, if it's ingredients. If you could taste the only fucking ingredient, that means there's a lack of ingredients.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So fuck you. Someone could listen to my vocals and be like, I don't know where this kid's coming from 100%. There's a lot of fucking things. Actually, a John Davis influence is in my vocals.
Uh-huh.
This guy, when he's doing his scat in the fucking breakdown,
right.
Like, that's unmistakable.
Yeah.
And then there's a little bit, one thing I will say, it's John Davis mixed with a little bit more hip hop where he raps a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a huge John Davis guy. You could totally tell.
Yeah.
And then when you fucking deny it, it's like you're getting accused, you're caught holding a smoking gun, and they're like, did you shoot that gun? No, man.
No, I actually like pencils. Like, it's like, fuck off, man. Like, come on.
Dude.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, it was such a weird response.
It was a very weird. I didn't hate it though, and like I don't hate it, which is funny.
Didn't mind it. Won't listen to it again.
The parts, like the beatdown parts, I was like, whoa, okay. And then like, the weird blasting sections, and I'm like, oh,
it was a fun listen.
And then that fucking slam at the end of that one song, I was like, okay,
I think that's the one that's like the We the Sad song. I think is what you're talking. They have a video for that too. Which
what's the Disney
video.
villain that was listening to Waking the Cadaver and fucking
apparently I believe it was Hades from Hercules. Was one of them. I think he said that's
Jeff Woods. What's that guy? Fucking
John Woods.
Yeah, John Woods. Okay,
I get that. I saw Vampires. That dude's awesome.
You know what's the funny thing too is this, which is this band is cool. I'm sure they're super popular. I don't even know if they fucking tour. I don't know, but I will say this, which is there's a better band that's kind of doing their exact same thing. And I hope they don't go on a hiatus. I'm definitely not like going to be a guy that supports them or whatever and be like, I'm a huge fucking fan. It's a younger band. They're meant for younger people. But you know that band called Islander?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. So like they're kind of a band that is influenced by Korn.
Yeah.
That is kind of doing what these dudes are doing. They're less overproduced.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing in my estimation. Their riffs are better. And they're not blatant Korn ripoffs.
Uh-huh.
And because of that, it's better to me. Way better.
Uh-huh.
It's like they're more of an original thing.
Yeah, it feels more original.
Non-Point jocks that band all the time. They went on tour with them for a while.
Islander?
Yeah, I never checked it out. I was just
yeah, because
they were on Victory Records, I think, for a second.
Yeah.
Good.
And I think that Non-Point's a good band to be on.
Like it's a good new metal. Yeah. I would love to do that. It'd be fun to get one of them in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great. I got that connection, man. I would love to have Rob on. Like Rob's a character, dude. Like he's
hit him
funny
up.
and a very like outspoken dude.
Get one of the Soil guys on here. Get fucking Tim
great.
on here, dude.
That'd be really Tim would be phenomenal to have on this show. That dude cracks me up.
Yeah.
We probably get sidetracked 90% of the time though. But that would be funny.
Do you guys know what you're gonna pick for the next one?
I don't know, man. It got worse after talking about this. Now I'm like, this album, that album.
I know, it's
fuck.
I think I'm going to go with something that we didn't cover at all today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one.
You got one?
Yeah.
There's one album I really wanted to do, but I kind of don't want to because for whatever reason on Spotify, it's a censored version. And it's a real fucking bummer. Like, not that the swearing adds to it.
They don't have an uncensored version of it?
Yeah, but that little dropout just like it just throws you off. I'm like, ugh. Sucks.
Okay.
Because I really like that album a lot.
You know what's
and you would probably hate the ever living shit out of it.
Sick. Can you say what it is?
Yeah, Head Peas Broke.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Broke,
I don't know it.
That album fucking rules.
Well,
I listened to it the other day.
Broke's big songs were Bartenders on that.
Bartender, Killing Time,
Swan Dive.
Swan Dive, and then what was like the more ballady, like last one.
Fuck yeah. There's jams for sure.
It's great.
Head PE?
Yeah.
I used to get them confused with American Head Charge.
American Head Charge fucking rules.
Gabe and I's old band played with Head PE.
Really?
Yeah, it was at
which version of it? Because like
I don't know.
They've gone through like the only member is Jared is still in it.
Okay, so it was the record after Broke.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
never followed up on that.
Broke's the shit, and you know, it sucks, man, because I want to talk about that now too. But like, there was a party new metal thing where it's like,
oh yeah,
them Cottonmouth Kings, all that shit. Where it's like, well, Cottonmouth Kings is more of a rap, but it's like we're not looking to we're looking to throw it on and have a good time, but like it's mainly that.
Come to the show, we're gonna be drinking.
Were
and it's gonna be
Cottonmouth
awesome.
Kings ever affiliated with ICP?
Oh yeah, they still play The Gathering and shit.
Okay, but they weren't on Psychopathic Records, right? No, separate entity.
Yeah, and that was I forget what label they were.
Psychopath Chick Records.
So
Psychopath Chick Records. There's some song where he says that, and I thought he said Psychopath Chick, and I'm like, why don't you just say what it's called? But
no, you know what's so funny is like you look at bands like Metallica and all this shit, and you see that they are writing lyrics and they're Guns N' Roses and are thinking about what they're saying and like really sophisticated. Or like James Hetfield's writing songs like "For Whom the Bell Tolls," which is based off a book. He's smart. New metal is the first thing, just like is copacetically like and cool with being fucking just straight ignorant with shit.
Yeah.
How like everyone walked around the streets, talked to each other. You know, it's just like that's what it was. Like if Korn has a song called Faggot, which is spelled improperly, not the way you're supposed to spell on the first record. Like that's how everyone in the street talked. And that's like, you know, that's what it was about, as opposed to like metaphorically drawing some type of comparison with a song like One or whatever, where it's just like, this is kind of about my life, but not really. Like, it's just like, no, dude, new metal just was what it was.
Yeah.
You know? And it was a lot of fuck you shit, you know?
yeah.
Definitely was. Yeah, like I said, it was all counterculture stuff to what was going on there, you know, at that time.
Well, cool. Should we call it?
Yeah, let's
what are we at?
Call it a little over 3.5.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's great.
I was expecting closer to 3, but this is fine. I'm not going to edit. I think it's fine, people.
I think it's
fuck
good
you
too.
guys. Just deal with it.
I love you guys. You're on a hot streak too, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Your shows are hitting awesome. I rave about all the shows of people I know, but I'm starting to get the shows that have people I don't know. I'm starting to get into more. You know what I'm saying?
You might like next week's. We had my buddy Mike. He was on the show.
Yeah. Guy who did our theme song, he did all our artwork and stuff for the show.
So he's the one I get to strangle. That fucking theme.
Yeah, dude.
Hopefully,
the Tinder episode was amazing. That was a moment in time.
With Gabe?
No, it was.
Oh, the one with Megan?
Yeah.
Dude, everybody loves that one, man. We got to get her back on here.
Yeah.
I think that
I've already hounded her about it, so she's down.
She's the number one guest right now. I'm probably number 2 because I rub people the wrong way. I guarantee people that will hit me up and they'll be like, "Motherfucker, I forgot about Gadzooks. That's awesome."
Oh hell yeah!
This was more of a positive one. It
got me you're not gonna get as much
good.
trouble.
I'm not getting any more shit, which is fucking
no
awesome.
more.
This is more of me
Gabe's
like
not
being
gonna
a cool
yell at you at
political
practice anymore.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, sweet.
What do you
Thanks
think of the
for coming
current
on.
climate up now?
Thanks for coming on, man.
Anything to plug?
Yes, we are playing. Something is waiting. We're playing a Madison, Wisconsin show for anyone out in that area. But besides that, it's December 21st with Macabre at Reggie's.
Oh yeah,
and the
baby.
last it's not their last show, but let's say it's the last of the reunion shows He Who Corrupts are doing. If you remember that band, Jason.
Really?
You remember those dudes? So they're coming back, and it's if you hate Macabre, I'm not saying you should. I love Macabre, but when it comes down to it, we're playing the side room with He Who Corrupts. And if you're ready to catch them, it's one time before they probably go away. So
yeah, I'm going.
all right, cool.
I'm fucking
No,
going.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to convince people who would go see Nate's band at Cobra that night.
I'm doing both, man.
that
We're doing both. I'm going to see you guys, and then I'm going to try and catch their set as well.
You know what? I think that Nate. I'm not trying to look into how their show is going to be run, but I think that Nate is going to do a thing where he has their. Let's just put it all on the line. They're going to try to do a thing where they should, if they were smart, start their headliner, The Infected, at midnight. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope they do.
Please do that.
But
so
I
can
will
make
say
it.
this, which is I got the set times. I haven't revealed the Macabre set times have been sent to me. Macabre ends at midnight.
Okay.
So that means obviously we end before, so like it's doable if people were to do that.
Yeah.
And then a
hear that, everybody?
ZZ Top tribute band starts at Reggie's after our show ends.
Oh, fuck. Both of those shows, I'm going to see that band, dude.
Either way, there's a lot of riffs that are going to be fucking played that night.
It's a goddamn riff.
Probably
what's
going to happen. Probably what's going to happen is the band Something Is Waiting is going to say, yeah, we'll fucking like go to Nate's show afterwards, blah, blah, blah. But when we get a few fucking drinks in us and we see a ZZ Top band come up,
they start playing Rough Boy, dude.
Sorry.
They were getting pulled every which way.
Is that Master Prophets? Fuck Nate.
Oh, no, I'm going to be.
I am stoked for Hugh Krups.
Hugh Krups is going to be the shit that night. I'm so stoked they're back.
It's very much bucket list for somebody like me that has never had to play with that band. I've seen them a bunch of times.
Did you go to the She Who Corrupts show?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was insane.
Fucking phenomenal.
You know, and me and Gabe were fucking spoiled because back in the day we played with Hugh Krups a lot.
Probably all the fucking time. I'm very jealous.
They played our last show with us, which was when Psycho Scapegoat, our band, broke up. We played the Fireside, we headlined, and Hugh Krups was direct support.
Fireside.
So it's fucking
That's awesome.
All
you go to that? You go to Fetus at the Fireside, man?
Yeah, I saw Fetus at the Fireside.
Hell yeah, you did.
Old Bottom Lounge, the old one.
Okay, the old Bottom Lounge.
They were, and I saw him at fucking Riley's Rock House, man.
I feel like
remember that place?
No.
Yeah,
I've heard.
It was called Rock House USA.
I never went there, but I remember it.
Good old
One shot, not one shot, one kill. Stop at Nothing came out.
Yeah. I always like talking about the Fetus show at the Fireside because I feel like
Riley's Rock House. There's a couple people like,
I feel like that show at the Fireside, the Dying Fetus there at the Fireside is so because everybody's always like every time I have a conversation with someone over the age of like 28,
they bring up that show.
If like it's about Dying Fetus, they're like, yo. You see Fetus at the Fireside? I'm like, nah, dude. I was like fucking 11.
I was 12.
Guess what? No, they weren't there. They were making it up.
Yeah, I'm sure they were.
And I saw all those metal bands at Fireside, and I saw Cephalic a bunch there. I saw Mastodon at Fireside. I saw fucking Dillinger. This list goes on.
Too?
Twice. I think maybe 3 times.
Dope.
I saw them on Lucid Interval right when it came out, and fucking Exploiting Dysfunction. I saw them.
Oh, damn!
I saw them when I was 16 when Exploiting Dysfunction came out.
I saw them the last time they came to Chicago, and that was it.
Well, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you got to see them. I saw fucking Soylent Green there. I saw a bunch. I saw Napalm Death.
Did I ever tell you about how I met Len? He came out to our show in fucking Denver.
Yeah,
and gave me free weed. It's like,
let's get this wrapping. So what do you have to plug? Obviously, we have the show December 21st. Reggie's.
Well, by the time this is airing, our show will be over with. So no secret shit is in the works, but that's pretty much it. I got nothing to plug.
Secret shit.
Yeah, so I'll be at your show. I'll be at Nate's show. I'm driving my car, so if anybody is interested in catching both sets, hit my line because so far it's looking like me and Lim Paris are trying to do the double hitter. You had said maybe. Yeah. If anybody else is, feel free to fill in the blanks.
If I cannot miss Hugh Krups, I'll go.
Okay.
No, you won't miss Hugh Krups.
I hope not. It depends on when Nate's going on.
Because Hugh Krups, I think, goes on.
The Infected are old gentlemen. They're gonna be like, we need a 9 o'clock. We'll be able to work it out
no matter what you're saying.
I'm pretty sure because Hugh Krups.
Somebody just call in a bomb threat at wherever Nate shows at, and it'll be all good.
Yeah. No, I just tell Nate, I'm just like, light a cigarette, show at midnight, like whatever. Like this show at Cobra. This will be the final thought. Should be run like a show back in the day at Cobra, where literally the headliner went on at midnight on weekends.
Yeah,
like, that's how it should
Because
be
they knew, like, you get that crowd afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Where people get off their shifts or whatever.
It helped us a
few
times for sure,
dude. It's awesome.
Well, I'll be at both.
So yeah, that's it.
Fuck yeah,
you guys crush, and this show's getting better and better every week.
Thanks, man.
I fucking love it. I can't wait to be back.
Hell yeah!
And I listen every week. Fucking I mean, I'm still. I think the Gabe episode is the last one I listened to, and I loved it.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun.
Obviously, he likes to throw me under the bus, but that is what it is. I loved it. You guys are on a hot streak.
I like that you were the bigger man that did not throw him under the bus. So
you are the bigger man.
So remember that, Gabe.
And I told the story about how when I ran into him,
we gotta get both of you on the show.
And then did a thing where when I ran into him at the Pantera show, he looked badass, and I was in the band with him 6 months later.
That's not throwing him under the bus. That's giving him. You're like hyping him, man. You're like, yo, Gabe is the shit, dude.
Yeah, old school.
Maybe you'll be a lot nicer when you come back, Gabe.
Sweet. Cool. Well, alrighty then.
Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you everybody for listening to this episode. It was a long one. I appreciate it. And hopefully you guys checked out the albums and you kind of understand what we were talking about, or at least the song that we picked out for everything. Yeah. If not, this is probably then a weird episode if you don't understand the context of it. But I'm guessing a lot of people, even without listening to some of these albums, probably know.
So next month will be the death metal one we do.
So yeah, next 4 episodes from now.
Do you know what you're picking?
I have an idea. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I think
I don't know what I'm picking.
And then the following month is another new metal one.
Yeah, we're gonna rotate.
So every four
six,
episodes.
Let's call it if in theory it'd be 6 a year.
Yeah, I would guess.
Yeah.
Which is killer because then we have a lot to. We're not shooting our load too quick.
Right.
And the death metal one, I'm like, why did I suggest this? I don't even know what to pick, but
I can't wait for that
It'll
one.
figure it out like this. Yeah.
Listen to Nate. It'll be fun.
I mean.
Oh man! I hope
take
that's
that.
fire. Yeah,
There we
dude.
go.
All right,
We'll edit that out.
No, we're keeping it in. Yeah,
Nate's gonna yell
Dude,
at you.
Nate's a huge critic of me on this show.
I
He
know.
wanted to kick my ass
That
last
is
time because
true.
I ripped on a bunch. You don't know what you're talking about.
Stop
Gobbo.
fueling
Well,
that
now
fire.
he lives. The
That's
thing
good.
is, we made so many jokes the years past about how Nate never listens to this show. So we
Oh
would
shit!
Just,
Has he
we
been
would talk
listening to the old ones now?
He has been a long, yeah. But he's just like now he like listens all. He's like, dude, I listen to the podcast. I'm like, fuck yeah, got you, dude.
It just took many practices where he'd ask us about what's going on with our lives, and we just go,
Dude,
can't tell you, man. Just listen to the podcast.
When I had the idea for the death metal episode, I was like, oh, Nate would be the perfect dude. And
He's really going to be great for
I
it.
brought it to him, and he was just like, you could tell he was like, fuck yes, but he couldn't. He was like, I think I could make that work. And I'm like, okay,
Yo,
dude.
Is this through like text? He was probably just like, yeah.
Maybe he wasn't. I don't know.
Just
But
trying to play
I
it
got
cool.
that.
So
for
good.
sure.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait.
Well, cool. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
And,
You guys will. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening, and we will be back at you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Sweet.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out this week's episode. We do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, you can find links to the albums we talked about on this episode on the video on YouTube. And if you want to go an extra mile, please give us a like or a subscribe on any of the formats you listen to us. And like we said, this will be a reoccurring segment, so we're going to be looking for more suggestions as far as new metal and death metal goes. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Bye.